Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joe Moran and I'm here with Riv, Andrew, Velez, and Joe Dehls. And this is now episode 218. In this episode, we'll talk about what's wrong with Russell Wilson, the Colts season, Draymond punching Poole, Victor versus Scoot, and our Western Conference predictions.
You're funny, bro.
Wake up.
Thursday night football.
Bro said, what's wrong with Russ? Nothing about the Colts. The topic is Russell Wilson, and is the Colts season's over, but we're just going to talk about Russ.
Is it over? I don't know if it is.
I don't know.
I don't know. I told you guys that this is my last time trusting the Colts. And when you put all your chips in, I even shorted Matt Ryan. Devastating moment for me. I am up on that investment, though. Shout out to Mojo.
He fucking stinks.
Dude, he's so bad.
Now, we'll talk about him because the disrespect to Matty Ice I see currently is beyond disrespectful still.
Oh my God.
Not deserved.
It's surprising with 100 years of football, people still fail to take context into account. When it comes to Russell Wilson, though,
Oh, shit.
there isn't much context. Colts Broncos recap. The Colts beat the Broncos 12-9. One of the more low-scoring games in recent memory. Horrible outing. We wanted it to end. It did get great when it got later on into the game. And, Drew, I know right now you are feeling a bit down about your Broncos. I saw your tweets. I'm not going to lie that I cracked smiles while seeing it. Absolutely.
You guys are 2-2, right?
2-3.
2-3. But you know why? Is because it's funny. Drew in the offseason, I have quotes of what you guys have said. Drew in the offseason, when I doubted Russell Wilson, you know what he told me?
Let us know.
I'm glad Russell Wilson is the guy you are choosing to doubt. Said the same thing with Bobby Wagner. Both guys look washed. Weeks 1 through 4, every week when talking about Russ, overreacting, not just by Drew, but by you. Russ will figure it out. You said, I quote, overreacting like fuck. You're overreacting like fuck, bro. I said Russ has lost a step on the last episode or 2 football episodes ago. And Drew said, I'm literally watching the game and I have no idea what you're talking about.
I still firmly believe that one, though.
Last football episode, when I hyped up Geno, just 5 games. I guess he's better than Brady and Mahomes, bro. That's what Joel said to me.
You were bringing up stats.
You know, my analysis is unbiased. It truly is. It's a result of watching the film, and the film says Russell Wilson is washed. And that's what I've been saying. I see the comments. Don't worry, I peep it all. But the truth is, my track record, I hit a lot, man. Definitely, I'm like Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, every time he goes up to bat, he doesn't hit home runs, but he's on pace to set records. I think he might have set a record already. I'm not too into baseball. I miss. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I swing and I hit. And like Joe said, some guys are just better at projecting than others. And Mr. Dehls, I'm that guy. I'm that guy, Dehls. Interception on the Colts' 13-yard line, Russell Wilson. With 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. Threw it to Stephon Gilmore. Why? That man is still nice. Gilly man. I fuck with him. If it wasn't for that play, Broncos could have went up 12-6. Colts needed a touchdown. But because of that interception, Matt Ryan, as clutch as he is, one of the clutchest quarterbacks of all time, no debate. Let him down, kicked the field goal. Chase McLaughlin deserves a lot of credit. Overtime, 4th and 1. The Broncos opted to go for it. I thought it was the correct decision, no doubt. But I thought later in the game, the Broncos had the running game going a little bit. 4th and 1, I wouldn't have been opposed to running the football. Regardless, I know Richard Sherman had some horrible flashbacks with that play.
Tweaking.
But on that play, if you look, he doesn't pass it to the middle field much. And on that play, he passed it to Sutton. It was incomplete, not surprising. He's not good at those passes. But on the right side, rub route, pick route.
Why?
That was the read. KJ Hamler's wide open. Russ doesn't pass it. Now, last night, Russell Wilson went 0 for 6 on pass attempts to the end zone, including an interception. He is now 2 for 18 on pass attempts to the end zone this season. That 11% completion rate is the worst in the NFL. Broncos have just had 3 red zone touchdowns this season, fewest in the NFL, behind the Bears and the Panthers. They have converted on 23% of red zone drives, which is the worst. by any team through 5 games since 2010. They're 30th in offensive EPA. Some will blame Hackett, but that's taking an easy way out. In the beginning, was Nathaniel Hackett the one to blame? Yes, but it wasn't because of his play calling. It was because of stupid decisions he would make, which he still makes. But since he's gotten that advisor, Jerry Roseberg, I believe, he's been quite good.
Cleaned it up.
The problem is Russell Wilson. He's not hitting reads. Nathaniel Hackett is not a genius. He's not a great play caller. He's good. He's average. He's an average play caller. And he's calling plays that should work against certain schemes and defenses, and Russell Wilson is failing to hit on those attempts. Russ wanted out of Seattle because he wanted to be more pass heavy. He wanted to be like Mahomes, like Josh Allen. He wanted to be the guy. He wanted to have say in personnel decisions. But the truth is, Russell Wilson doesn't warrant that right now. And truthfully, I can't think of a time that he's ever warranted it, because at his very peak, he was never the undisputed leader or best player on a team that's made it far in the playoffs. He hasn't won a playoff game in 5 years, and he won a Super Bowl in 2013 when the Seahawks had a 52% rush rate, which is the most by any team in the last 10 years to win a Super Bowl. He got carried by a great rushing offense. In that playoff run, he had 3 touchdowns total through the air. All Pete Carroll wanted was a balanced offense. That's all he wanted. Russ said, no, I want to pass it every goddamn down. And that's where the friction started. And Russell Wilson is realizing that when I have to be the leader, when I don't have a great coach to rely on, because Pete Carroll deserves a lot of credit now that Russell Wilson's in Denver, and we see Seattle's doing pretty well, even with the lack of talent they have. Russ is noticing the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Will the Broncos figure it out? We'll talk about that shortly. But Russell Wilson has been bad. 22nd in QBR. Geno has been better. Was I high on Russell Wilson coming into the season? No. Did I think he'd be this bad? No. I feel horrible for you, Drew.
Are you going to talk about the Colts or no?
Oh, we'll talk about them. I just want to talk about Russell Wilson first, and then we can talk about the Colts.
Floor is yours, my boy.
It was a rough Thursday night. I'll be completely transparent. The defense played well, like it's played well all season long. The Colts offense hasn't been great up until this point in the season, so it wasn't a surprise that our defense was locking up. With the injuries that we have, we put together a great performance defensively still. Offense, has been our issue all season long. And I made that video on Twitter at Handrew5As saying how my issue can't be with Hackett. It can't be with the offensive line. It can't be with the run game. That was poor against Indianapolis. I got to start blaming my quarterback, Russell Wilson. It's tough to sit here and say that because Russell Wilson for years has been one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. But right now, he's not it. He's holding the ball way too long. He's trying to be Mr. Perfect. That's the big issue right now. We had Slay on the show, and we were talking about the quarterbacks that take risks, and those are the guys that excel in this league. Herbert, Mahomes, Matthew Stafford. They take risks, and it pays off for them. Russ is holding the ball well too long, allowing the offensive line to collapse and allowing the defense to come in and make a play on Russ. Russ is trying to make the perfect play or the perfect pass way too often, not hitting his first reads, which was very evident on the last play of the game where KJ Hamler was wide open. But that play really was transpiring very fast. If it's his first read, yes, you could make that throw, but it happened very quickly. KJ Hamler's a fast dude, so he made that break. He got open very quickly. Russ would have had to make the decision immediately. I don't know if he has a great rapport with KJ Hamler. We really haven't seen that up until this point in the season, but if that's not a guy that Russ trusts 100%, then I can understand not throwing it, but he was wide open. You have to make that play, especially if it's your first read. It's been embarrassing to watch. The red zone offense has been atrocious. Russ, even when he decided to take a couple risks against the Indianapolis Colts, they were poor ones. The first interception he threw was just absolutely terrible. Off his back foot, just kind of threw it into no man's land, and the safety made a play on it. The second INT I didn't hate too much. I just think that it was just, but he threw the ball behind the wide receiver. It was a bad pass. It was late. He could, if he led the receiver a little bit, maybe he has a touchdown there, but there's no reason to take that gamble there in that situation. You take the gamble early on in the game and actually try and move the ball downfield, not when you have a chance to put the game away. We had a 99% chance to win that game at one point in time when we lost. It shouldn't happen. So, yes, it is tough right now being a member of Broncos country.
Let's ride.
But
That's right.
I still have faith in my guys. I can't lose faith.
Define faith.
You're still making the playoffs, Faith.
Faith that we'll be okay in the future. That Russell
2023.
Wilson's being on this team is not a bad thing at all. We paid him $245 million. People are very quick to say that that's a mistake,
That's
but
a lot of money.
we're 5 games in. It's a new offense. Russ is still getting acquainted. But, of course, I can still be optimistic about our future because we do have Russell Wilson. Right now, he's not been playing great. But I do believe he will play better.
Do you think it's been more mental for him?
I think that there is
Like
a
he's
lot
in
of
his
pressure.
own head?
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that to me because I have a big quarrel with people and their perceptions on Russell Wilson's character. And I'm not saying you particularly. It's a general sense that Russell is a fraudulent personality. And to me, that is baffling because how do you know who Russell Wilson is, the person, when you don't really know him at all? All you know of Russell Wilson is who he puts out in the pressers, in any type of interviews that he has, any videos that he puts on social media. From what he's shown you, what has led you to believe that he's not who he's always been?
He changes his voice in videos.
And so for that alone, you're automatically saying... Like,
I'm just saying.
it just sounds clownish
that's
to
a
me.
sign.
It just sounds clownish to me.
He changes his voice.
People were quick to bash on Russ. Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football was the first one. He called him a poser, I think.
That's the main reason why this thought process is occurring right now.
But that Kyle Brennan saying that, though, is from personal experience of when they went to an award ceremony and Russell Wilson acted like he was better than everybody else.
Russell Wilson didn't want to talk to this guy, so automatically he's assuming that he's better than everyone else.
No, it wasn't just that. It was the fact that he was at the award ceremony. Russ wasn't just
I listened. I understood what he was saying.
Russ wasn't just talking to him.
Kelsey went to stop for an interview. Someone else went to stop for an interview, and Russ kind of was just like, nah, man, I don't want to do that.
Russ didn't talk to anybody there.
Does he have to?
Like,
Not saying he has to, but you're
see,
acting
that's what
like,
I'm saying. It's like because you didn't want to do that personally,
Maybe he
right?
just wanted to be there with his
You're
wife
trying to
and
chill
his
with your
family.
family at an award show that maybe in the first place you didn't even want to be at, but you kind of just need to show face because you're Russell Wilson, of course. You want to go to an event, you don't want to talk to anyone. Maybe you chose the wrong day, right? Russ wasn't having the right type
Maybe
of
he
day.
just had a bad day, yeah.
It's like automatically we're making assumptions on Russ's character when we've never heard any of this for years on years. You just wait till he's at his lowest point. It's like you were waiting all this time to attack Russ's character until he gave you an opening to do so. You never had a chance, and now that Russ is playing poorly, everyone's deciding to take aim. That's my issue.
We
I feel like
don't
he's been
know
attacked
Russ.
worse than this before, though.
We don't know Russ
Not like
personally.
this.
You're
I feel
right.
like his character is really.
But
Remember the Seattle
from the
situation?
videos,
Like calling his character into question when
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just don't see it.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I know where you're coming from, but based on the videos that Russell Wilson has put out on social media, the way he changes his voice when he was like playing card or
It was just that one video, though.
Yeah, but there's others that have aired.
But that's fine. We do the same. The way I talk to my boss is different how I talk to you guys. Like that, you have to change how you talk.
Is
and
that
your-
not facts?
It's not only that.
Look,
It's
When
not
I'm
only
at
that.
school, I promise you, I am not communicating the way
No,
that I'm
hell
talking
no.
on the show.
It's not only that though.
It
It's
must be raw. 'cause
based
I
on
do.
the evidence and the videos
That's
that we
real.
have that has surfaced of Russ, and based on things that he has talked about in the past, one can make a reasonable assumption that he is kind of a poser. It's not. I don't think it's far fetched, and it's not only the public perception of him. People that played with him on a Legion of Boom don't fucking like him. Richard Sherman does not like
That
him.
has
But
nothing to do with Russell's
So he
personality.
basically has a work personality and a home personality.
Richard
The
Sherman doesn't
Seahawks-
like him because he got treated differently.
Yeah, that's
not
really the
his
reason
fault.
why.
That has
That's-
nothing to do with
that's
Russ.
That's not why he doesn't like him entirely. And even when they used to practice together, Richard Sherman used to get into it with Russell Wilson and call him the B word. He used to go after Russ.
Trying not to be wood.
Doug Baldwin, who was Russ's primary target for a lot of years, he's been vocal about not really having the tightest relationship and not really liking Russ. Everybody that was on those teams really are not fans of Russ, and they talk poorly about him.
What about
we saw that's one. I'm not saying everybody doesn't like him, but I don't think it's crazy to assume that he is a poser based off what people who have played with him have said. And if you look at how the Seattle tenure ended, Seattle got sick of Russ's shit. They got sick of Russell Wilson. That's why they traded him.
They were rebuilding. Their team wasn't ready to compete.
They weren't rebuilding. They
yes,
would
look at that team, bro. They're ready to rebuild.
If they really wanted to keep Russell Wilson, they would have kept him. But they knew he was declining, so they sold high. And ultimately, they were sick of Russell Wilson.
But what's showing you that he was declining prior to these 5 games? What showed you he was declining, truthfully, in your honest opinion?
He didn't play great to this in the second half of the season with Seattle.
After he returned from injury.
After the
Before injury, he looked really good.
Yeah, but he didn't play well after that. And it's a couple things. Russell Wilson holds on to the ball. It's not just a now thing. It's a him thing. That's what he's always been. In order for Russell Wilson to succeed in today's current NFL and how he's had so much success, he's had to become the most accurate deep ball thrower in almost league history. And he became that. But as he's declining, his athleticism, his scrambling ability isn't what it once was. That's a fact. He holds on to the ball. He doesn't throw to the middle of the field. That was prevalent in Seattle. It limits your offense. And with a quarterback that's 5'10", that relied heavily on his athleticism to make plays out of the pocket, as you get older, he's not going to age like these other pure pocket quarterbacks.
I think, first of all, the Russell Wilson that we saw in Seattle, not even just last year, but prime Russ, I don't know if we're going to see him again. Right now, I don't know. You can make it the offense, new situation. He looks uncomfortable, unsure of himself, unsure of his reads, and just making boneheaded decisions that we have not seen Russell Wilson really ever make in his entire career until now, until he's come to Denver. And you hit on Joel. I think the two things that made Russ special while he was in Seattle was his ability to make something out of nothing, specifically in the pocket, almost Kyler Murray-esque, being able to get in and out of the pocket, not as much being able to run the ball down the field like we see with Lamar and Josh Allen, but just having a ton of creativity inside and outside the pocket to hit those deep balls. So that was one. And number two, as you mentioned, being one of the best deep ball passers in the NFL. And that's steadily declined over the last 3 years. 2019, I want to say, was his last elite year, and he might have been top 5 or even number 1 in the league in 20-plus yard passes. This year is completing just 35% of those passes, and that number has declined, like I mentioned, over the previous 3 years. I don't think this is the be-all, end-all for Russell Wilson. He's going to have to change his game. I have faith in him because he has shown throughout the years his dedication to the game, to studying, to his body. That's why I'm not ready to just say he's completely washed. Like Big Ben, for example, we saw how washed he was.
Cooked.
Some of that was just through age and his physical body failing him. But we also know Big Ben wasn't the most, he's not Tom Brady in terms of eating avocado ice cream, right? He's not the type to really be on his diet and all like that, while Russell Wilson is. So I do think over time he's going to have to adjust and change the way he plays. And a lot of, deep ball statistics, 20-plus yard passes are on wide receivers, right? There's a reason why Tua was great. But when you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, who could just get wide open on guys, that makes your 20-plus yard passes and deep balls look a lot better because you have elite wide receivers. Even the Judy touchdown week 1, that was an underthrow. Judy had to come back to the ball and get that. I'm not saying Russ, his arm is done by any means. And it's similar to Matt Ryan because we're going to get into it in a bit, but it's not just all on Russ, right? The Broncos are the most penalized team in the league, puts them behind the sticks. They're top 10 in drops. They're bottom 5 in third down conversions. The offense is bland. We've talked about Hackett. So it's not just on Russ, but I think a lot of people, me included, expected Russ to come in and overcome no matter what happens. If Hackett sucks, if the receivers get hurt, we expected Russ to come in and be able to overcome that. And up to this point, he hasn't been able to do that.
He missed Judy, too. He overthrew him slightly. In the Colts game.
On the rub route,
yeah.
He got open.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you that is because I think, like Dehls said, a lot of it is really mental for me. Like, I think he just doesn't trust himself. He just isn't confident in his ability no more. In Denver, like you said, a new environment. It's getting to him. You can tell when somebody's confident in their ability, they're making throws. I know he's been holding on to the ball for his whole career, but if you watch him play, the confidence just isn't there. At this point right now, the defense, like you said, has been holding his own. You kind of got to blame the quarterback for the offense. I mean, I know sometimes if you look at the offensive line, if that's struggling, you could talk about that. Like I said, we'll talk about the Colts in a second. But a lot of this really is just Russell Wilson and his declining ability and his ability to not be comfortable in his skin and not be able to make the reads that he usually makes or not be able to make the plays that he can make. And that starts with him. I mean, Jerry Jeudy is a fine receiver. Cortland Sutton is a fine receiver. But they went to go get Russell Wilson because they thought they can win a championship with Russell Wilson. They thought they can make the playoffs with Russell Wilson. He was the guy that was supposed to bring it all together. The defense was there. We talked about it. I talked about it all offseason. The defense is there. The offense has enough. It's just we need a quarterback. We're a quarterback away, and Russell Wilson was supposed to be that bridge to bring it together. And he hasn't been, and that's why they are essentially not playing well. And I don't know how they're going to look because Javonte Williams, isn't he out for the season? He's out for the year, and that's somebody who –
Garrett Bowles is out for the year, too.
That's one of the best offensive linemen. So the two key guys that fits the offense, and it was already struggling with both of them. Now they're both out for the year. It doesn't look good for Russell. It doesn't look like it's going to get any better unless he turns back into 2019 Russ.
And I'll give you your credit.
Thanks, dude.
I'll give you your credit.
I appreciate
because
it.
You came up here and you said a lot of shit about Geno Smith and Russ that I was like, I'm not hearing any of this, and I still don't know if I believe Geno Smith being a franchise guy. All this,
I think that's
through
a
5
stretch.
weeks he's been great.
But
I can't say he's been great through 5 weeks.
You didn't have faith in Russell, but you had to make it in the playoffs. How?
I didn't think Russell would be this bad.
So you thought he'd just be good enough
did.
to get him into the playoffs?
Look, I mean, in the offseason, the main debates were if the Broncos are contenders, not a playoff team.
Okay.
I think everybody thought if the Broncos got Russ, they'd at least make the playoffs. So my whole thing was they're not contenders. They're pretenders because if you look at the Broncos' offensive weapons, and I said it in the offseason, compared to the AFC, do the Broncos have better offensive weapons than the Bills, than the Bengals, than the Chargers when healthy, than the Chiefs?
Bills' weapons really aren't that good outside of Stephon.
Just Stephon.
It's still, I think, just their offense as a whole.
I'm taking
their offense.
This is the shit that sucks.
Now you take Diggs.
We lose Tim Patrick.
Probably.
Yeah.
We lose Javonte Williams. Like that's just killer right there.
And your
Tim
best
Patrick.
tackle.
You lost
Offensive
Patrick early.
lineman.
And of course, but I'm talking just
Weapons.
But just to go back to what I'm saying, Bills offense, Bengals offense, Dolphins offense, Chiefs offense, Chargers offense. That's 5 offenses.
I would take our weapons over the Chiefs.
I didn't think.
Sure, Mahomes would too.
Huh?
It's Kelsey and who?
That's all you need.
You're not taking. Yeah. When
And
you have that
elite
one
offensive
guy,
line.
it's different.
Yeah, the offensive.
Yeah.
If you bring offensive line,
The
to
offensive
account, for
line,
sure.
yeah, no doubt. We're talking weapons.
No, I'm talking about
I'm
just
talking just
offense.
weapons.
Offense as a whole.
See,
Offensive
now it's a
line,
different
weapons, tight
conversation.
ends.
Because you're telling
Juju.
me your weapons, you weren't the highest.
Who's better
on our
right now,
weapons.
Juju or Jerry Judy?
Oh, come on.
Jerry Judy.
No, for real.
No, for real.
I would say
Is that
Judy
not
right now.
is that not a conversation?
Be for real.
Are we gonna act like it's not a conversation?
Be fucking for real.
Juju is a good player,
I think
He's a
Juju's
fine
better.
player.
and what makes the Chiefs offense
Be
so
careful with
special is that
apparently.
Fine.
Can't say fine, apparently.
the Chiefs offense is an all-around offense. They're spreading the ball around better than anybody else. They have the
'Cause of
best
Mahomes.
offense in
And
the
they're
league.
running the ball well.
But it's
CH and
also
Pacheco.
when you talk about offense, you take into account the weapons, the offensive line, the play
Well,
caller.
are we taking it to? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You taking it to the coach because they have
Yes,
Andy
and
Reid,
you has
Mahomes.
to. So, and not only that, but with the way the Jets have been playing, I might take the Jets offense over the Broncos too, especially with Zach Wilson coming
I
back.
knew that was coming.
I mean, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore.
Corey Davis.
I mean,
been
come
balling.
on. We
Brees
talking
Hall.
about Tyler
Mike
Conklin,
Carter.
man.
Tyler Conklin's been
Shit,
Brees
me.
Hall,
Conklin
rookie of the
balling,
week.
not gonna lie.
We don't got scrubs. We
I
got
feel-
up and coming guys.
This is sick. This is sick.
But all I said was the
This guy's
Broncos
sitting here
weren't.
today,
We
you know?
played
all
them
I
week
said-
7. Jets played the Broncos week 7.
All I said the
They'll probably
Broncos
lock you
weren't
the fuck up.
contenders. All I said
I
they
don't
were
know.
pretenders.
Defense.
The Colts suck, and they just lost to them.
Their
Yeah, but not
defense
because of the
isn't bad, though.
defense. The offense. I think their defense. Come on. I mean, their defense is pretty fucking nice.
You
They'll
talked
definitely
about-
lock
It's
you
gonna
out.
be a game though.
It's gonna
Like
be a
going
dogfight.
in
Yeah,
at
it's
the
gonna be a
beginning of the
dogfight.
schedule, we're like in Denver. This is gonna be an ass whooping. Now you're looking at the schedule. You're like, the Broncos are winnable fucking game.
No, yeah, Broncos getting the dogfights every fucking week. It's dogfight, dogfight, dogfight.
I also
Dogfight has
want
like
to-
a positive connotation, and I don't think right now.
No, for me, dogfight is like
You're
nasty
struggling,
ass,
just
struggling
scraping to
ass.
get
Yeah,
through.
like
I also want to clarify this. I don't think Geno's a franchise guy,
you don't.
but he's playing amazing. And
Well,
I
when you
think
just say he's playing better than all of these franchise guys, it just
Geno Smith is
insinuates.
playing amazing. And I think he deserves his credit. Not only did he have one of the best quotes of all time after week 1
Without
when
a
he
doubt.
said they wrote you off, he said I didn't write back. But just as recently, he was talking in a press conference and somebody said, "Has your success surprised you? Like what's been behind this?" And Geno said, "Y'all clearly haven't seen me throw."
with all due respect
Geno-
to Geno,
Geno has the abilities. Out of West Virginia, he
said it straight up. He's like,
great.
"Are you surprised?" And he's like, "If you told me before the season you'd be playing like this, yes, I would be surprised." That report is real.
I respect the hell out of Geno for his confidence, but I mean, there's a reason he's been a backup for all these years because teams hadn't seen that consistently out of Geno. But right now,
means a lot.
not without a doubt, and he's balling right now in the system with DK Lockett, both having good seasons, and yeah, Pete Carroll, he looks like the genius out of all of it by trading Russ. I don't know if I could say they've won the trade yet because the Seahawks' track record of players they've drafted has not been great over the years. Plus, the two guys they traded for, Drew Lock, Noah Fant, haven't done really anything. And I don't know how Shelby Harris has done, truthfully. But it's not like
Charles
the players.
Cross.
Charles Cross has been kind of mid.
He's been okay at best.
Tackles struggled at first.
They do.
I don't think
Andrew Thomas
I don't
was
think you
injured
could define a winner
first year.
until like 2-3 years.
It takes some
into the
time
trade,
because if they hit on these draft picks, for sure. But if they draft
Broncos
Rashad Penny
hypothetically,
again,
I'm not saying they will, but if they hypothetically win a Super Bowl, then it's like
sure. They just need one.
The
Yeah,
Seahawks
they just need to get one.
The Seahawks. This is the difference between the Broncos and the Seahawks in terms of winning the trade.
Let us know, broski.
The Seahawks honestly just have to be like a competitive team. If the Broncos don't win anything with Russell, they lost the trade. Like it really is that simple.
But if the Seahawks don't hit on their draft picks, they got nothing for Russell.
But they didn't have to pay Russell Wilson a massive contract.
I mean, if you look at it like that, yeah, but yeah, I guess
Because now they
Still
have the ability to build a roster.
So what if they don't?
With Russell's
yeah,
payroll,
okay.
they wouldn't have had the ability to build it.
So if they don't build and they still miss on their draft picks, still a L, essentially.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks will be fine though. I think right now their offense is fine. Their
great,
defense is terrible. If they can hit on defensive draft picks, which it looks like they did with Tariq Woolen in the 5th round, he's 6'4", he's jet fast. Looks like they hit on him. Tariq Woolen.
You losing?
He's amazing, man.
I got you.
His physical traits are impeccable.
So you think Pete Carroll stays around for a while?
I don't know if he does. He's older.
70,
it's possible. Yeah.
I think he's the oldest or second oldest coach in the
Nasty
league.
business.
You mentioned,
That
though,
shit
about
gives
the
me stress.
Broncos in the playoffs. So do you think they still make the playoffs? Their next 5 games are Chargers, Jets, Jaguars,
Ooh,
Titans,
you
Raiders.
did have them in.
They're 2-3 right
Do you
now.
think they still get in?
Still possible.
They just 100%.
The AFC as a whole doesn't look as
That's what I'm saying.
great as it once did
That's a
before
fact.
the season.
Their injuries, Garrett Bowles out for the season, Ronald Darby out for the season, Javonte Williams out for the season, and other players that are injured, Justin Simmons, Billy Turner, Josie Jewell, Baron Browning, who looked like an all-pro against the Colts offensive line, Randy Gregory is on IR, Quinn Miners is hurt. Got a lot of injuries.
They do.
Brandon Browning, unfortunately, who's been a beast for us, is hurt. Josie's hurt also.
I guess the
It's
teams
been rough.
they'd be competing with for that wild card spot would be like the Dolphins, the Browns, maybe I don't even know if the Colts are in that
I'm gonna be
conversation.
honest.
Or Titans are in that conversation.
I don't even care if the Broncos make the playoffs because, truthfully,
They're a first round exit.
when you're paying a quarterback $50 million through 2028, the expectation is not playoffs. When you got Russ, the expectation was not playoffs. It was Super Bowl.
We haven't
At
made
least
the
the
playoffs
conference championship.
since we won the Super Bowl. That's the first step for us right now. Make the playoffs. I still want us to
Well,
win the
now
Super
it
Bowl.
should because
absolutely.
you guys suck.
Yeah, right now it's figuring the fuck out.
Listen, I mean, our defense is great. The main part of football right now for us
Make the playoffs.
is not. No. I'm talking our
Oh, okay.
offense. What we've been struggling for years. We're supposed to have that answered by bringing in Russ. It hasn't been up until
you
this
still
point,
got, like,
and it's still early. I
12
still do
weeks
believe
left.
that.
The defense hasn't fallen off
Dehls, answer the
because
question.
No, go ahead.
Ejiro Evero, who's a DC, he replicated the same scheme Vic Fangio has now.
And that was the only thing to do, because all these players essentially were the same. It's been constant. There was no
he's
reason
been
to
the
change.
brightest spot.
No, absolutely,
Broncos.
absolutely.
Evero has been the brightest spot.
The defense has been all fucking world.
Shout out to you guys.
That's why I do still believe in us. It's like our defense is playing great. That was the question.
Okay.
Russ has been struggling very badly.
You have 12 weeks left.
So-
12,
but
But
13.
that's what I'm
Drew-
saying. It's inevitable that we figure it out. Russ is not going to play poorly.
He can't
every
go
single
out like
we
this.
haven't seen
every
the-
single
he
game.
can't.
I don't know how it would be possible.
We haven't seen a defense against an elite offense yet, though.
San Fran.
Elite offense?
I don't know if they're in lead offense.
I mean,
San Fran ain't elite.
Kyle Shanahan, right?
He's an elite play caller, but the offense is an elite.
I would say they're good.
Who comes out of the
Good.
AFC playoffs if you guys get in?
Well, right now,
You think you're getting over the Chargers?
who I had it. Well, the Chiefs got to be in.
I no, that
No, he
Chiefs
had the-
already
he
know.
had the
Well, I'm
Chargers
going
in.
off mine because
Okay.
I got to show the respect that they deserve. The Chiefs are in. The Bills are in. The Ravens or Bengals are in. Like the Bengals and Ravens.
You had the
we'll
Dolphins
see.
in.
Dolphins I did have in.
I think you had the Chargers in too.
I do have the Chargers.
seven
That's
right
a
there.
wait and see with their injuries also.
But I would take the Chargers right now. The Broncos.
You
You got
ducking
it
the
because the
question. You
offense-
still have yet to answer.
right now, yeah, they'd be in the outside looking in.
It's probably this our best case right now is 6-7, and I don't know how we get 6, so it's preying on
What about
7.
you?
I think they're out. I think
Right
the
now,
Dolphins take
yeah.
that spot. Or the
Yeah.
Jets.
The Dolphins right now, like looking back to my original predictions, would be taking the Broncos spot for sure.
Look, I'm going to be honest. After seeing last week, week 4, Zach Wilson's comeback versus Steelers, I'm confident in the Jets going up against anybody.
Are the
Jets,
Bengals-
Jets got to keep doing
Yeah,
it.
As
Bengals
long
make
as
the
Zach
playoffs?
Wilson is
Anybody?
as long as Zach Wilson's on my team, I think we have a chance against anybody.
Jets
You
got,
won't beat the
Jets got to
Bills
keep
one
doing
time
it.
this year.
We're not beating
we
the Bills.
got a chance.
We're
No,
not
you
beating the
don't.
With
Bills.
Zach Wilson,
You
we got
have
a chance.
no
We're not beating the
chance.
Bills.
Zach Wilson gives us a chance on any
You
single
have
Sunday.
We got to
No
split New
chance.
England. We got to split Miami.
You won't
and then
split with the
win the
Bills.
games we can. Like, because beginning of the season, like we said, the Broncos looked impossible. At the Packers looked impossible. Both of those games look like winnable games right now. Those are the games that switch, especially in the AFC.
Patriots without Mac Jones.
Even
Patriots
with
regardless,
Mac, we'll beat
yeah.
them.
They're mid.
All I'm saying is with Zach, I feel like we have a chance on any single given Sunday.
You guys played a bum
I'll say
Pittsburgh team.
that's the only reason that I'm not there yet, because the Steelers are not good. They're gonna have a top 10 draft.
Well,
pick.
we're gonna win
and
tomorrow.
Zach was dog shit up until the fourth quarter.
I've
Which
been
hey,
told on this
ended
show
up having a
numerous
good game.
times.
Doesn't matter
Shit doesn't
because
matter.
That's why I
gotta get
finished
it
with-
done when it's
Are
time
we,
to get it done.
are we gonna talk about the Colts?
Yeah, are we?
We could talk about them.
What's to really talk about?
I really
Oh, there's a
don't.
lot
They
to
give me a
talk about
headache.
with the Colts.
They're not good. The Broncos aren't good either. That's why they won.
Well, the question was, is the Colts season still alive? That was the original
And
question.
what's that answer?
It's still alive. And
So,
last
This-
episode,
now
they're in a
this-
coma.
This is my question.
They're a vegetable right now.
because you still have stock in the Colts.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we've been here having the conversation. The Jaguars are winning the division. We all sat here and agreed on that. So what's going on?
the AFC South is a crapshoot.
It is.
It really. The
so
Titans,
now the
are playing good
Jaguars,
football.
the Jaguars aren't winning the division.
still have
No,
to
they
win the
can.
division.
They look. I think it's quite possible the Titans, Colts, and Jaguars can win the division. I wouldn't be shocked if either one of those teams win.
What the fuck?
Huh?
I wouldn't be shocked if either one of those teams win the AFC South.
But now this is why I'm confused, because you had the Colts, then the Colts started to play like dog shit. Then it was the Jaguars.
You have just explained the mind of Joel Moran.
But now all three.
Understand
Now
what he's
suddenly
saying,
the
though.
Titans come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think-
understand.
I don't think
Understand
I'm
what he's
saying
saying. He's
anything
saying
wrong.
he's
I
still
get it.
taking the
no,
Jags.
No, trust me. I know where he's saying. My issue
He's just
stems
leaving
from,
it open.
Oh,
down the
absolutely.
road.
How can he be
For
wrong?
a W.
How can he be wrong?
You know him though.
I said this in week 5. The Titans, the Jags, the Colts.
You know him.
Win
Like,
the division.
last football episode, we were here. We did in and outs. Colts season is over. You guys all said in. I said out.
That's fair.
I'm not out
That's
yet.
fair. He did.
I said I'm
This
not
is
out
my-
yet.
But
When I made my NFL pick'ems, I said this is the last chance I'm giving the Colts.
this is why I do.
But did
have
you pick the
issue.
Jags to get in or no?
I said they look like the best team in the AFC South.
Because
right
only
now.
one
No,
team
we
from this
sat
division
here
is
and
winning.
said, "Are the Jaguars winning the division?" Yes, 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 yes.
Are you trying to ask me right now who would I pick to win the division?
There's only one
No,
team that
well,
can win
sure,
that. That's gonna make the
but there's
playoffs
no
out
way
of
the
division.
Colts get into the
Look,
playoffs without winning.
I think the Jaguars right now, I would lean them to win a division, but I wouldn't be shocked if any 3 of those teams win it. That's what I'm saying.
Would you be, Drew, if the Colts win or the Titans win?
I would be Titans for sure. I can see it because they're one of
But
the
the
best
Colts-
coached team. No way.
Okay, that's fair.
This is why I don't think there's no way.
Oh.
They're 2-2-1.
But bro, they're
first
they're
in the
ugly.
AFC South
it's
right
so
now.
ugly. It's
Yes,
so
but-
ugly.
You know, I'm gonna get to Matt Ryan, but first I gotta give credit to the defense because they stepped up big.
They did.
The defense has been good this season.
It has.
That's a bright spot.
But you're saying the same thing with the Broncos. Who have they played?
You got to play the same.
That's
how
a
they
They
play.
put the
fact.
Chiefs.
They in the
I'll
same
give you. The
position.
Chiefs. I'll give you. But that
They were
felt
a
like
top 10 defense last year.
that felt like the most scripted win of all fucking time against the
The
Chiefs.
Colts
I
and
gotta
Broncos in the
say.
same boat.
All
bro.
right, but even with that though,
Ryan's
even
been dog shit too.
even
He's been
I
worse
do
than
think
Russ.
versus the Chiefs, the special teams cost the Chiefs the game. The Chiefs gave the Cardinals, oh my God, it was a bloodbath offensively. The
Cardinals suck.
talking about arguably the
Bucks.
best team
The
in the
Bucks.
AFC though.
the Bucks came into that game with the top defense.
Oh, we're talking about
They
the
got
defense.
embarrassed.
All right.
The only 2 teams to hold the Chiefs offensively have been the Colts and the Chargers. The Colts have faced an elite offense, the Chiefs, and they held them to a low-scoring game. That's rare. And the Cardinals, their defense has picked it up as of late. So the Broncos, you guys have legitimately not faced an elite offense yet. It's
And
been
by
the
pick it up,
Texans.
you mean against the Panthers?
Well, statistically, Seahawks are an elite offense. And Geno torched you guys in the first half.
And
Did
did
they put up,
nothing in the
what,
second.
20 points? 19?
It was a nice 20.
17?
It was a
Yeah.
nice 20, man. I'll tell you
The
that.
Colts didn't score in a game.
This game was so ugly. Are you going to talk about Matt Ryan?
Oh, y'all talk about it.
Here we go.
But I just want to talk about the defense for a little bit.
Okay, my bad.
Disruptive in the run game. Buckner had 2 sacks. Ngakoue had 1.5 sacks. Stephon Gilmore made the 2 biggest plays of the game. He was the player of the game for me. And we even had Big Play Slay tweet out. He was like, stop trying Gilmore, man. Us 30-year-old corners and over, we still like that. Alec Pierce. What can I say about him? 8 catches,
balling.
81 yards. He's a physical specimen. He
It's
is
a shame Darby went out.
out of this world. And Reich, I think, did a pretty good job of moving Pittman around to get him free and free him up off of Surtain. I have to save Matt Ryan for last. What I saw from him, it was inspiring.
Wow.
God.
What can I say?
Jesus
Russ
Christ.
throws 4 INTs.
No, I'm here.
against
I'm here with you, bro.
Please.
The Packers finds a way to win that game.
No, I'm here. I
he
get it.
got carried.
Yeah.
The camera, I'm looking at the camera right now. I don't know if they can catch it. I'm tearing because
He's not.
Matt Ryan,
He's not tearing.
watching his performance made me
is
better
crazy.
as a man. It made me better as a person. It made me realize that no matter how big the obstacle, no matter how a game script is going, you can still overcome. Wow. Matt Ryan, say what you want about the 2 interceptions. He was pressured. The Broncos pressured the Colts on 34. They had 34 pressures on 48 pass rushing snaps. Matt Ryan was pressured on 44% of his snaps on his dropbacks. He had no time. But when you needed a drive, he gave you two. Matt Ryan, 9 for 11, 85 yards.
Bro gave him 2 field
Put
goals.
Chase McLaughlin in range to kick these field goals.
Bro gave him 2 field goals.
Now, Matt Ryan in 5 games with the Colts has 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, 2 game-winning drives. Would it be 3 if I'm forgetting this guy's name, if Blankenship didn't hit the field, if he hit the field goal versus the Texans in week 1, he has 3 game-winning drives in his first 5 games. Carson Wentz all of last season had 0 fourth-quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. But this isn't new. When Matt Ryan had the ball down the stretch, you know what I said to myself? Oh yeah, it's go time. This is Matt Ryan's time to shine. Because that fourth-quarter comeback tied him 4th all-time with Drew Brees for most fourth-quarter comebacks ever in history. That game-winning drive, he's now 6th all-time with 44. Matt Ryan is Matty Ice. He's clutch. And the difference between Wentz and Matt Ryan
Oh, my God.
is that Carson Wentz was playing off a run game where Matt Ryan is having to carry the offense with dropbacks. When the Colts got Matt Ryan, I was ecstatic because it was the first time Matt Ryan would have been behind an elite offensive line, had a running game, had an elite defense in a very long time. And 2 of those things ended up being very wrong. The Colts can't run the ball. The Colts offensive line stinks. They have to switch up the combinations. You had your highest paid right tackle in Braden Smith, who's one of the highest paid players in the NFL at that position, slide to guard. Matt Pryor and Bernard Raymond are your starting tackles. That's the worst starting tackle duo in the NFL right now. It's abysmal. Matt Ryan cannot get past his first read. I understand all these stats with Matt Ryan show that he's washed, interceptions. Oh, he has just as much as Carson Wentz did all of last season. The fumbles I will say are inexcusable. He fumbles a lot. He has to clean that up. But that's been his career, unfortunately. But Matt Ryan isn't washed. He's just in a situation that he is one of the least of their problems. Right now, with the Broncos and Russell Wilson, I look at Russell Wilson in that offense being, he's holding them back. With the Colts and Matt Ryan, I'm saying it's the offensive line, it's the receivers, it's the play calling, then it's Ryan.
Question.
I don't look at Ryan being the main cog in that problem.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, question. With the new I was about to say new NBA, with the new NFL and guys coming in, being able to run the ball and also being able to pass, don't you think that's like Matt Ryan's problem, that he can't get out the pocket because he's too old?
That's why you have to have an elite offensive line so he doesn't have to do that.
And
Tom Brady doesn't scramble, but
Another
he doesn't get hit.
No,
Did you guys
I
ever
just have one more.
Did
Just-
you
just
ever
one more
have
quick-
people support Eli Manning when he didn't have an offensive
No.
line?
Not once.
You never heard it.
No.
I don't know if I've ever heard one person defend Eli Manning when he did not have an offensive line. All people said was that he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
I just want to ask my
Okay,
question number 2. You knew this wide receiving group was garbage when you walked in. How can you put them before Matt Ryan as the problem? If you knew they were garbage coming in.
Would you call them garbage with Michael Pittman and your boy
I
Alec
didn't think
Pierce
they were
balling right
garbage.
now?
I think Pierce and Michael Pittman are fine. I really do. And Paris Campbell showed up late. My goodness.
Hit 22 yards.
He had a big catch. He had a big catch in the game. The
So did
problem
you just
is
overrate them a
no,
little bit?
it's not that. It's the fact that I thought the offensive line would give Matt Ryan enough time to go through his reads. Matt Ryan cannot go to
So,
his second read.
Do you think I don't like to play this game? You love to play this game.
Play it.
You switch Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson.
Broncos offense is better.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I believe.
Why?
That. Because Matt Ryan will go through his progressions and hit what needs to be hit. Russell Wilson right now is not, like you said. You guys said it perfectly. He's not trusting himself and what he's seeing on the field.
Would Russell do well in Colts offense?
Absolutely, no way.
Okay.
He would. Oh my goodness,
With
it
Frank
would be
Reich,
bad.
with at
No
least
way
a
he could
competent
actually move
coach?
outside the pocket. Though.
With at least a competent coach?
It would be abysmal in Indy with Russell Wilson.
I mean,
with
it's
a
already
lot of
abysmal.
I mean, it's- yeah, it's already
with,
kind of
with,
abysmal
with,
now.
with a lot of quarterbacks, if you put them in that situation right now, it wouldn't look too pretty. That's what I'm saying. But with Matt Ryan, it looks worse because he's an immobile quarterback. That's why he needs to be like in a Brady situation where you have an elite offensive line, you have these weapons, and you can
Well,
just
he thought
ball.
he had that, so I get
Matt Ryan, his arm strength is diminished. There's no doubt.
Remember when
he,
you told me it wasn't in the offseason?
he can still hit on deep passes. He can.
Like that
it's
wild
diminished.
underthrow to Alec Pierce 2 weeks ago when you told me it was a perfect ball. It was like fucking Alec
Back
Pierce
shoulder,
had to stop and
back shoulder,
come
man.
back.
But Alec Pierce he's been playing
balling.
very well.
Not for sure.
All I'm saying is that I don't think Matt Ryan is the biggest problem in the Colts offense. Where I think
Agreed.
Russell Wilson he is as of right now. Frank Reich in weeks 1 through 5 is 9-14-1. Week 6 through 18 he's 29-16. Somebody on my TikTok commented to me, "Do you think the Colts can figure it out?" And I told him Frank Reich struggles in September. We'll get some clarity in these next 4 or 5 games. I think the Colts season is not over. We will get some clarity in these next couple of games. Thursday Night Football, they have time to rest. Maybe their offensive line starts to figure it out, starts to understand their protection assignments, and they get better. Who knows? Jonathan Taylor, you guys told me that he started off slow last season. Maybe he comes back and he is close to being a rushing champion again, and I regret trading him in fantasy because I pulled the trigger on him.
for James Robinson
trade.
and
Deontay Johnson.
Nice.
Maybe I do that. Maybe that all happens. And if that happens, I'll be sad for my fantasy team, but happy for Indianapolis. We'll see. But Frank Reich's bad month is September. So we will see going these next couple of games what the Colts really are.
I don't think it's a coaching problem for the Colts right now. I think the offensive line just isn't talented enough. The Broncos run a simple stunt, and Matt Ryan's getting sacked. I think you're going to see that happen week in and week out. Maybe it gets fixed with a little bit over time. But right now, I just think it's a talent issue where the Colts don't have enough talent on the offensive line. They don't have the continuity there. They don't have, the starting 5 that can communicate well with each other to stop these sacks from happening. And coming into the season, one of the reasons why I was lower on the Colts were for 2 reasons. One, I didn't think they had an elite or a competent wide receiver. 2, I was wrong. Alec Pierce has been doing his thing these last 2 or 3 weeks. And I didn't think the offensive line was elite. I thought it was going to be, I didn't think it was going to be this bad, the worst in the league, but I didn't think it was going to be good enough to be able to sustain Matt Ryan to be the most immobile quarterback in the league. Because like you said, Rib, if you have no mobility at all, you're going to need that offensive line to be damn near perfect every play to make sure you get those big plays, get those chunk yards. And if you are in a 2-minute drill, be able to withstand that and not get tired at the end because you know your quarterback can bail you out.
It's rare.
And this game, I don't have many takeaways because it really might have been the ugliest game of football I've ever watched. It was the first time since 1973 the Colts won a game where they had 0 touchdowns, multiple interceptions, was sacked more than 5 times. And you mentioned
history.
about the fumbles. Matt Ryan's fumbled 11 times. He's on pace to fumble 37 times. Do you know what the record is?
What's the record? Shoot it.
Record's 23. So
He's gonna
this isn't just maybe he could fix it over time. He is on pace to shatter the fumbling record. We shit on Daniel Jones all the time for his fumbling problems. Matt Ryan has turned into the worst quarterback in terms of being able to hold on the ball in the pocket. If he's going to keep getting sacked like this over and over and over again, like they have been, I mean, he's been sacked 21 times already. That's more than Phillip Rivers did the entire 2019 season. While the offensive line was elite, Phillip Rivers being a mobile quarterback as well. But if he keeps getting sacked like this, which I don't think is going to change, he keeps fumbling like this, the Colts season for me is over.
I think this 10-day break, we'll see what the Colts are made of.
What's the next game? Who do they play?
Let me check. I think Jacksonville.
Oh, again.
At home,
after they
though.
just
They-
didn't
at home.
score.
They're bad on the road at Jacksonville. At home, they've been very good against
So
Jacksonville.
can you tell me their next 4? Like, tell me the October, their next schedule, just so we know, because they're bad in September. You said, but they're great after.
They're facing Jacksonville, the Titans on the road, the Commanders, and the Patriots.
So this is the division right here. Okay, it's cool.
Like their because I looked at it too. Their schedule's not tough.
They're just garbage.
All those
it
games are
wasn't tough
winnable.
prior to the season.
It wasn't. They're just not. good
Jacksonville
right
is the toughest opponent on that. Next 4 games.
If they beat Jacksonville at home, the tune starts to change a bit for me. It changes a lot for me. They overcame their demons. That's a team that they've gotten shut out and embarrassed against.
Jacksonville being your demons is nuts.
Jacksonville's a respectable team now, though.
No, I know this year for sure, but I'm saying the fact that they have Jacksonville demons for the last however many years.
That's
is fair
embarrassing.
enough. Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
fair.
Matt Ryan, the performance was inspiring.
That's their
it
toughest
wasn't
game.
inspiring, bro.
You didn't think so?
I didn't.
A lot of
think
people
so.
turned the TV off. I wouldn't call that.
Fans were
inspiring.
leaving.
With the
Yeah.
49ers and Broncos game,
Oh my God, that shit sucked. Too.
Russell
That was
Wilson.
gross, too.
Russell Wilson got the drive.
This game sucked.
He got the game-winning drive, right? And because he's a better quarterback. We saw in the Colts Broncos game, the better quarterback made the better plays. And that was Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan's better than Russell right now.
Yeah, I think so.
When
Yeah.
are you gonna start doing your quarterback power rankings?
I'm gonna do it after this one.
I'm excited for that.
I'm
Yeah,
so
I
fucking.
really am.
I really want to see where Gino's gonna be. That's what I'm excited for. Can't wait to see where Gino's.
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, I'm getting started on that. But the Colts season,
So
I
wait,
said
just
this was
quickly,
my last chance.
Joel,
It was
quickly,
my last chance.
Russ,
Trust me.
Gino, Matt Ryan, start bench cut. Just quickly do that real quick.
Right now,
Yeah,
like
right,
that.
like right now, like today, right now. Start bench cut. Russ, Gino, Matt Ryan.
I'm starting Geno Smith. I'm cutting Matt Ryan, and I'm benching Russell Wilson. No.
Trade. One's trade, right?
No, it's start bench
Benching
cut.
is
my bad.
start. Oh no, I'm
Bench is he's on the
benching-
team.
Okay.
Cut is he's gone.
I'm starting Geno Smith. I'm benching Matt Ryan. I'm cutting Russell Wilson.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Right now, as we stand here, yes.
Even with all the Matt Ryan turnovers, you're with him.
I think it's really the product of the offensive line. I do. Okay. I think it's really difficult for him. I feel sorry for him.
He's a vet, man. Hold on to the ball.
He's 37.
You never, ever, ever heard people defend Eli. This is the shit that's making me sick.
I defended Eli plenty of times.
I just don't know if I believe
Wentz
that.
also had a fumbling problem, unfortunately.
For sure. But this is historic. 11 fumbles through 5 games is
He
insane.
ain't gonna
And
change.
it's not only the fumbles, he's also leading the league in interceptions.
No, he's dog shit.
And sacks. But
Well,
we know
I
sacks
mean,
is
it's the offensive
not all.
line.
They're
Yes.
they're two
And that's
one.
why I didn't want to bring up the sacks. Because, yes, we can blame the offensive line all we want, but things in your control, you're turning the ball
I mean, when
over.
Joe Burrow, I don't know the stat off the top of my head. When he was sacked a lot, did he fumble a lot? No, he just
He had a good amount of interceptions.
But
I
he
think,
did
though.
stop that. Like, towards the back end of the second half, he really barely turned the ball over.
Yeah.
Colts gotta get better, man. 2-1 though.
They
The
will.
defense
They're
has
in
been
it.
The
good.
agenda isn't
offense
dead.
is still
They're in
trash.
it.
The
Agenda's
agenda
not
is
dead.
alive.
They're in it.
Somehow by a thread.
I feel sorry for myself
Why?
because I placed bets on the Broncos to win. I wasn't very hopeful for the Colts that game. I was not.
Nah, that was
I placed bets on the Broncos. They ended up losing. I put moneyline Broncos in the under.
Well, I'm glad you lost your money.
I lost 2 bets, 2 parlays.
Good. I'm bitter.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh well, let me check if I won my bet right now.
facing Darren.
I won a
Boone.
Boom Fantasy one though.
Yeah, 3 for 3, right?
Yeah, let's talk about Boom Fantasy. What's the matchups over unders this week?
Let's go. Boom Fantasy. We got 2 matchups and an over-under. This is going to be for the Monday night football game.
Let's go.
Raiders at Chiefs. So first up, Derek Carr versus Patrick Mahomes passing yards.
Patrick Mahomes.
Pat, give me Patty.
Yeah, Patty loves to put on a show against the Raiders.
That one almost seems too easy. Moving on, Devontae Adams versus Travis Kelce receiving yards.
Travis Kelce.
There's absolutely no one on the Chiefs that can hold Devontae Adams.
Is there anyone on the Raiders that can hold Kelce?
Absolutely not.
They'll probably double him. Give me Tay.
Tay?
Yeah, I'll take Tay. That's a good one though. Give me Tay.
And then lastly, Juju over under 53.5 receiving yards.
Under.
That's a tricky one because it could go over, it could go not. It
Juju's
depends.
I'm
been-
going under.
Yeah,
Under?
Juju's been super mid.
He's in a slot. Nate Hobbs is a slot. He's very
Hobbs
good
been balling.
corner.
Yeah.
I think
Hobbs
yes,
was good
he
last year too.
was good last
And
year.
also, it's just Mahomes spreads it around.
Yeah.
It's really hard to determine which one of those receivers is going to do damage each week to week. It's hard.
I'll go under.
I think those receivers combined have less yards than Tyreek Hill.
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me. MBS, you're saying, Juju.
Those guys, man, he does spread the love.
Yeah, and they've been doing their thing for sure. So yeah, Boom Fantasy, link in bio. We're doing a 2K giveaway as well. We got to do that soon. We definitely have to do the 2K giveaway soon.
You got to get the emails for it.
I have the
Gotta do
emails. We
raffles.
just got to make
Type
it
it
happen.
in.
You know what I mean? So yeah, use the link in our bio. Download Boom Fantasy. Deposit $10 or more. Get entered into the NBA 2K
We
giveaway.
don't got no match. We should know that's my favorite.
There was 2 matchups.
Oh,
Derek Carr versus Mahomes passing yards and Tay versus Kelsey receiving yards.
my goodness.
There we go. First
All
time.
right, my goodness.
All right, man. Happens.
My goodness. I think I'll win those matchups for sure.
I'm feeling good about mine, too.
Derek Carr doesn't really look to throw at Devontae Adams much this season.
It was just week 1. He got a ton of looks.
What was it 19 targets?
Last week he got 100 yards.
Yeah.
So there was this tweet from Mojo that I think is interesting. Based on, I'm trying to get it right now. The tweet was, which university has really been wide receiver university?
And the answer is
LSU.
it's LSU.
Based on the stock prices, number 1, Alabama, $108. Number
Julio.
2, USC, $91. Number 3, Clemson, $80. Number 4, LSU, $76. Number 5, Ohio State, $73. And this is like cumulative prices. Alabama, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy.
Julio is driving that up too.
Julio Jones does drive up the price a lot. He's, I think, top 5 in
He might be the
receivers that
most
are
expensive.
highest priced.
Yeah.
USC, Amon Ra, Michael Pittman,
Drake London.
Juju.
Mm.
Clemson, DeAndre Hopkins,
Of course.
Mike Williams,
Hunter Renfro.
Hunter Renfro's there. LSU, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
Odell.
Beckham
Yep,
Jr.
there it is.
Ohio State, I think, definitely is wide receiver U going forward, though. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson.
JSN's gonna be a first round pick.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison was really good.
Yeah.
They have a lot of up-and-coming receivers that are really good.
But to pass LSU with Odell, Jettas, Chase, like that's gonna be damn near impossible. That big 3 is crazy.
Unbelievably good.
Alabama has some nasty dudes too.
Not
Sure.
for real.
Alabama's 2. Alabama's definitely 2.
They
Mark
had
Cooper's in there.
Waddle. They had Judy, Devonta.
Mark Cooper. Judy. Oh, you said Judy.
Yeah, Amari Cooper is.
I was thinking about.
He's good.
I was thinking about
Jameson.
my bet.
Jameson, yeah. They have a
Facts,
lot of
man.
receivers. Alabama could be wide receiver U.
John Mechie.
But LSU definitely has the best
Mechie.
ones.
That's what I was thinking of. Mechie. Yeah, Alabama. LSU got the 2 big ones. The big
3.
stars.
3 big
Oh, yeah,
ones.
Odell.
3. Well, Odell. I'm talking about now. Like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, they got the 2 big stars.
Respect
Tayshaun
Terrence
Bootsay,
Marshall.
he's had a bad year, but coming into the year, he was expected to be a first round pick. I don't know if he's still gonna
Respect
be there.
Terrence Marshall.
Terrence Marshall hasn't exactly worked out.
That's what I'm saying. LSU just has those 2 receivers.
And Odell.
Oh, Odell, yeah.
But the
he's not on
the
that
And
team.
two
just those two
receivers.
are
But when you got the
top
2,
five.
when you got 2 of the top 5
Literally,
guys.
bro.
But Alabama got the
The
in
depth. They got the
totality.
depth,
They got
yeah.
the depth. They have stars and depth.
They do.
Clemson got D Hop, dude. That's a nasty
Mike Will
number
too
1.
went
yeah.
there.
Mid.
Speaking of Mojo, they gifted us tickets to go to the Jets game
Shout
tomorrow.
out Mojo.
We'll be at the Jets game tomorrow, and Jets Lounge just hit me up. Shout out to Sack Exchange. Jets Lounge, they got one like the pop-in Twitter spaces, and his tailgate's going to be F11 in the lot, F11. So we'll definitely be there
Say that.
eating some food
Let's do it.
with some Jets fans, you know.
So we are
That's what I'm
tailgating.
about.
We are.
Yes.
You excited, Riv?
Huh?
Are you excited to tailgate?
Sure.
Riv being social, I'm sure he's not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
It's actually, I think everybody would be surprised that you're not a social person like that.
Everybody would definitely be surprised.
They don't know the real you, man.
It's because I'm like Russell Wilson, bro. I'm different on here and I'm different out
I don't
there,
appreciate that.
Mr. Unlimited.
I love that video.
Man. That's crazy. Did you see that video he had with all the women and they was picking outfits?
That's the video that he says that he's changing his voice.
I think he's just being him. He
Yeah.
definitely looks
No.
like he's a like that's his
Exactly.
vibe.
Exactly. No, but
He-
that's the video that people look at and think that that's where he's being a poser.
You think so, though?
I-
I think he definitely changed his voice. in
Nah,
that
1,000%.
video.
That was the video that stood out for
Bro,
everyone.
he said
Yeah.
he was like, yo, we gonna pick out these dresses. You know what I'm saying? It's game
was-
day.
it was
We gonna
a
talk
little-
about it.
Yeah, I feel like he tried to be the hip guy out of the group, but in reality, you are just like them, bro. Be you, you know. So, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the real him would have been like, hey, let's look at these like game suits that I have. Let's pick them out, man. Let's
I
do
get
it, guys.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah. He tried to be the hip.
Let's do it, guys.
It sickens me how quick everyone is like turning on Russ.
I know, right?
Like shut up. He went from like one of the most, I feel like, liked players. I remember even a few weeks ago, Colin was saying how like they did a survey and he was the most liked player.
Dog,
out of all fans.
did you see it Thursday night after y'all lost? Did you see the future fans come out the woodwork? It was bad for him.
Yeah.
They said that now in the NBA and NFL, the most hated players in each league are Russ W. Russ W.
Is Russell Wilson the most hated player in the league?
I don't know if he is, but he's definitely becoming one of them.
Russell was the most
Russell
hated.
Westbrook
Why
is
are we
definitely one of
hating?
the biggest ones.
Why do you hate Russ?
I don't hate Russ.
I don't hate
That's
Russ.
what
I'm just saying.
So how has he become the most hated?
You don't think that with the
Most
means?
hated on.
Oh,
Most hated on facts.
Okay, who else now? Who else is the most hated on player in the NFL that you can compare to what
Right,
Russ?
no,
is
if you want to say hated on, that's fine. No one hates Russ.
you don't think that's like one and the same though.
No.
At least when we're speaking about people we don't know, like that is kind of one and the same.
That's a good question. Who is the most hated?
you think Mahomes is hated a lot because he's so fucking good?
That's like Brady was the first one that came to mind just because he beats everyone.
But Brady's not
People-
hated.
Everybody
anymore.
likes Brady.
Yeah, not anymore. People hated Brady.
People
It was
hated
not
New
hated
England
on.
Brady.
It was not hated on.
Once he went to
People
Tampa
hated
Bay
Brady.
and he kind of his personality came out, then people
There was a
started
disdain on
People
Tom
hate
People
Ramsey.
hated. Yeah.
Yeah,
People hate Ramsey.
He's one that gets hated on too. Whenever he
it's
busts
people
the
who talk
coverage.
shit. I feel
Whenever he gets cooked,
Tom
ooh,
Brady
they have a
got
day.
Tom Brady got hated on because he won. Russell Wilson's getting hated on for his personality.
it was also New England though, just Belichick.
Yeah, so I would say
that's
Ramsey
just-
gets hated on because of his personality.
Yeah.
He definitely gets that hate. Tom Brady, we just hate that he wins so fucking much.
That Jalen Ramsey videos. It's sad. It's sad.
Jalen.
I can't wait to go to this Jets game and watch Zach Wilson
It's
catch
so,
his
bro. This is a
W.
must-win game. An
People
absolute
are
must-win
preying on
game.
Zach W too. They're preying on Zach Wilson's downfall too.
So Drew, do we have the better Wilson?
No.
Nah, we do. Come on, let's stop playing.
Yeah,
We
you
know-
have the best Wilson.
I'm asking.
We do
I'm
have the
asking
best
you.
Wilson.
Russ is pretty
But
good.
we're taking Garrett Wilson into account. There's no question.
Oh, we have two Wilsons.
do. You definitely do.
Quality over quantity, if you ask me.
Let's talk about the last NFL topic we have
Yeah,
on
I
this
don't know.
sheet.
Come on, bro. Like,
Dude,
why
it's
is
just
that?
Twitter. It's just what's on here. I mean, this is not
That's-
facts about you. Hey, man.
Quality over quantity.
Based on what's been
Facts.
happening with the Broncos, did Seattle win this trade? The Broncos received Russell Wilson and Ioma Uwariki, fourth rounder.
I think we could have skipped this
And
question.
the Seahawks received Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, Drew Lock, Charles Cross, Boye Mafe, Tyreek Smith, Derek Young. And in this upcoming draft, they have a first-round pick and a second-round pick from the Denver Broncos. They could hit on the picks, but I think even if they don't, getting Charles Cross and Boye Mafe were good picks. And
You got to wait for Cross.
the fact that they don't have to pay Russell Wilson's contract, I think is huge. That's why I think they won.
I think it's fine. I think both teams can pan out if Russ gets it figured out, if this offense gets figured out. Because
laughing at you.
I don't think Seattle was ready to rebuild. Like, their roster was not that good. I know we've talked about it back and forth. I really think they were ready to rebuild, which is why they move off Russ. If they thought they were a contending team who could win a Super Bowl, they're not trading Russell Wilson no matter how much him and Pete Carroll might not have got along. So I think there's still room for both teams to make out. It's too early right now. We don't know if Charles Cross is going to pan out. We don't know if any of
He
the
will
draft
pan
picks
out.
are going to pan out. We're just
And even
completely
if they
projecting
don't,
now.
Abraham Lucas is panning out.
Oh,
Third rounder,
shit.
right tackle. He's amazing.
He has been playing well.
They have Damian Lewis, Charles Cross, Abraham
The
Lucas.
offensive line
They
looks
have three
solid.
cornerstones in their offensive line.
Cornerstones, we'll see.
As of right now, the Seahawks look like they're winning because
Yep.
Denver made the trade to be in Super
12th
Bowl,
man,
and they're not
baby.
in the Super Bowl right now. But I think you can't make a decision on who actually wins the trade until like 2-3 years down the road. This is a wait and see trade. But as of right now, Seattle looks like they're in the
Let
driver's
me ask
seat.
you. So we gave up last year's first and second. We gave up this next upcoming season's draft, the first and second, and that's it.
Shelby Harris, Drew Lock.
No, of course.
Bunch of mid. But you also paid him
This
$245
is
million.
very interesting to me that we're asking this question 5 weeks in to the season when we're 2-3. It's not like we're 0-5. No, we're 2-3. But
Seahawks
we've looked definitely disappointing to what our expectations were. To ask this question after week 5 is interesting. Is the only word that comes to mind.
It's more, but I get it.
The fact that they beat you too, week 1, they kind of win. Yeah.
Stings.
They shouldn't have, but they did. So hey,
Lost to the Colts too. Nasty business.
shouldn't have lost that game either.
That's
but
a
we did.
nasty business right
Happens.
there.
Who's
I'll
the
be-
third L?
We easily could be 5.
Raiders.
The thing about it is that when you see a stock price plummeting, you sell high. That's what the Seahawks did with Russ. They sold high.
Shit.
Imagine he has a season with
two
Seattle.
first,
What can
2
they trade him
He's
for?
gonna get these Russ
So we
jokes
did with
off.
Jamal Adams.
2 first, 2
Yeah.
seconds for a franchise
Absolute
quarterback.
fleece.
We'll be okay.
ABT and Garrett
Well,
Wilson.
a
Damn.
former franchise quarterback. We don't know if he's going to be.
Yeah, he's
that
gonna
with
get these Russ jokes
Broncos.
off for a
Yeah,
minute.
he's got it.
Yeah, right now
He
he's
can.
winning.
He's
Yeah.
fine.
We don't know if he's a franchise guy. He was. We don't know if he's at now.
You can take the Week 5 victory lap. It's cool.
Bro, voice pitch.
Matt Ryan was
stuff.
traded for a 5th round pick. That's all I'm saying.
And he's played like dog shit.
Yeah,
He was
but
worth the 5th round pick.
Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
No, facts. 5th round pick is like whatever.
It's a special teams guy.
They both have
Especially if the
played like
Broncos
shit.
play worse than we expect, Seahawks might have a top 10 pick and a top 15 pick from Denver.
That'd be bad. If they miss the playoffs, yeah, and they'll get a top 15 pick, that's gonna sting.
Geno Smith this year, his completion percentage over expectation is 10% above. He's completing passes that are deep too. He's just not completing short passes. Average air yards per attempt right now is at 8. So Geno Smith is making big boy passes, seeing the entire field. That's my guy, man. I'm definitely a Smithian. I'm gonna say that right now.
But he's not a franchise guy, but you're
when Ryan Tannehill,
Smithian.
Riv right here is witness. When Ryan Tannehill was in Tennessee, I said, listen, that guy is a franchise guy. I said Ryan Tannehill is gonna prove guys wrong. Made the playoffs, won a couple games, got that big contract.
He did say
Ryan Tannehill, the Manahill. I was a Tannehill.
Tannehill was never bad though.
No, he 100% predicted the Tannehill rebirth. I give him that.
Are we giving Tannehill the franchise label?
He did. He was right for a
Ryan
little bit.
He was right for 2 years.
Ryan
he
Tannehill
was-
is definitely, he's not a franchise guy, but he's not a franchise guy.
But he's not in the Kirk Cousins tier, is he?
No.
I think he's pretty similar. He's
probably a couple
close.
spots below him.
He's below him, but it's close. Like if you have Ryan Tannehill, you're not looking to move off of him. Unless
Like, if you're
find
not
him
in
a
the Kirk
significant
Cousins tier, you're probably not a franchise guy. Because Kirk Cousins sometimes a franchise guy,
Ryan
sometimes
Tannehill
not.
had 2 top 10 quarterback like seasons.
He did.
And now he's playing well with some limited weapons and offensive line.
He's
Tannehill
doing
has
right.
been bugging out.
Yeah.
And Geno Smith, listen, I'm on the Smithian train. I think he's gonna
So
bounce
he's
back
in the
for
middle
real.
for you?
I think he is. I think after the season, we're gonna look at Geno Smith as a Tannehill,
So
that type of tier.
What if
quarterback.
Seahawks get a top 5 pick? Do you still keep Geno as a quarterback? Do
Yes.
you draft?
Draft the quarterback.
Draft the quarterback, have him learn under
Okay.
Geno? Yeah,
Learn under Geno.
No
Yeah.
pressure to start him.
God, okay.
I think that's what they can do.
Makes sense. Shout out to Seattle,
But
man.
I also don't think it's crazy to say that if the Seahawks can rebuild this defense with the cap space they have in picks, that Geno, he can do some work with them.
It's too early.
Like
It is
he
too
can
early.
do some work with them.
Too early to make that
wait.
prediction.
You gotta wait for DCs to get the tape on Geno, what they've been running with
Yeah,
him.
it's just a little too early for
It's
that
early.
prediction.
Tyler
but-
Lockett right now 13 in receiving yards. DK is 17th.
Love Tyler Lockett.
And Lockett was going in like the 10th rounds in
Late.
fantasies.
Third
Yeah,
leagues.
I got him in the 13th. Love him.
I should have
him.
drafted. I drafted DK. I didn't draft Tyler
DK's been
Lockett.
doing fine.
DK's been
In the pick a solid
finds
league, I
pretty
drafted
well.
G-
That's
DK.
perfect word to use.
Huh?
In the pick a solid league, I drafted
What's your
DK.
record in the pick a side league?
They're in second place right now.
We're doing
Yeah,
pretty
now
well.
our team's ass. Our team's ass.
You guys were talking mad
We were
shit.
talking
too.
Keenan,
so much
Keenan
shit.
Allen,
So
man.
much shit.
He's a bastard.
And
Nah,
Burrow
y'all were
was
talking
mid.
nasty
Yeah, I
business.
did take Keenan Allen as receiver.
Did.
Prayers on Keenan, man.
Michael Thomas is hurt.
Yeah, we're in shambles.
Fuck.
Tight end's terrible.
Dog shit.
Our tight end, we can't fill it, bro.
We have Conklin, right?
Yeah. No, but bro, it's,
Tyler Conklin.
we started Cole Kmet for the first 3 weeks of the season.
Did he put up more than 3 points in any week?
He actually had 0 zeros back to back,
Oh my
weeks
God.
1 and 2.
Oh yeah,
and,
when you're completing 10 passes a game.
and our second running back, we're cooked.
We have Gibson, ETN, right?
I think so.
Do we have AJ Dillon?
We do. He's also mid.
Yeah.
Before we go on to the next couple of topics, an ad from BetterHelp. In our life, we are faced with challenging situations, problems we're stuck on, or maybe we just aren't feeling well. It's always better to face these situations with help, and that's where BetterHelp comes in. That's BetterHelp, not health, so HELP. Personally, I've gone to therapy a couple times. I think it's been a good experience for me. Unfortunately, though, I've never been able to stick to a therapist because I feel like they just weren't the one for me. But with BetterHelp, if you're thinking about therapy, it's a great option because it's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. You get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey, and you can switch therapists at any time. BetterHelp.com/pickaside for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/pickaside. Promo code pickaside. PICKASIDE. So go use it if you need some therapy.
I used to go to therapy.
Definitely think it's helpful.
Definitely helpful.
Yeah, I used to go. I was like 17, 16.
I'm glad the mental health, conversation's been picking up around men, especially.
I do
important.
I do think that's
I'll
important.
tell you, it's a pretty fair statement because I don't talk about my true feelings
Sure?
openly. No.
Really?
Yeah, compared to what goes on, and then I have conversations with people, and I don't realize just how I'm just spilling, like just all the stuff that I keep in my head. I understand. I could have used a different word, but that's just really how it is.
I'd let you do your thing. Spill it.
Yeah,
Thankfully, I have a lot of friends in my life that I'm able to talk to openly.
You seem like a very spill type of.
But for people out there that don't like the trauma dump, therapy is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, even if you're not going through some crazy shit, just good to talk to someone, get whatever it is off your chest, clear your mind.
Me and my therapist used to play checkers while I was dumping.
That's pretty cool.
Dumping?
I know what he means.
While I was just spilling out the emotion, we used to play like checkers.
Dumping is fucking crazy.
Yeah, my fault.
So it's better
So
than
you
spelling. Thanks,
said
bro.
checkers or
dumping's
chess?
worse.
No,
for sure.
checkers. We used to play
Okay.
chess too. I'm good at chess.
Yeah.
I'm actually
I
really good at chess.
was actually really good at chess.
Me too.
Like I went to nationals.
I didn't do all that.
My team was number 1 in the
Wow.
country. which was pretty
Congratulations,
lit.
cocky.
I'm just saying,
Played chess for
I was
fun.
good. That's all. You want to see the pic?
I don't.
I'll show
You're
you.
gonna show me anyways, but
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
want to see the picture.
Dude, I look adorable.
Why do you? Come on.
How old were you?
I was proud. I was in.
You were a grown ass man.
I was in second grade.
Just say you're mad young.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't got them skills. No
When
more,
did
bro.
you meet Drew?
Nah.
Did you know him
I
at the
do.
chess champion?
Nah, we met in high school.
Look how cute I am, bro. Hold on. Here it is. Look how cute I am, man.
Nah, look at your fitted.
Right? I look tough.
This was you? This
Yeah.
looks nothing like you.
Really?
I
I feel like it looks just like him.
Let me see.
Those outfit is horrible.
You see how big that trophy is?
Yeah, that's a fucking big ass joke.
W, man.
I think it does look like Drew.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it does.
Oh.
Let's have a different hairline now.
Said it has looks nothing like you.
Is that in your family room?
Yeah, it is. God.
That's hilarious.
That is actually indeed funny.
So damn cute.
So
That's for the
Rudy
YouTube
Ray,
exclusives.
shout out to Rudy Ray. He hosts a podcast called The Diving Deep Show. He sent over a gift to us. There's a Nikola Jokic Funko right behind me. He sent that over. So shout out to Rudy Ray. And he sent us these basketball cards. He said, hand out these cards on the show. Each person will know whose is who. So first one is Giannis, right?
The only one I could assume would be me because I have Giannis as my MVP. I
You're the
appreciate
Giannis.
that, Rudy.
Second card is Patrick Williams.
Yeah, I wonder
That's
who's
for
that.
Riz. Definitely a disappointing player. Third one, Isaac Okoro.
Yeah, it's another
That's
row.
for Riv.
Yeah,
the
my
Isaac
God.
Okoro agenda.
Bro's got Pat Will and Isaac Okoro over there. God
Fourth
bless.
one
I love mid.
is Markel Fultz.
That's a you
That's
thing.
for me.
Yeah, facts.
That's for me. The fifth one is Eric Gordon,
Yeah.
Houston
Give
Rockets.
that to Dehls.
Hold on to that one. Get
Yeah, hold it,
Dehls,
hold
you want it?
Go hold it.
You want the Eric Gordon one?
Eric Gordon.
Look at Okoro.
Fine
man.
player, man.
He's a great player.
Is he getting bought out?
I don't know.
Screaming.
I
You
hope.
should. You should go to a playoff
Please, Lakers.
Stop.
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 Enough.
Eric Gordon's not getting bought out
team.
to go to
You
Lakers.
Lakers and Miami Heat fans, you're the worst ever. Yeah, I think you're getting everybody.
We usually do.
No, it's not 1984.
The sixth card in here is Rudy Gobert,
Who the
Yeah,
fuck
have
is-
fun,
That's for
have
me.
fun
Yeah.
with that one.
Minnesota
Who the
guy.
fuck is a Rudy Gobert guy?
Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Seventh card is Alperen Şengün. Riv used to hate on this guy pre-draft. Josh Giddey and Şengün were the guys that Riv didn't like pre-draft.
Giddy's still up in the fucking air.
What are you
Giddey's
Giddey
good,
was
man.
Giddey.
Giddy of all
Phenomenal.
people? You should have said Sengun is up in the air.
No Sagoons.
Bro's over here holding Isaac Okoro and
But
Patrick
Giddey
Williams,
isn't?
saying Giddy's questionable.
Well, my whole Giddy thing's still are facts.
What?
His jump shot is broke. He's slow as fuck, and he can't guard.
I said that he's Dark Horse Rookie of the Year, and you laughed at me.
He didn't win.
He was definitely
a-
Dark Horse, though.
For
Yeah, but
sure.
he didn't win, so I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna laugh.
until he got hurt, he was Rookie of the Month every month.
He was.
Yeah. Eighth card, Zach LaVine. This is for Riv.
Look at this daddy ass lineup.
And the
You finally
final
got a good
card
player.
is Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Just going to Dehls?
Yeah, get at the Dehls. He's the Heat guy, but give it to
I'm
him.
a Heat guy. What the
Exactly.
fuck? I don't know if I'm a Heat guy, but shout out to Rudy.
Shout out to Rudy Ray for the cards.
Rudy,
We
thank you very
appreciate
much.
it.
You really are the
Shout
GOAT.
out, bro. Thank you.
Rudy's probably going to say that the Jimmy Butler card was for me because I was the only one that actually supported Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, maybe.
That's-
Possibly.
That's sleeping on Coral, man. Watch.
I'm not sleeping.
You're just
sucks.
an idiot. You're unsleep. You're just an idiot.
He's Matisse Thybulle Part 2.
Okay.
You're happy with that?
Okay.
Are you happy with that? Be honest.
I'm just gonna
I
wait.
know you're not happy.
No, I'm just gonna wait till the season starts. That's all.
All right, so suddenly he's gonna learn how to shoot.
It can happen. Matisse don't shoot. This is a difference. He's horrible.
Isaac Crow is a significantly better shooter than
He's a
Matisse Thybulle.
significantly better offensive player.
They're both garbage.
Okay. We'll see in the
He
season.
shoots 35% from three.
It's not good.
What's
That's
Thybulle at?
average.
But that's average.
Bro,
We'll see in the season.
watched.
Listen, you worry about threes.
We were there
you need to
live.
worry about the Lakers. That's what you need to worry
We're
about.
gonna be good.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be lit.
Define
You
good.
see our team
I see Cleveland.
revamped.
No, Cleveland's fucking big.
What does that have to do with anything?
Best team
How
in
about
the
we stay
league.
on topic for once in your life?
We're talking about Cleveland.
And we're talking
No,
about-
we were talking about Coral.
Hey, apologize.
I know. Another one.
No, it's
Scoot
not.
versus Wembenyama.
This was crazy to
Scoot
watch.
Henderson, Victor Wembanyama matchup.
Who? Me? How?
The Metropolitans versus the G League Ignite. So they faced twice. In game one, Scoot had 28 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. The Ignite won 122 to 115. Victor had 37, 4 rebounds, 5 blocks. They faced a second time. The Metropolitans beat the Team Ignite 112 to 106. Victor had 36, 11, 4 assists, and 4 blocks. And Scoot got injured in the first quarter, so we didn't get to see much action from him. What were your thoughts on these two games?
Game one was a movie. Scoot Henderson can do a lot at the guard position. His ball handle's amazing. His ability to shot create's very good. His ability to drive to the basket and finish at the basket. And there was a play where he kind of took it to. I still think that it was his dominant hand, but he still kind of just finger rolled it on Wembenyama. That was very impressive. I was definitely, because I knew about Victor Wembanyama. Victor, there's just, you watch him play, he is just naturally, he was just given a ton of gifts. Scoot is elusive. He's a fastball player. He can shoot the basketball. He can finish at a high level. He can pass at a high level. His IQ, his vision is at a high level. I was definitely impressed with Scoot because I was watching for Victor, and Scoot kind of, where Victor obviously had more points, but I was more impressed with Scoot. With Victor, I mean, this guy can handle the ball. How tall is he? Is it 7'4"?
7'4", I
He
believe.
can handle the ball.
Bro, he might be like 7'6".
He can shoot fadeaway jumpers. He can hit
Clears
jumpers.
Rudy.
Oh, no, that's not even a question. His shot blocking ability is tremendous. His positioning is amazing. This guy, Victor, is generational. Scoot is also, I would also consider Scoot generational. We're going to have to see when he gets to there, but Scoot really, really overly impressed me. But Victor just has all the physical tools to be a generational ball player.
It says he's 7'4".
That is crazy.
You saw the pic of him and
That
Gobert,
he
right?
towered over to Gobert.
That shit's crazy.
It was fun to watch.
Derrick Rose, John Morant, Jaden Ivey. That's what he's compared to. None of those guys, outside of maybe Derrick Rose, had this type of control and poise at the rim or in between game like Scoot.
I like that.
And this is what happens when you play with grown men at 17, 18 years old. You get to learn that throughout the year. He's going to play another year with grown men, which is good for him. He's the most advanced out of all four of them. Jaden Ivey's like 2-3 years younger than him. He has more control of his body and his ability to get to the basket more than Jaden Ivey. His just control over the game, his advancement in the game. Like you said, I was more impressed by Scoot because of just the things he's done in the court. Obviously, you can't miss Victor on the court. He's 7'4". He's shooting over the top. But I just, in a biased world, I would take Scoot, obviously. Unbiased. Victor, you literally can't miss at
Close
one.
your eyes.
But in a
Yeah.
biased world, you know, I love point guards that can be able to control the game from inside and out like that. And Scoot's ability, his future ability to defend because he has an NBA body at 18 years old, which is fucking nuts. These two are generational. I think when you find a 7'4" guy like that with his ability to handle the ball, his ability to shoot, his shot blocking ability, the only problem with me game one was he doesn't rebound enough. But, you know,
Game 2, he cleaned that up.
game
Facts.
2, he said, Riv, shut up. So I said, all right, word. Got all the rebounds. And then Scoot, obviously, his advancement as a point guard, you don't see that a lot in point guards nowadays. You see them still raw in their ability. Scoot is not raw at all. He
His
has the
finishing
mid-range.
at the basket.
He has
is
everything
crazy.
in his bag. His three-point shot can get a little better, but he has
Yeah,
the mid-range. He has the floater. He has the ability to attack in the pick and roll. He has everything as a point guard, and that's what happens when you play with grown men. So, two generational players. I just want to say to not sleep on this draft class. I know people are excited. I've seen a lot of tweets, oh, if you miss out on these two. No, there is a a lot of players in this fucking draft class. This draft class is loaded. I was go as far as to say this might be better than the one we just seen. This draft class coming up is nasty. You got Derek Whitehead. You got the Thompson twins, Eamon and Usar. I don't know how to say his name. I hope I said it right. Coming out too. There's just a lot of talent. You got Cameron Whitmore. There's so much talent in this draft class. Derek Lively, Khalil Ware. Like, there's so much talent. So I would say outside those top 2 picks, even if you don't get it, because realistically, only 2 teams can get the top 2 picks. There's so much talent. You'll be okay regardless. But sweepstakes is up. Tanking is lit. The Spurs and the Pacers are on a run.
OKC, man.
OKC, well, they got Shetts. I don't think they'll go get Victor, but
You would do that in a heartbeat.
I don't know if I would.
Dude, I would do that in 2 seconds. You have Victor
skinny
and
7'4"
but
guys?
bro, playing defense, they would be
Cheat code.
who's really.
I got to see
driving
Shet
on
play
them.
first because he's already out
Fair.
for the year and shit.
Yeah, it
so
does
that
suck.
fucking suck.
It does.
But yeah, the sweepstake is lit. So, and West has more bottom dwellers than the East. West bottom 4 sucks.
It's terrible.
So we'll see how it goes. San Antonio, scoot to the moon.
You didn't even mention Anthony Black. He's another good player.
Stop fucking saying him. That's his favorite player. Is that your favorite player? Are you
He's a
sticking
good
to
player.
He is a good player. I'm saying, are you sticking to
You're
him?
not gonna put him in that class?
He's like 18, 17. I want to put him top 10.
It's not a lottery pick.
Anthony
Might
Black.
be. He's slow. He's really slow. But he's like savvy. Like Tony Parker-ish at like 6'7".
I personally was more impressed by Victor. I think I was just
Understandable.
in awe of Victor, especially in the first game they came back. I thought, and Victor was the reason why they came back in that game.
He was bugging
He was all
out.
over the place.
Only player that can guard Victor right now is Mobley. No trolling.
You don't think Gobert could guard him?
Fuck no.
No.
Nah, he probably can. I mean,
Victor already given the business in an open gym.
True.
Yeah.
one-on-one
gym,
maybe not, but I think Mobley because of his ability to go out there
At
and
the
really be agile.
perimeter,
Yeah.
Probably the only guy.
Giannis?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, Giannis all slow pigeon foot. Yeah, maybe
Take it easy.
he's slow sometimes.
Is he
Pigeon
slower
foot's so
than
crazy.
Victor Wembenyama? Probably not.
Defense on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Giannis he gets
But it's
caught.
Wembenyama. It's a 7-footer.
Yeah, it's like he gets quicksand though.
What about y'all was agile?
No, he is, but so is Giannis. For that
On
size.
a fast break, yeah.
But I'm saying at that size on the perimeter, let's not get hung up on this one too.
I get what you're saying. Maybe
Yeah,
Giannis.
yeah,
Okay, we'll throw
yeah.
Giannis in. He's 7
Thank
feet, strong as
AD
shit.
also.
Fuck no.
Are,
Fuck no.
so stupid.
Anthony Davis cannot guard Wembenyama.
I don't.
Andy Davis can't
What are you
guard anybody
doing?
at this point.
Crying.
He just hurt himself. Need to go in the lab.
It's precaution.
I don't want to
Yeah.
say I
Back
hate you.
milk.
If, I don't want to say I
Stiffness.
hate you, but I hate you when it
Get
comes
some
to Anthony
fucking milk.
Davis.
I'm not someone who really follows college basketball outside of Seton Hall. Don't follow the G League and
What
fucking
about
French
the
League.
Gales?
No, with all due respect. It's really just Seton Hall I watch, but these are the only 2 names out of this class, and you've put me onto the Thompson twins
Jared
as well.
Roden.
Jared Roden, yeah, shout out to bro. I
Amen.
he
He's
just
on
signed,
Portland.
yeah, he just signed a
He did?
G League contract.
Oh,
He's on
congrats.
Portland.
Congrats
Yeah.
to Roden. Amen. Thompson.
Yeah,
He's
I remember
him.
you telling me about the Thompson
He's on
twins.
He's actually in Hall.
Nah,
Oh.
I wish.
He's on overtime. Overtime
Oh,
elite,
yeah.
the other team.
But I think like you, Drew, I knew about Victor. I knew like he's this 7'4" alien that people are comparing to, like, who doesn't have a comparison. People saying if him and LeBron were in the same draft class, was it Richard Jefferson who said that you would take Wembenyama over fucking LeBron James.
Why is RJ saying that?
I would not take
Dude, you
Victor
also
over
tweeted
LeBron.
this, and it's very accurate. It's a healthy Porzingis. That's how you got to look at
No, it's
Wembenyama,
not.
who's better. Wembenyama's better, but that's really his skill set.
But Wembenyama can handle the ball too. Like he was
That's a
coming
fact.
up with the ball. He was hitting pull up threes. Like he was doing shit that you don't see.
I'm gonna be
7
honest,
He's a
footers do.
better healthy Porzingis.
Healthy
but that's how you
Porzingis
got to
is
see it.
disrespectful to Wembenyama. Wembenyama is a combination of that and Kevin Durant.
That-
He can handle the ball legitimately.
That's why
And
the
shoot
KD
off the
comparison
dribble.
makes sense
That's fair.
because he actually does have a handle. And Scoot, I think they were saying it during the game too. His biggest question was his 3-point shot or just his jump shot in general. Because I think last year he shot around 20% from 3. And they won the tip, and then the first play came up. I don't know if pick and roll, pull up jump shot looked smooth. He hit a couple
He
threes
took
as well.
everything personal.
Yeah.
Just calling him KD is.
It's fucking nuts. We have to stop doing that.
What's his comp?
Victor. Let's just do that.
Just call him Victor.
His comp is Victor.
But does no one get comps now then?
No,
I won't lie,
have a
I
problem
don't
with a
love
comp. But when
comps.
people saying like shit like, oh, he's the next this, he's the next that, it's like
But we are calling him generational.
he,
So
you can-
automatically.
he's generational.
Because if Scoot becomes a consistent jump shooter, is he still getting labeled as John Derrick Rose?
no, he becomes a different.
That's
mode.
what I'm
You
saying.
just said Scoot is the youngest MVP ever in NBA history by comparing him to Derrick Rose.
No, I didn't.
You compared him to Derrick Rose.
You're taking this step.
No, I'm just saying, like, in terms
I
of
didn't
play,
compare him to
in
the
terms
MVP.
in terms of play styles, Victor Wembanyama, he has KD in his
I'll
game.
say this: what Riv did say, he said, Derrick Rose,
I compared to
John
like the same
Morant,
age. I didn't compare
and Jaden Ivey.
Rose.
These are the guys he's being compared to. That's what he said.
Porzingis and Wembenyama at the same age aren't even close to each other.
No, of course,
If you're looking at it that way.
of course.
No,
Porzingis is not close to what Wembenyama is right now at the same age.
I'm with you.
I'm with you.
Victor's a stud.
Are we saying that
Who's,
Victor Wembanyama's ceiling is Porzingis?
I don't think
Hell
we said
no.
that.
You're saying
No.
his play style. I think you say his play style is that because they're both 7-footer and can
Just
shoot.
long.
No, I think his turnaround pull up, it reminded me of Porzingis. The way his shooting form reminds me of
Facts.
Porzingis. His mid range reminds me a little bit of Porzingis. Like when I watched him, I was like, I see KD, but I see Porzingis too. Like I see a little bit of Porzingis in him too. Of course, I think he's gonna be fucking better
Facts.
than Porzingis. I ain't saying no shit like that. But that's
Don't
what I see.
disrespect Porzingis. Porzingis is a good player.
That's what I'm saying.
Pick
Knicks
a side
Porzingis.
right now. Which one do you want to be on?
I think Victor Wembanyama, he looks more like Ralph Sampson. If that's too old for y'all?
No, that's just crazy
Show
for
some
you.
respect.
Ralph Sampson is crazy. No, but I'm saying
No,
like,
Ralph Sampson 20 and 10 as rookie in second year.
Ralph Sampson was
so
a
they got
dog.
hurt.
no, he was. But
He was
come on.
a dog.
You don't even know what he played like.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Exactly what I'm describing Victor as.
You don't know what
Ralph
he played
Sampson
like.
was a stretch, bro.
You don't know what he played like. You don't know. You're lying right now.
I'm not.
Who'd he play with?
Hakeem, bro.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Just making sure at least you know that part.
Okay.
The original
Twin
Towers,
Towers
man.
until he got
Facts.
hurt.
It wasn't the original Twin Towers.
No, I'm saying
It was Mark Eaton and what the fuck was his name? What the fuck
And
was his name?
defensively, I think Victor Wembanyama is a better defender than Porzingis, and I think even on the perimeter, he's more
But that might be
agile.
the best big duo of all time.
Who?
Ralph and Hakeem.
Oh yeah,
Bro, try to test my knowledge.
I did. You won. Congrats.
Thanks. I appreciate
I
it.
mean, that was easy.
Scoot for me is Russell Westbrook, though, not Derrick Rose.
Well,
Why are you looking like that? We got to stop acting like Russell Westbrook at his prime is not one of the best players in NBA
No,
history.
but why we? No, Westbrook really? You see Westbrook?
Yeah.
He's way smarter than Westbrook at this point.
Well, okay, smarter, I guess, IQ-wise, yeah.
Russ
He-
was still super.
feel like he's more
basically
controlled.
Been smart.
Yeah, he's not. Westbrook wasn't.
He did have
Westbrook
it
was
together.
raw talent and physical monstrosity of like he was just on some shit.
He's just stealing my word every show now.
But Westbrook was more like he was more damn. He was just more loose with it. So
Facts.
it's a little different. Like Scoot is more controlled.
You don't think
He's
the
very
pull-up,
tight,
you don't
everything he
think the
does.
mid-range pull-up from the elbow is the same? Russ at his best was a great mid-range pull-up shooter from the elbow.
Yeah.
everything just feels more in control with Scoot.
Yeah, he's also playing
Just, like,
competition
a little
that's, you know,
tighter.
I don't know, I'm just saying.
Okay, competition is what? He was doing
He's-
that against
I'm saying,
grown
Well,
men.
why is
18.
bro Scoot Westbrook? That's MVP level ceiling. Like, what are we talking about here?
No, I'm saying you talk about his
We play
competition.
style.
What's different?
Oh.
What's harder? College ballers or grown
I'm
men?
talking about like Russ NBA. I know Russ in college was a shooting guard. He transitioned to point guard in the NBA.
Yeah.
So Scoot is a natural point guard for sure. But Russell Westbrook developed into that.
Yeah, I don't know. I see because I don't see Westbrook because he's more controlled. I see like a more controlled athlete in Scoot. That's why I don't see Westbrook.
What's your favorite fits for these two, team wise?
Victor don't fucking matter.
Oh, if you had to choose one of these,
I would say
tanking teams.
Victor send him to Indiana with Halliburton, and then Scoot send him to San Antonio.
I think for me it's the Knicks for both of these guys.
You gonna have a top 2 pick?
I think we need a point guard. Even though Jalen Brunson is fine.
Paid, so he'll be a backup now.
Hell no.
if y'all have
You
the number
paid-
2 pick overall,
Jalen Brunson's
You
could
paid
get
him
out, or he's a six
$100
man.
million to be a
and
backup
Victor
point guard.
Wembanyama.
No, you put Jalen Brunson on the bench.
Well, then what about Mitch?
listen, I'm here for
Mitch
it.
out?
I'm
No,
here
he's
for
out.
it. If the Knicks tank, I'm here for it.
I
They're
think
not
those
good.
are,
need
I
to
think
stop with
good.
the
They're too
tanking.
good to
no,
tank.
no, no. Hey,
especially
let's
Victor
do it.
Wembanyama with Tom Thibodeau, DPOY.
You don't pay someone
Year
$100
one.
million then tank.
Well, I guess he's
Ah,
getting
you
traded.
could.
I guess the fucking Blazers did it.
That's why I like Pace.
I don't know if the
Victor
Hornets are
Pacers.
gonna be bad enough, but him and LaMelo would be a lot of fun.
Anybody,
Victor.
anywhere with a point guard,
Yeah, exactly.
that can play make like shit, like beautiful fucking art. Send Victor there. So Charlotte,
Scoot's more.
Indiana.
Let me ask you: is Scoot more athletic than Garland, like significantly, or
Yes.
okay?
Yes, he's just not as good of a playmaker,
Yep. Okay.
but he is indeed more.
He made
athletic.
a couple really nice like pocket passes off
Yeah,
dribble.
No,
He's
facts.
really good in the
That's
pick and roll.
Word.
Yeah.
He might be,
Bro, Wembenyama met bro at the rim. Crazy.
Nah, Victor got him a couple times, but
did.
Scoot.
Nah, Scoot with that step
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, he's better.
Yeah, the
Snatch
step back
back
3 was
facts,
crazy.
bro.
Scoot better.
Victor is a better player.
Nah, I would
You
take.
take
I would
Victor.
take Victor.
Victor's
You
probably,
probably just like Scoot, which is
I like
fine.
Scoot way more.
Yeah,
But I mean, Victor probably has a higher probability.
In
to
a
bust.
vacuum,
Is it
I
'cause he's
take
cooler?
Victor.
Is that what it
His
is?
game is cooler than me.
Scoots.
Yeah, I like Scoot's game more.
I mean, be honest.
I would take. I said unbiased. I would take Victor.
Cool wise though, 7'4", being able to handle the ball.
I like guard play. So.
I'm not gonna
I
lie
get it.
though, the Metropolitans is outside of Victor, their team is mid.
Well, he was playing an NBA level point guard.
He was.
I get it, but the G League Ignite, I think all around has more talent than that team.
Name
Tremont
4 guys.
Waters.
Name 4
Leonard
fucking
Miller.
guys.
Tremont
What are
Waters.
you talking about, bro?
Yeah, Tremont Waters.
Tremont
Yeah,
Waters.
he's on the. Stop it, bro. You saw them guys play. The rest of them were fucking mid, bro. You saw it. They were all like.
The France team wasn't that much better.
Nah,
Than
it was like same level. For being honest, bunch of mid. It was really just Scoot versus Victor. I want them to play overtime elite. I really do. I want them to play overtime elite. Amen versus because he's 6'7" point guard.
That's OD.
That's
Tough.
LaMelo.
yeah. He's coming in. He's different vibes. So we'll see. I want to see.
Scoot's
overtime.
got a big wingspan too, right?
Scoots.
Like a 6'9" wingspan or some shit.
Some shit like that. It's like 6'4". Yeah, I don't know.
He's gonna ball. He's gonna be balling for sure.
Victor's probably this is probably the first time where since like Zion where we have an unconsensus number 1 pick. Like Victor's
Consensus.
going consensus
Yeah.
part. Victor is going number 1 no matter the situation.
a lot of generational talent. Zion Williamson
Zion was undisputed like number 1. He was going number 1 regardless. Yeah.
In the draft.
and
for sure.
R.J. Barrett. It was a toss up.
No, it wasn't.
RJ went 3.
Yeah, he went 3.
I'm talking about before the season. R.J. was,
RJ was the number 1 high school
He was.
player.
Yeah, Zion wasn't even Zion.
He
Yo,
was
no
number
funny
3.
shit.
Zion was
Cam
3, I
was
think.
ranked higher than Zion in high school.
Facts.
My boy. He
And
still has
it's
the
crazy
opportunity.
'cause Cam's mid.
he's the only
Well,
one
he's
out
better
of
in high
all
school.
those 3 that were
was.
good.
Zion was playing
turn out.
fucking kids like you. No trolling. No trolling.
So a very good athlete.
He's 6'7",
Zion,
280.
come
He's
on,
gonna
bro.
come on.
I'm 6'1".
He'd destroy you.
I guess so.
He'll
He's
manhandle
Zion.
you.
No, he'd really manhandle you.
Yeah, he'd take advantage of you. For sure.
Like O'Day.
Would you let him box you out?
No. I'm not trying to
Would
get
you
bullied
let
like
him
that.
box you? I don't think he has a choice, bro.
you don't. You dead don't.
If he gets me in the post, it's a dub.
Yeah, just gonna drop step, dunk.
And that's what I'm
on the
saying. He's
perimeter,
drop
good
stepping
job.
me. I'm just getting out of the way.
That's
I'm
all he
not
did in the
post
Adidas
there.
circuit. Just said drop step, dunk. It was like, what else do I need to show you?
He's so good.
I was watching a
He's
video
so good.
from Hoop Politics. He's been on the show before. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Hoops.
He said that right
Shout out
now
Sig.
he'd trade Jonathan Kuminga for Cam Reddish straight up.
Yes,
What?
I do it.
That's
Bias,
fucking nuts.
all
Get him on the
bias.
Warriors?
Get him on the Warriors. Develop.
So you're done with Cum Bucket after that?
Nah, I try to keep both of them. I trade Moody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know,
Wish the camera would pick up on your fucking shit, man.
It's an accident, dude.
dude. I like Moody for the Warriors.
I love Moody.
We took an intermission in the pod and get some adult Happy Meals, but they didn't have any. Drew, unfortunate situation.
They're really pissing me off, man.
But Riv got his cookies, and he has orange high C with him.
Not only did I not get my adult Happy Meal, but I also got robbed of a Big Mac. McDonald's, you're gonna hear from my freaking lawyers,
I have the itis.
bro. I am in a coma. I
So,
ate so much damn food.
I wanted to mention this tweet in the Matt Ryan segment, and then we'll talk about some other recent NBA news that happened. Big Play Slay, friend of the show, came on. One of his tweets, y'all can't blame Matt, man. Dude got no time.
It's
I
facts.
agree. It's facts.
It's like,
It's
come on,
facts.
man.
What a slick move to use him after he was just on the show.
He knows ball.
Very key move.
He knows ball.
I don't think anyone is just blaming Matt Ryan though.
I don't
He
think
is
he's
one of the
washed. I think
problems,
he's
though.
capable.
I don't think he's a Super Bowl quarterback.
He can be.
I think he's barely.
If he's in a
tender
great situation, he can
quarterback.
be.
He's a better playoff quarterback.
Is he? I would say he's a playoff
If
quarterback in the right
he's in
situation.
San
Like a wild card.
If he's in San
I think in the
Francisco,
perfect situation.
yeah,
Okay, that's valid. Perfect situation.
win.
Yeah.
He'll do what Jimmy G does.
nah,
Maybe a little
he's
more.
better than
A little
Jimmy
more.
G.
A little more, Jimmy G.
More. In the perfect
Disrespectful.
situation, Matt Ryan's cool. I fuck with him.
Matt Ryan is
Fucking
so
him?
good, man.
Yeah, like in a perfect situation, like you put little bro on
Little bro.
It's like 38.
yeah, you put little bro on like you said, the Niners, a healthy Tampa Bay, it'll be good. You know
What if he was on
the
the Eagles?
I mean,
It would
yeah,
be live.
offensive
It
line
would
is
be live.
nasty business, but he don't got the running. He not really vibes.
Also, while we were gone, we found out that Russell Wilson's going to have a procedure on his shoulder. And now that we sit here, it honestly all makes sense. It all makes sense. There's a reason why Russ was not as aggressive, not as assertive, not the Russell Wilson we knew.
You too.
He said he's playing through an injury though. He's
Yep.
still injured.
But you know what? That speaks to his character and the stuff that they were trying to
Yeah.
say on his name.
Facts.
He's a warrior.
You and you. are the two sickest humans
Dude,
I've ever met in my life.
Disgusting, actually.
Like
he had an injury
it's
to his throwing
insane to me how-
shoulder.
Word. He's playing through it. You're fucked for the year. He's gonna play through it. You just do know
He's a
that.
warrior.
So every week you're gonna say he's hurt.
That's my quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Broncos fans would rather have Teddy
When did he
Bridgewater
get
right now.
So
He
like
doesn't-
since when? Since
He doesn't know.
week 1? Since
Dude,
yesterday?
It just
coulda
honestly,
got
if you
hurt
told
2
me
days
he's
ago.
been hurt since the preseason, that's why he didn't play in the preseason, I'd believe it.
You better hope.
You better pray to God he got hurt in the summer.
That's why bro didn't play in the preseason, man. He was nursing an injury.
That makes sense.
And he rushed back because he cares about the Broncos
That's why he looks like shit.
and Broncos Nation. Say that one more time.
That's why he looks like shit right now.
Dude, it makes sense.
Okay. Just find out when the injury happened. And then
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just going to go on a limb and say it happened during the preseason.
Or training camp,
That's
probably.
why
you know,
Hurts
got
is
banged
better.
up in
Preseason.
practice.
Hurts is better than your quarterback right now.
Once Russ gets healthy, then we can start really evaluating
When's
Russ.
he gonna? He's playing through it. When's he gonna be healthy?
He might
He's
make
gonna,
it worse.
he's gonna be healthy once he plays good. That's basically.
Or they're
what's
gonna say
happen.
he's hurt and he's playing amazing.
I'm just gonna leave it on this. Prayers to Russ. I really hope that the healing process is a quick one.
Me too.
He really truly is an inspiration to all of us.
It's a role
Fighting through
model.
adversity, trying to do what's best for the betterment of his team, just trying to go out there
Y'all
and
lost to
be the guy that
Seahawks.
he's trying his best, as best as he can right now.
It's a great.
I had the
human being.
worst Thursday night game I've ever seen in my life.
And a healthy Russ, man, who knows
One of the worst Sunday night
who
games.
knows what
too.
could happen.
Deadass. You guys have been part of 2 of the worst games in the NFL.
The difference is
You
healthy
guys are a
Russ and a
terrible
non-healthy
primetime
Russ,
TV
man.
game. Like you're a terrible
they're
primetime
bad.
team.
It's all right. Once Russ is healthy, we'll be back in prime time. We'll be
Are
the
you guys
stars
on
that we
Monday
know.
next week?
We are.
I think they are, bro. They're fucking everywhere.
We
It's
are.
good.
Who
It's
do you
good.
play?
I like it though. I like
play?
that they're on primetime. Yes.
They're embarrassing
You know?
Off the
themselves.
top of
I
my head,
know.
I don't know.
I like that they're on primetime so the whole world can see that.
No, I feel the
Washed.
last thing the Broncos need is to be on prime time.
They need to get
they
it.
need a 1
Because
o'clock
if
game.
Russ was
figure
doing
shit
this-
out.
Only on Denver TV.
If Russ was doing this without
Not
being on
ideal.
primetime,
We
people
play.
wouldn't be making that big of a deal.
At the Chargers.
Oh shit!
Nah.
Lock in though, cause
If Keenan's out,
What
if
about
Keenan's playing, like a shot.
we're about to talk about the Warriors.
Chill, they have
What do you mean?
DeAndre
Why is
Carter.
it chop? Pats are 10?
Keenan's in the slot a lot,
Pats are 10 shadows, bro. You didn't know that?
but he didn't play in the slot a lot. He was just on the
No, I
boundary
know.
on the left and
I
right.
know.
This a couple days ago, a viral video came out. Somebody leaked footage of Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole in practice.
Is this the Wiggins jersey?
At first, it was reported that it was this altercation. We didn't know what it was. Then the video was released, and it was a haymaker thrown by Draymond Green.
Oh, he popped him.
Tweaked.
He popped him.
Where do the Warriors go from here after Draymond punched Jordan Poole? Where is there to go? He already talked about it, press conference, and answered some questions about it. He said he is sorry to Jordan Poole, to the Warriors organization. He was wrong in the situation. He talked about it. He owned up to his mistake. I think that's all you can ask for. But we have to see if this lingers on or not. I think this is a huge situation, and Riv, being the Warriors guy, I think should speak on this first.
You have a Clippers jersey from when we talk about the Clippers?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
I was ready for I do. I would have lost my mind.
I would have thrown
I had to just throw in the Wiggins jersey because I have to remind everybody that we are the 2022 NBA champion. Wiggins was fucking amazing. He's arguably the greatest Canadian I've ever seen in my life.
Steve Nash, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he has no ring.
Drake.
He has no ring.
You're really.
Alluding to this Draymond situation, it was really interesting because apparently from reports, Draymond apologized on Thursday. He already talked to them. He apologized to his teammates and Jordan Poole. And the vid came out Friday. It looks like Golden State is more mad that the video got leaked out, which I understand that part. You know, you want to kind of keep stuff like this in home because now it goes out to the media. Media makes it bigger than what it already is. They start to create these stories. So I understand that. And then people like to compare it. You know, I've seen people on Twitter compare it to the 2019 situation. That was different. That was in the middle of a game. So, and it was clearly obvious that they were getting into it. Fans seen it, broadcast seen it. This was in a practice, in a closed practice within the Warriors facility. As opposed to the chemistry situation, for me personally, it shouldn't be an excuse for them. It may down the road affect them, but what I'm saying is they can't use this as an excuse. And the reason why I say that is because you have 4 championships in 8-9 NBA seasons. You have Steph, you have Dray, you have Clay, you have Steve Kerr. Iggy came back. You have the leaders
Didn't
there.
even mention Wiggins, the guy who's apparently the best Canadian basketball player.
Because Wiggins has only been here 2 seasons. Is what I'm saying.
Right?
I'm talking about the leaders. The leaders. You have the leaders there. You have the veteranship there. You have the guys, the vets in front. This isn't for me. For me, this is an excuse to use throughout the NBA season because Draymond knows better. I mean, he's been doing this his whole career. He's been kind of that guy. But you should know better. He claims that hurt people who are hurt other people.
Hurt people.
So he must have been in a tough situation. I don't know all the backstory. That wish him the best, but you don't put your hands on your teammate. You especially don't put your hand on your brother. Me personally, I would never ever get mad to where I put my hands on you guys, any one of my bros. If you're my bro, I have a certain level of respect for you where I would never put my hands. If I put my hands on you, that's the day we are no longer friends because I had to put my hands on you.
You think Draymond looks at Jordan Poole like that?
The way they've been talking
recently? Nah, I don't think they're bros.
Why you think? Because he wasn't at his wedding?
Forget it. I don't even think about that. I'm talking about just the thoughts that Draymond has shared about how Poole is very vocal. He's cocky.
Which is interesting to me because Poole has been cocky since Michigan.
He liked it initially, but it seems like when Steph Curry and Clay were something about in practice that they were busting.
Oh, yeah, I know
Poole's
what you're talking
ass.
about. Yeah.
He was like, I was just happy for that because Poole had to shut up.
I think Dre's more mad that he's not getting his extension and he's not getting his max money.
Dray said that had nothing to do with the situation.
I know, but I think that's one of the reasons that's something that is that's upsetting him, that he's not getting his money and Poole is probably going to get his money before Draymond. I think that's something that is bothering him. I could be wrong, of course. It could not be.
Think it bother him if Poole gets more money?
Poole's probably going to get more money.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think it's going to bother Draymond?
I think it's going to bother Draymond if he just doesn't get a max in general. But this is not a typical Draymond move because this kind of puts him in a bad lighting. What team is going to give him a max after this? I don't think any team. And I don't think a team is going to give him a max. I don't even think you guys would give him a max.
I don't know if we can afford it, to be honest.
Even if you did, I genuinely don't believe you guys would give Draymond a max contract. I don't think any team right now. Draymond's a special type of player in terms of he can only fit with a certain amount of teams and a certain amount of system, like a certain amount of a system. He has a certain special type of skill set. He's very valuable, very important, but that's because you have to maximize his skill set. So Draymond's smarter than this. I appreciate him for apologizing, but in my opinion, this should not be an excuse for the Warriors. They should still be they should still have the goal of going to the championship. A chemistry issue should not. That should be the last thing on this team's mind because this team has the main core has been together for a long time.
What's crazy about this is that the last time the Warriors had an in-house problem, Draymond was one of the guys involved with it as well.
He was the guy.
And was the reason why KD ultimately decided to peace out on them. They did end up going to the championship still regardless. They were still able to put that aside and still play at a high championship level basketball. But it still stuck with them. And every single time they spoke to the media, it seemed as if that was something that had to get brought up. Now, something like this, it's not as significant to the players because as good as Poole is, obviously it's not Kevin Durant. But Poole is going to be an integral part in this offense moving forward. He is one of the future pieces of the Golden State Warriors that the Warriors want to be at the forefront of their organization for a while. But you look at Draymond, and he's already in a situation where he's not getting an extension. He's not being held to the standard of, or he's not being held to the same light as a Curry, obvious reasons. Klay Thompson, obvious reasons, as he's both an offensive and defensive player. As of right now, Wiggins is a little bit more impactful to their team because of his defense and offensive input. Yes, we've spoken multiple times about how Draymond is one of the most, if not the most important person, outside of course, Curry, to the team because of what he means, not just on the court, but off the court in terms of his leadership, which is why it's shocking to me that he did lay his hands on Poole the way that he did. That video, I mean, listen, just off face value alone, it really looks like Draymond slumps him. It really just looks like he caught him clean with the right hand over the top, and Poole kind of just went down. It's not. He said it perfectly on Twitter too. He said, "This is not one of those things that you're gonna forget as a Warrior. As hard or as as much as they want to try and say that it's not going to impact them in the locker room, it's just not one of those things you're going to forget. If I'm Poole and I know that I'm going to have a consistent role on this team, which he most likely will, and I'm on the court with Draymond, I'm not going to feel as comfortable as I would prior to this incident. Of course, this dude just punched me in the face. That's not a something that you just gloss over. It's not okay by any means. So, of course, Draymond's one of the leaders of this team, one of the better players on the Golden State Warriors, but this definitely hurts the Warriors, in my opinion.
I'm praying on your downfall. I'll be honest. I hope this is the start of the Warriors just going down the drain. But in all seriousness, I think Draymond took accountability at the press conference, right? He said, as a man, you can't do that. Like you said, as a brother, look at Jordan Poole. Like, that's like a little bro to them, right? Draymond, Steph, Clay, they've been here. And now you have that next generation of Warriors coming up with Kuminga, with Moody, and Jordan Poole really being the one guy who's broken out of all the young guys, James Wiseman in there as well, who was a key part. So why you guys made the finals, why you guys had such a successful regular season and really broke out last season. So as Draymond Green, someone who's a veteran in this league, 33 years old, 34, however old he is, he should know for himself, and he knows this after the fact. He said, I made a mistake. He knows that he can't let his emotions get the better of him. One of the best parts of Draymond's game is his emotions, the fact that he's able to, represent that on the court and get in other people's heads and lift up his teammates when they're going down as well. So I think Draymond did the right thing in terms of taking accountability for his actions. But at the end of the day, what everyone's going to remember is the action of him going and trying to slump Jordan Poole. Now, we didn't succeeding. We didn't see the whole clip, right? It's a 20, 30-second clip, whatever it is. So we don't know the whole altercation that went down. Of course, there's like rumors that Jordan Poole was calling him a bitch and Jordan Poole pushed him. That's what inevitably led to the punch. So there's definitely more to the story than just that. But I think more than anything, the person who leaked it is the biggest issue here, because as the Warriors, one of the biggest reasons for your success is your continuity, how you guys have done this year in and year of being able to have a family style of team that you guys have built for the last decade or so, right? With drafting Steph, Clay, and all of these guys. And now you have someone in the building, in the video department, leaking this to TMZ, regardless of how much money that person got. Could have been life-changing type of money, but that's the type of situation that could really rip apart teams. Now, I think you guys are a very special circumstance because you have the vets, you have the leadership, you have Steve Kerr, who, anyone who knows is going to be Steve Kerr. He got punched in the face by Michael Jordan, right? So if there's anyone who knows how to get through this situation, you would think it's Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors. But from a leadership perspective, from Draymond, who is really the heart and soul of this team, and he has a very specific role because Draymond's not the type of person that could hit the open market and go to 29 other teams and get a $100 million contract. He fits the Warriors absolutely perfectly, and he has found a home here, which has led to him winning multiple championships, which has led to him being a future Hall of Famer. So if he goes to a different situation, he probably doesn't have the same type of impact. Thankfully, for him at least, this is so far into his career that it's not going to impact him in the long term. If he did this his rookie year, his second year, who knows? They could have traded him, cut him, whatever the case is. Draymond obviously has a stamp in the Warriors, the locker room, the Bay Area. He's stamped there. So I don't think it's going to come down to a situation where the front office has to decide, are we going to trade Jordan Poole or Draymond Green? They're trying to go win another championship. They know they only have a few years left in this Steph Curry window. As long as, if you Kuminga and those guys step up, the window gets extended. But at least with Draymond, especially with his age, Klay Thompson getting a little bit up there, plus coming off multiple injuries. So I think for the Warriors, shit will work out. You guys are too talented. If one thing fixes everything, it's winning. So if you guys start off going 15-3, everyone's going to forget about this. But for right now, from the veteran leadership, it's definitely a blunder.
Bro, I forgot to say, this is your high C, man.
That's mine.
I got a high C.
Okay.
Yep.
That's mine.
I got a high C already. It's over there, actually. It's over there. Yep. Not in frame. Wow, this is a lot. I think this is a lot. I will say I'm a firm believer, for the most part, in people not being defined by their worst moment. I think this was one of Draymond's worst moments. So I don't think that he should be defined by this entirely. He did an okay job at damage control in the press conference. Hurt other people. I understand that. I don't know if I feel like a lot of people walk around every day hurt and they don't punch other people in the face. At least that's just me. I think
they hurt him in other ways.
Yeah.
He took the more
the person who
route.
leaked the video, I think, is projected he made like $50,000 to $100,000 for leaking the video.
Tough.
Obviously, that's a problem. And
to come up.
Draymond. What caught my attention in the press conference is when Draymond said that the person who leaked it was bullshit. It was. There's no doubt. I think in a facility like that, privacy should be expected. It shouldn't be leaked. But he mentioned something after that. He said, this is what they chose to leak. They chose to leak it with no audio, which is in my estimation, Draymond is kind of hinting at us that Jordan Poole may have said something out of line. And if we heard the audio to it, we may have felt inclined to maybe side with Draymond in that situation.
You think the triple single comment was real?
Said all the bad bitches saw the video.
And also,
trying to make light of a shitty situation.
He mentioned that the people that are leaking these stuff, they're not leaking Draymond in practice when he's talking people up and being a leader and guiding them. I understand that those are valid points, but at the end of the day, he did something that is reprehensible.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any way the Warriors come back from this. I think this is a big, big deal. The punch was unnecessary. It felt like Jordan Poole was knocked out. You said it. I think he got knocked out.
He said, don't.
And where does this stem from? Draymond's contract situation. Maybe he's just going through stuff in life, built up tensions with Jordan Poole. We don't know. But I don't know how you can come back from this. I don't know how Jordan Poole and Draymond Green can continue to see each other in practice and shoot-arounds, playing in games, being on flights, and this not linger on. It feels like something's going to linger on. With KD and Draymond, this situation lingered on. And Draymond called KD the B word. He didn't punch him in the face. He knocked out Jordan Poole. From a human perspective, if you're Jordan Poole, that's a humiliating moment. That to me is a bullying moment. And now Jordan Poole, for this entire season, maybe even moving forward, when he goes out in public, there's going to be jokes about it, about people just yelling it from across the street. There's going to be people asking him maybe if he's shopping. Hey, how does your jaw feel? All these little sly comments, the internet too, whenever he goes on the internet, probably seeing him in memes. That all can't be good for his mental health. And I think in today's day and age, we are noticing how important that is, especially for a player who thrives on being mentally tough. In Jordan Poole, he's had to overcome a lot, and his confidence is what makes him that great of a player. So I don't know how it's not going to affect him. And it made me think this. I understand Draymond apologized. That's cool. There is no doubt that Draymond has been the leader in Golden State. He's been one of the more important players to them, especially defensively. But despite all the positive he's done, he's ruined a lot of things. 2016 NBA Finals, gets suspended for Game 5. He ruined a championship for Golden State. 2018-2019 season, refused to give Kevin Durant the ball in crunch time. Dribbles the ball off his foot. They go into overtime. He's arguing with KD. He calls him the B word. That ultimately led KD to leave Golden State, to not feel a part of that team anymore. He ruined KD's stay in Golden State. And now 2022, right now, by punching Jordan Poole, I think he's ruined this season. Golden State, I think we all consider them contenders going into this year. He possibly ruined a championship for them this year too. He's ruined multiple things. So as important and as great he's been, he's ruined things as well. And I don't think the Warriors come back from this. If the Warriors were hesitant to give him a contract before, now, I highly doubt they give him one. I don't think they bring him back. It's going to come to this. It's either Draymond or Jordan Poole. And it's a tough decision. Because if you trade Jordan Poole, your young core, for the most part, a big piece of it is shot. If you trade Draymond, your defensive anchor is gone. I have a tough time believing they can coexist after this event, and it's all because of Draymond Green's recklessness. Yes, he apologized. Okay, it's fine. He owned it to a mistake. But this was reckless for him to do. And I don't think there's any coming back from this. I think they're not going to win a championship this year.
So you think we're not contenders, or we're just not going to win a championship?
Not going to win a championship.
Well, we're still contenders.
But if you lose Draymond or Jordan Poole, you're not contenders.
Well,
They both have to be at their best for you guys to be contenders.
Jordan Poole has to be at his best for us to be a contender.
Yes.
He wasn't phenomenal in the playoffs leading up to the
He
finals.
averaged 18.
Yeah, he was fine in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
I thought he was
the
fine.
first, the first
And in the
couple
finals,
rounds,
he wasn't that. He was
first
okay.
couple rounds, he was whatever, really.
Look at Golden State. Your depth last year was made up of veteran players. Now that's not the case. It's a lot of young players. And if Jordan Poole's psyche is messed up and he's not the player he once was mentally, because this is a situation that can change you. Yeah, if he's not sixth man of the year candidate, I don't think you guys
a
are
lot
contenders.
of his looks came off of Draymond Green setting the screen up top of the key and Jordan Poole getting his.
I don't think. Obviously, for the future, I think Jordan Poole is clearly more important. If you're Bob Myers, Steve Kerr, you're obviously thinking we have to keep the young core. But I don't think Jordan Poole has to be at his best for them to be contenders for a championship. I think he has to have those off-brand nights, but I don't think he has to be at his best. That's not true at all, honestly. As opposed to the situation between, can it be fixed? Probably not, but I don't think this is more for the future. Like I never thought they were gonna pay Draymond. Did you think they were gonna pay Draymond?
I thought they should have.
I don't think they was ever gonna pay him the max. I thought Jordan Poole was gonna get his money regardless. But the thing about it is they can trade. I think they can still, if they do trade Jordan Poole, and I don't think they should trade Jordan Poole, but they do trade Jordan Poole, they can get something back.
Definitely.
And Golden State can get something back. So I think they'll be okay. But it is a tough situation. I don't know.
It's a leveraging, though. If I'm a team and I know Jordan Poole is disgruntled in Golden State, I'm not giving you a lot for Jordan Poole.
Is Jordan Poole unrestricted?
No, he's restricted. So he literally can't. He can't go anywhere.
I mean, best case for him at least would be a sign and trade then, if he really wants out.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But,
I think for Jordan Poole though, because you brought up a good point in terms of like being out in public and all that. I think not just for this situation, but athletes and people, stars in general, like even us who get hate mail and like I got DMs and shit, like people hate, like that's just some shit I think that Jordan Poole, he's gonna get joked about and all of that, but inevitably he's gonna have to overcome it, right? If you're gonna be a star, no matter what it is, media, sports, athlete, you're going to have people make fun of you. No matter what it is, you get punched in the face, you miss a shot, LeBron gets made fun of. Like, everyone gets made fun of no matter how great you are. So I think for, social media is going to do its thing. Twitter's going to go on jokes. I mean, there was funny-ass tweets, I'm not going to lie, about Jordan Poole and all of that. But at the end of the day, you just got to realize, like, that shit's not real. And especially for this Warriors organization, I think the most important thing is fixing it in-house. I think if Jordan Poole, and this is all assuming, if he could get back to that point.
It maybe could have got fixed if the video didn't come out.
Yes.
But since the video did come out,
I think
damn near
If
impossible.
Poole can feel comfortable in-house, if he can feel comfortable with his teammates, all is good. And all the shit outside, he just has to keep on the outside. But that's, you have some of the best veteran leadership in the NBA. But one of those is Draymond, who is obviously the reason why this all happened in the first place. So I have faith in you guys just because of the organization and how you guys have built this team and, built a fucking dynasty. So fix it in-house. And then let the shit out of house just play its part because it's going to play its part.
I think that the video leaking looks worse on the Warriors' part because based on all the reports before the video leaked, it didn't feel like they were going to give Draymond any sort of punishment.
Did they even mention a punch? Or was this an altercation, did they say?
There's altercation.
Right? That's what I thought.
That's all they mentioned. And it sounded like they weren't even going to suspend Draymond. They said it. They weren't going to suspend Draymond. And the video comes out. I don't know. If a player punches another player, I think that's worthy at least a couple of suspensions.
He has to get suspended. He has to.
He has to get suspended now. They weren't going to suspend him if that video didn't come out.
I mean, Aaron Donald swung a helmet at another dude.
Not at a teammate.
Exactly.
Not at a teammate.
Exactly. It's even worse. It's
not
not
one
of your own guys.
If you're in the Warriors organization and you see someone could go out, punch one of my teammates, and nothing happens, the Aaron Donald situation, whatever you want to say, but at least that was an opposing player. Not that it makes it right or wrong, but for this situation, you guys are on the same team here. You guys are fighting for the same prize. So Jordan Poole has to feel safe with the Warriors, and all the other players do too. So if Draymond doesn't get suspended, it looks like Draymond's above everyone else. It looks like Draymond can do no wrong, even though he just punched me in the face. He's not going to get suspended. He's not going to get fined. Nothing's going to happen to him. So I think the Warriors, with this video leaking out, their hands are tied. They have to suspend him. Thankfully, it happens now. This didn't happen in the playoffs where he would have to get suspended for a playoff game or a finals game or something like that. But I think without a doubt, if you're the Warriors, you have to set a message and say, we're not tolerating this.
I don't even think suspending him sends that message though. If you suspend him now after you weren't going to suspend him before, that just sends the message that you, just because now you got caught and the videos out, now you're just doing it to please the fans.
But did we know for sure that he wasn't going to get suspended?
No, he wasn't going to get suspended.
The report come out and said he was not
wasn't
going to
get suspended if that video didn't come. Yeah,
because I feel like it was a day in between the report and then
Bob
the
Myers
video.
said they wasn't.
Draymond is suspending himself. He said he's going to be away.
He stepped away but that doesn't fix it. That doesn't that's Draymond saying I'm just going to step away. Like the Warriors have to come down as an organization.
Hey man,
make a stand.
You heard what Bob Myers said? He asked Steph the other day, "Yo, you ready to lead?" Steph said, "I'm ready, man."
Of course,
it's time. It's that time of the year, man. That's all I'm going to say. It's that time of the year, baby.
I hope this is what really just takes y'all apart, man.
Better hope.
I do. I pray.
Listen, last season when Draymond went out, it's the worst you guys were all season long.
I know. We'll be okay. Trust me.
All right.
Yeah, okay to make the playoffs, but
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for all that.
Well,
it makes it hard though, because I mean, if you have to walk on eggs around Draymond, you have to be really careful about what you say, what you do. Like people feel that way.
Well,
it could impact you guys.
They'll be in contention. They'll fight. So that's all that matters. For other teams who have no ring, no success, no nothing. Like your teams.
I was gonna say, does this make me think the Nuggets are gonna beat them, or this
the Nuggets can beat them?
Nuggets can.
Apparently, the Nuggets can dog walk.
I don't
go
see
to
that.
Who do you think said that? Just look at the table, look at the landscape.
You said dog walk?
And who do you
I
think?
didn't say that.
Like this situation doesn't make me think that.
Wow.
He said that?
You didn't say that.
When?
In the Discord?
Why are you taking what I say in there seriously?
Don't. Yeah, he said that. In Minnesota too. He said that too.
Why are you taking what I say in there seriously?
Oh, see,
people should know I'm not talking seriously.
I
literally
know.
just do it to laugh.
I don't know. We can't
Dog
take your
walk's
Twitter.
crazy.
We can't take your Twitter seriously. We can't take your Discord seriously. What can we take seriously?
I say some bullshit.
Pick a side podcast.
Pick a side
Everything
podcast.
I say on here is golden and ingrained.
Yeah, everything else is bullshit. Not gonna lie.
I'll be on Twitter.
And on Twitter, I do give some nuggets on Twitter too.
Yeah.
Little nuggets here and there, sneak peeks. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think
Show
we're
you
one
part of
of
the
those
asshole
few rare franchises that can fix this shit. If it has to be anybody, it'll probably be us.
Listen,
Agreed.
I don't want the KD Draymond situation was only worse because Kevin Durant is a better ball player, but the situation is worse here because it was an actual physical altercation.
Dray bugging.
Yeah, he was. He
just hurt himself. I'm gonna be honest.
And Golden State would never won a championship without KD. Draymond said it himself.
Okay,
it was a difference maker.
That's cool.
I mean, they did win a ring.
Do you
without
think
KD
when you
before
say
him.
that, do you think you move a mountain or like it's just like,
No, I'm just saying facts. I'm just regurgitating a fact.
Yeah, they won 2 with them, 2 without them.
Oh,
That's
how many? Never mind. I'm not. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna let him enjoy
yeah.
his training camp and his preseason and stuff like that.
NBA Western Conference seeding predictions.
Let's go.
15 through 1. 15, I got the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
Number 14, the OKC Thunder. Number 13, the Spurs. And I'm going to start giving a sentence after each one, but it didn't make sense if I started with Houston. So I'll start with OKC. OKC 14, what do we really expect? And I think Houston's even worse than them. Spurs, Keldon Johnson's their best player.
God bless.
But they do have Greg Popovich as a coach, so I think they'll be slightly a bit more competitive than these other teams. Number 12, the Utah Jazz. Even though they're in rebuild, I think they have a lot of good players. They do. Conley, Beasley, Vando, Markkanen, Olenek. They're not great, but they're good. Colin Sexton, Ochai Agbaji, Jordan Clarkson, THC.
A lot of those guys won't be there.
Not possibly. We have to see. 11, Los Angeles Lakers. Durability concerns, depth concerns. I think they missed
11?
the playoffs.
Don't say nothing. Let him
11?
finish. Let him
Yes.
finish. Let him finish.
11?
Yes.
We got better.
Let him finish, Drew. Please let him
Really?
finish. Let him finish. Let him finish. Please, just let him finish. I beg you.
I want to hear. I want to hear.
Are we
Go ahead.
serious? Are we serious?
I can. Yeah. I just want to know how high this team is.
Number
too.
10, the Portland Trailblazers.
Okay.
I see where this is going.
Dame,
Where are the Kings?
Stop.
Are the
Just let him
Suns?
finish.
Are the Suns?
Can
That's
you
what
hold
I'm waiting.
up? Can I
do your
finish?
thing. I want you to
My
finish.
goodness. Number 9, the Sacramento Kings. I think they have a good starting lineup. They have some good depth. I think Mike Brown gives them a defensive identity. He's a proven head coach before, and he's been in the system with Golden State. He's going to bring over that winning culture. Number 8, I have the Phoenix Suns.
I like
Robert Sarver situation, DeAndre Ayton not bought, and I think he is disgruntled and wants out of Phoenix. Monty Williams seems to be losing the locker room somewhat. CP3 aging, and I don't love their depth. Number 7, the Memphis Grizzlies. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be out a while, and that does impact them. I know they won a lot of games last season, even with their injuries, but
Tape is out.
I think a lot of teams got better in the West. Number 6, Dallas Mavericks. Do I need to say more? Luka Doncic. Tim Hardaway Jr. is coming back, gives them a sharpshooter. Christian Wood, 6th Man of the Year candidate. He can definitely win that award. Rim protection with JaVale McGee, which is something they needed since last season. Number 5, the New Orleans Pelicans. Zion Williamson is healthy. He's committed to both sides of the floor. Their starting lineup is one of the better ones in the NBA, and their depth is out of this world. I really can't name 6 teams that have a better starting lineup than the Pelicans. They have 3 All-Stars in B.I., CJ, and Zion in the starting lineup. Number 4, the Golden State Warriors. Really, the statement for them is they're just worried about the playoffs. I think that they'll coast in the regular season, rest up, be healthy for the playoffs. That's all they're worried about. Number 3, Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi and PG are back.
I didn't hear this one team
Me
yet.
too.
I figured
Me
I
too.
know
Most
it's
loaded team in the NBA for sure, and I think even with Kawhi and PG game managing or load managing, their depth is still good enough to win games when guys are out. So I think that puts them as a top 3 seed. Number 2, the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. back. Good free agent moves. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Bruce Brown. I'm very excited to watch Denver, and I think they're going to be a legit contender in the West. And number 1 is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're going to be the first seed in the Western Conference. The Rudy Gobert edition, Anthony Edwards leap, Jaden McDaniels leap. I mean, this team was the number 1 offense in the NBA last season. And now you just got a generational defender in Rudy Gobert. There's going to be a top 5 offense, top 10, top 5 defense. They can now play aggressively defensively because they have Rudy Gobert in the back end. And according to just when you measure their length of their team, they have the most lengthy team in the NBA in terms of wingspans and heights. They're going to be a menace defensively, and I think they're going to be very good, one of the best teams offensively. This team is going to be number 1 in the Western Conference.
Okay, I'll run it off. So 15, I got the Jazz. I think they're just
last.
Yeah, I think a lot of their guys will either sit or be ready to be traded. That's why I don't think a lot of them will be there by December, January. So they'll trade a lot of the good players they have just for more draft capital. 14, the Spurs. I need to say more. They just have Keldon Johnson. They have a lot of young guys. I am looking forward to Trey Jones running the offense, so I think that's going to be a bright thing. 13, OKC. They go as far as SGA, Josh Giddey, Luka Doncic takes them. He's going to be out for the season. SGA gets hurt a lot in the season, so that's going to be tough. But when he plays, they're pretty competitive.
You're in on the Rockets.
Number 12, I do have the Rockets.
Interesting.
I like the draft that they had this year. I like that Josh Christopher they picked up last year. He was a good piece. Jalen Green, he picked it up late in the season. So I think they'll be good. I think KPJ, he'll be a better player than he was last year. I think he'll make modest improvements this season. They have a cool roster. It'll be an exciting young team.
Are you in on Tari Eason?
I am indeed in on Tari Eason. Number 11, I have the Kings. I feel like they made modest advances in the offseason, but nothing crazy to put over these next 2 teams I'm about to name. They still don't have that guy, De'Aaron Fox. I'm still not high on. Sabonis is a good player, but I'm also not high on him either. Number 10, I have the Lakers. As much as they got better, the roster still has no wing defense. LeBron and AD, you're going to have to count on to play 60 to 65 games. I don't know if you can do that. AD just got hurt the other day in a preseason game. And I know we ask this question every year, but how's LeBron going to look in year? It's a question you always got to ask.
We're good.
Even if he looks great, he's going to miss a lot of games.
Number 9, I have Portland. I love Chauncey Billups. I love the addition that he brought in. I love the defense for Portland and what they brought in. I think me and Joel was talking about this the other day too. I think like 2 weeks ago. The starting 5 is going to have to put in a lot of work for Portland, but Dame is quote unquote healthy for the first time in 3 years, so that's going to be good. And I think he has something to prove this year. Number 8, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. Same thing like you said. Jaren Jackson's going to be out for a long time, and that's going to really put some damage on this team. And I feel like the tape is out on this team. Number 7, the Phoenix Suns. I still think they have the system, they have the coach, and they still have the roster to win a lot of regular season games, enough to keep them in playoff contention. Number 6, I have the Pelicans. It's still a mystery. As talented as they are, it's still a mystery what the starting 5 is going to look like what the all guys playing, what the defense is going to look like, but they're talented enough to still be a lock for the playoffs. Number 5, I have Dallas. I'm really high on this roster. I think this is a really great roster surrounded around Luka. You bring Tim Hardaway Jr. back. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. We just talked about it coming off the bench with Christian Wood, and they put 3 shooters out there with with 3 because Wood's coming off the bench with Finney-Smith, Hardaway Jr., and Bullock if he is starting. I think that's fine next to Luka. Number 4, I have the Warriors. Same thing you said. They're going to coast through the regular season. They're going to let a lot of their young guys play. Kerr's a mastermind at this. He's just going to let the old guys rest and get ready for the playoffs. That's what's important. Number 3, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. I do have them.
That's low.
Okay. I have them at 3. I think they'll win a lot of regular season games, and this is a team that's well-rounded to win. Gobert usually doesn't get hurt. Number 2, I have the Clippers at 2. I think they'll game manage, but I still think Kawhi and PG have a little bit something to prove, and I think that roster is just too deep for them not to be a top 3 seed. And number 1, I have the Denver Nuggets. The Joker won 47 games by himself, bringing in Jamal Murray, MPJ, KCP, Bruce Brown. That's only going to uplift this team. I think they can possibly win 60 games if they stay healthy. So
60.
I got Denver as the number 1 seed in the West.
That's insanely low for Minnesota.
It's not.
Well,
3rd seed.
unfortunately for me.
Derek Flores is the 1st seed.
What the fuck?
Does he make sense?
All right, here we go. So number 15 for me, I do have the Houston Rockets. I understand where you're coming from, putting them at 12 because they do have some young pieces. I just don't think it's their time.
Their starting lineup is not better than Utah's.
I agree with
I
that.
did say under the assumption. I think.
Well, I don't know. It really depends. I think Houston for me is a wild card because if Jalen Green takes that second-year leap, Şengün I love a lot. Tari Eason looks good.
And Jabari.
Hold on, before you continue, knock off Utah's starting 5.
Conley.
Clarkson won't start.
Huh?
I don't think Clarkson's
So
going to start.
Conley, Beasley,
Sexton. Oh, you don't think
Markkanen, Vando, and Olenek.
Okay, so what we got? KPJ at this point, him and Mike Conley, same
It's
level.
the same thing.
Jalen Green is better than Malik Beasley.
Yeah.
Tyree Easton, he's a rookie, so voided. I think Laurie is better. Their 4. Who's going to be their 4? Who's Houston's 4? Oh, Jabari Smith, rookie, so voided, but he can play just as good as Vanderbilt.
He's injured right now, though.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. And Şengün versus who? Who you said the 5? Kessler?
Olenek.
Who?
Kelly
Olenek at the
Olynyk.
5?
Olenek.
He'll be traded.
But I think their bench, too, is better. Yeah.
All right, so to continue, number 14, I do have the Thunder. I do think that they want to put themselves in a position to have a very good draft pick. Not that they're going to go out of their way. I just don't think their team is good enough. You're right there, bro.
Bro, your shit's got a whiskey dick.
Number 13, I do have the Spurs. You guys hit it
You
perfectly.
sucking anything up?
No, bro.
Bro, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Give me that other straw, bro. This is crazy to me.
Number 13, I do have the Spurs. It's Keldon Johnson and a bunch of guys that are not.
Respect some guys on that team.
I guess you're right, but because
Trey Jones breakout year.
Spurs are going to come after. I like Keldon Johnson. He was one of my
Trey
most
Jones
underrated
breakout
guys,
year.
but I understand that this roster is not set up compared to the rest of these teams. Number 12, I do have the Utah Jazz. Just because the talent that they have is not great, but they do have a bunch of, like Joel said, good ball players, and that's the strongest word I can use for them. Number 11, the Sacramento Kings. They did do a good job to better this team, give it some depth. Bringing in Keegan Murray, people were skeptical. He's come in preseason and also in Summer League, he really showed out. Summer League, you take with a grain of salt, of course. But listen, he looks to have some potential. One of the early favorites to win Rookie of the Year. But I do have the Kings at 11. Number 10, I have the Blazers. It's understandable why people are. You guys have them at 9, both of you, correct?
Cool.
I have them at
Blazers, 10, 9.
Blazers? I have them at 9.
10. The Kings are better than them for me.
I just want
Dame
to.
for me
I'm going to
just
trust
puts
Dame.
over, yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly how I'd put it. Number 9, Phoenix Suns. This team worries me. I won't lie. After seeing.
Worries you?
They
The
do.
Phoenix guy. Interesting. Very interesting.
I faded that opinion. I faded it. I will be very open and honest about that. CP3, what version are we going to get of that of Chris Paul? That's my main concern, truthfully. Jay Crowder is probably not going to return. You guys mentioned it with DeAndre Ayton, that whole situation. And Robert Sarver perfectly said, the organization right now just doesn't seem to be in the right space. Number 8, my Los Angeles Lakers. I figure that's the high. 8. Would you think I was going to have them higher?
I did.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So I
That's
figured
pretty high for them.
This is where 11 was low, disrespectful. That's all I'm going to say. Number 8, I figured that's the highest I could go, but the lowest that I wanted to go also because LeBron and Anthony Davis, they just need to get in. Let them get in. Give us a chance. They just need to stay healthy. We did get better. The fact that we brought in Pat Bev, the fact that we have Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench, Austin Reeves is a good bench player piece. Kendrick Nunn, God willing, he's healthy. That's a good addition. Bro, I'm being sincere.
You're being optimistic.
That's all I can be. All right, Los Angeles.
Kept Kendrick Nunn name out your mouth.
Nah. He's essential. Off the bench.
Pat Bev gets injured a lot.
So? And not really last season.
Bro said so.
That was the first season that he's been healthy, yeah.
Okay, and he carried the Wolves to the playoffs. Next. Number 7, I do have the Grizzlies. I unfortunately wanted to put them higher, but Jaren Jackson injury sucks. And it seems as if teams were on to them late in the season, but they put up a good series against Golden State. They seem to give Golden State the best series, I should say, outside of the Celtics. And that was also without Ja Morant, but I am skeptical about them. Number 6.
We beat them about 40 with or with.
Oh, for sure.
Ja,
you guys definitely were pretty dominant throughout the entire playoffs. Number 6, the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I don't have the Dallas Mavericks higher because, one, Jalen Brunson's not going to be there, and he was a big piece for them, too. Christian Wood, it was a solid addition. We saw him have success in the preseason, but I'm not really sure how that situation is going to play out. And I feel like Luka he's going to get to the playoffs regardless. I don't think that the Mavs are a play-in team. They're a lock to make the playoffs, but this is a very Luka Doncic-centric team. And so that's why I have a team like the New Orleans Pelicans over them at the number 5 spot. You said it perfectly. They have one of the best starting 5s in the association. Now you add Zion into this mix, and I know you saw that clip of him talking about defense.
I actually didn't.
I know you did.
No, I promise I did. I haven't paid much attention.
Because when you're seeing your team hone in on defense the way that the Pelicans did last season, it is going to motivate a guy like Zion who is not regular and is going to put a extra booster into his back and really get him going on that side of the ball. Yes, he did.
I didn't say it. So.
No, offensively, you know you're going to get from Zion. Zion's going to be the dominant ball player that he was before the injury, and now he's in even better shape than he was before. This Pelicans team is going to be one to be reckoned with, and Zion's going to be in that MVP conversation as well. Number 4, Minnesota Timberwolves. And this is a vast improvement from last year.
Insanely low comment.
That's why
you saw me run my eyes.
That's why
I got that's insane.
I decided to hold my placement of the Wolves because I knew it was a spot lower than yours. But this isn't any disrespect. I mean, the Timberwolves obviously
the West is
are
tough,
a good they have a great roster, and good's not complimentary enough. They have a great roster. I just look at the Clippers, who I have at 3, that have a better roster than they do. Golden State, who is just a overall better team than they are.
I don't know about that.
And then my number 1 team, the Denver Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are going to be one of those teams that are every single night are going to play 10 out of 10 basketball. And by 10 out of 10 basketball, I mean they're going to give their maximum effort every single game because they have something to prove. Jamal Murray has something to prove. MPJ has something to prove. You mentioned the addition of KCP, Bruce Brown coming into the mix. Bones Highland showed something as a rookie last season.
6-man.
This team, with Jokic at the forefront, is going to be the number 1 seed.
I'll fuck with it.
I'll do my best to not repeat what you guys all said. 15 through 12 in the West is pretty ugly. It gets a lot uglier, especially compared to the East. I feel like Thunder, Rockets, Spurs, Jazz, however you want to have it. At least the Thunder and Rockets have guys to build around with SGA. Rockets with Jalen Green. You know, they have some pieces there. Spurs and Jazz are in no man's land right now. I mean, the teams aren't good. I do think the Jazz eventually, whether it's the start of the season, trade deadline, get off a lot of these veterans because they want to have the number 1 pick, at least a top 2 pick to get one of these generational type players we talked about earlier in the show. But 11 up, that's really when things get interested. And I think that last play-in is going to be between the Kings and Blazers. Right now, I have the Kings at 11, Blazers at 10. Similar to what you said, Riv, I just trust Dame. You know, Simon's got his bread. Dame's coming back off an injury. I'm going to trust him over the Kings, even though I do like the moves, bringing in Kevin Huerter, drafting Keegan Murray. Herter, sorry. I thought he has a little accent on it.
It's Herter.
Isn't he like German or some shit?
It's Herter, though.
No, he's white.
Oh, I thought he was like German.
Well, there's white Germans.
I'm a white German, actually.
Well, I'm talking about like.
No, he's like the American white.
Come on.
Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray. Keegan had a great summer league. He was really good in the preseason as well. I know that was someone who probably got the most shit from being drafted that high, and he's playing really well. 10 Blazers, I mentioned. 9 out of the Lakers. I just couldn't put them in that top 8 with the other teams above them. You have them at 8. I have them at 9. Bron and AD are going to get you into the play-in at a minimum, but
Are they at this point?
I worry about them staying healthy for those 60, 65 plus games. And if they are in a play-in and do have to play against the Kings or the Blazers, even maybe the Suns, they still have a pretty good chance. But I think for the regular season, with their age, we don't know what's going to happen with Russell Westbrook too.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to have them at 9. At 8, the Suns. And I feel like this could be a trap because we all have the Suns really low. I feel like we're just all worn out on them. CP3, another year older, DeAndre and his drama. Moving on to 7, I'm the lowest on the Mavericks. I have the Mavs here at 7. I know how great Luka is. I know you seem to like the roster a lot more than I do. I know Luka is so ball dominant that you don't really need other playmakers, but outside of Dinwiddie, they don't really have another playmaker. If something happens to either of them, it's all on Luka. He's done it year in and year out, not doubting him. I think they'll make the playoffs without a doubt.
I'm smitten over this roster.
I just don't like them as much as the other 6 teams.
I mean, you got Dorian, obviously. Christian
I just love
Wood,
the spacing around
Yeah,
him.
Bullock. I get it.
Bullock.
You got the shooting for sure.
They have
I just
McKinley
think
right though.
Yeah, that moves me a ton.
You just looked that up.
I have them at the 7th seed. I don't.
I see him on his computer. I'm like, maybe he's cooking something up right now.
He looked up McKinley right.
At 6,
Yo, do you guys smell
He had
that?
10
It
assists in
smells
the
like
preseason.
something's burning.
I do smell that.
I do smell it too.
Hope everything's all right.
Yeah, everything's good upstairs.
What if we
I
just-
think so.
Okay.
What if we just all go out together
Right now.
like soldiers on the pod?
That'd be a
Please.
shame.
This
That'd be-
We'll never
episode
get it
would
out.
never drop.
We'll never get it out.
That'd be crazy.
6.
Imagine Joel while he's burning to a crisp. Just gotta get this out real quick to the fans.
Get the Timberwolves number
That's
1
crazy.
seed in. Jesus, God bless. 6. I got the Pels. I do have the Grizzlies at 5, 1 spot over them. I like the Pels a lot, man. I think this team with Zion is really good. I think they surprised some people last year, taking the Suns to 6 games. They were in damn near every game. They were one of the more gritty teams, I think, in the entire NBA. And I understand the Jaren Jackson injury. And maybe there is tape out on the Grizzlies now, but they showed without their best player to win a ton of games. Jaren Jackson does different things than Ja Morant, obviously, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But Brandon Clark was phenomenal for them, especially in the playoffs. He was really good. Brandon Clark was really good. So I think he could step in, obviously not have the same type of impact that Jaren Jackson's going to have. But I think this is a really deep team. It's a good coach team. They showed to play really good against the Warriors. They're a team that could beat anyone, but could also probably get beat on any given night. I have them 1 spot above the Pels. At 4, I have the Timberwolves. They're a really good team. They're really good, bro. I get it.
not rude.
They're really good. They're a top
Bro, you
4
had
seed.
them 1. Like,
They're
we
a
should be shaking
contender.
our head at
They're
you.
going to be winning at least
I'm gonna
1,
be right.
maybe 2 playoff series.
You know what's crazy? I wasn't even mad he put him 1.
I wasn't
was like,
either.
I can see it.
The
No,
only-
the only
the
reason
only
I'm getting
issue-
mad is because we're showing them respect. Making
The
them
only
top
issue
4
is
seeds
they
in
have
the
to be
West.
good all season.
Like,
for this
for
agenda, like if
80
he had them at like
straight
the 3
games.
seed or 4 seed, if they were struggling the first couple months, like
No, they
put them
have
at the
to be
4 seed.
80 straight games of
they have
good.
to be really good, really quick. I have faith in them, with
bro, I
bringing
can
in
still say
Gobert,
this.
Cat, and Edwards. But the top 3, Clippers at 3, just worry about the health a little bit. Kawhi, Paul George, especially Kawhi. How is he going to look back-to-backs any given night? 2, the Nuggets, though. Rev, you said it perfectly. Jokic won 40-plus games with a really bad roster. Jamal Murray, I feel fine with. A torn ACL. It's a big injury. He'll get back from it. Michael Porter Jr. has had back injuries since college. It's going to keep happening. It's unfortunate because when he's on the court, he's an electrifying player. He's a guy that can play both sides. It's just right now, he hasn't been able to get over that back injury. And he's a key contributor to this team. But I think in the regular season, if he does stay healthy, they'll be a top 2 seed. But number 1, Golden State Warriors, the best system in basketball. They're a dynasty. One of the best
preying on
coaches,
their
one of the
downfall.
best players.
He respects
I'm praying
us.
on their downfall,
He
but I
respects
respect
us.
them. They got everything you need.
Unlike other people.
The Draymond situation, I did this before it came out. Maybe they drop a spot, but I would still feel pretty confident about them being the
The
1
Warriors
seed.
were the 4th seed with Kevin Durant
Draymond got hurt.
that year.
Oh, you talking about... What the fuck are you talking about with Kevin Durant for? It was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, with the stacked ass roster, they were the 4th seed.
Last year we were 3rd, and Draymond missed hella games.
Okay.
Clay didn't play for a portion of the game.
And that's another thing we have to take into
And
account.
hold on,
Clay is
why
about
did
to
you
be better.
put your mouth on my straw?
Bro, are you serious? Who really cares?
What the fuck though?
Take a sip.
Dude, I just
I
had a
drunk
sip.
it. No, but I'm saying I drunk first, and then you put your mouth on
Bro,
it right
I
after.
just wanted a
That's
quick sip.
That's why I looked at him. I was like,
Bro,
what the hell?
all right, I guess I'll apologize, but I just
I
wanted
thought
a
you were
quick
gonna
sip.
open it though and take a
That's
sip.
so much work. I mean, I just wanted a quick sip. Would have made noise.
No, I don't care about the noise. I didn't think you were gonna do
Dude,
that
I'm
part.
sorry, I guess.
I guess. You didn't, what the fuck do you mean?
That was OD.
Yeah, you see that shit, right? He just, he asked me, I get a sip.
Not like,
I'm like, yeah.
it's not what you did wasn't crazy, but the fact that you didn't ask,
I asked, can I have a sip? He said,
not
yeah.
from the straw.
Yeah, you didn't, like, if you'd have been like, yo, bro, can I?
So I supposed to go 3-step question
All in the
for a
can
drink?
with it, drinking on my
Dude,
drink.
so what? Now that people...
Nobody shares spit.
No one probably would have said anything until right now. Get ready. 8-9 comments about it.
You really think our fans don't notice every little thing they do? They notice every little thing I do.
It doesn't really matter.
Fucking clown.
They've noticed you touching me, bro. They've noticed it. I've seen the comments.
I don't
They've
be
seen. They'd
touching
be like,
you.
"Yo, what's
you
your
be touching them all.
bag?"
What are you
Like,
talking
Y'all got a
about?
fetish
I'm
over
trying
there.
to tell them.
Little freaky shit.
I told you
going
the tension, the
there's a little
sexual
freaky
tension
shit
between
going
the
on
two of
over
them,
there.
man.
I am disappointed in you guys. I thought you guys would learn your lesson from last year.
What's that lesson?
So let me get
Well,
this
not
straight.
you, because you weren't a part of the predictions.
What
but-
about
Dehls,
me?
Dehls.
What about me?
So we don't have them in the playoffs
You've thrown
last
your
year,
respect
right?
on my name
The
before.
Minnesota,
Oh,
they
okay.
make the playoffs this year. Now we put them the 3 seed, and we're
It's too
still
low.
disrespect. It's too low.
Well,
we can't win.
Without Gobert, they were making a jump anyway. With Gobert, yeah, they're the best team in the West.
But they cannot. The best team in the West can still not be a number 1 seed. You do know
Well,
that,
I'm talking
right?
about best team in the West seeding wise. Yes. They
Oh,
are.
okay. Well,
That's
I
what
mean,
they
I have
are.
them 3.
That's what they are.
You have them 1.
Let me ask you, do you have them over the Clippers solely for the fact that Kawhi and Paul George are going to load manage?
Yeah, but I think that regular season wise, I trust the Timberwolves a lot. I do.
So let me say, if Kawhi does what Riv is hoping that he does and plays 65 games, which if not happening,
I know.
but let's say he plays 65 games, Clippers aren't the number 1 seed.
Well, they could be the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I don't have them as
Why
the
do we
number
act
1
like
seed.
D-Lo and Cat always play too?
That's facts. Cat plays. I mean, he missed 1 week because of COVID this year. What,
No,
right?
but
Am I
the
wrong?
season before, he's been hurt.
Let me not say 1 week.
Why do we do that?
Cat's only been really hurt 1 year.
Oh, it's like 2.
No, it hasn't been actually.
So
No.
you think? I mean, this isn't a finals. What's it
Dude,
called?
he played 74
projection.
games.
But would you take the?
about the
This
years
is
before that?
okay. 2015 to 2018, Cat played 82, 82, 82, 77. 2019, 35. 2020, he played 50 games. Bless you. And 2021, he played 74.
So it's just D-Lo.
So I mean, we knew you were in that Timberwolves,
And they had Jordan McLaughlin.
okay.
What do you mean? He's a good player.
I mean, come on, for
It's-
first
it's-
long
it's
stretch.
about
I mean,
Cat.
yeah, okay, they'll be okay. They'll be okay.
So you're taking the T-Wolves to be the
Yeah,
the
let's
face
get
of the
into
West?
it. Let's
Like
get into
you're
it.
taking the Timberwolves to come
No,
out of
no.
the Western Conference, get past the Warriors, Clippers,
Let's get
Nuggets,
into it.
whoever it
Talking
has
about
to
the
be.
finals. I don't know.
Contender,
Yes.
contender
And
tiers.
it all matters about matchups in the playoffs.
No.
I know, but that's
No,
what I'm
no,
saying.
no.
Like these,
No.
I think we see top 4 teams:
No,
the
no.
Timberwolves, but you got the Clippers,
Dehls,
you got the Warriors,
Dehls.
and you got
Don't let him-
you
don't
got
let
the
him-
Nuggets.
you don't know how to
So
act. Don't let him get
matchup
off
to
the hook.
matchup, who do you
Talk,
got?
yeah, ask,
Wait, who?
answer.
Wait,
Matchup to Nugget. Excuse me. Timberwolves, Nuggets. Who do you got?
Go ahead.
That's very tough. My goodness.
Yeah,
That's tough.
the Nuggets.
You know what? I think just for the sake of experience, I would take Denver. I think
If it's experience, how many teams Minnesota is really beating? If you're just going off experience,
I know, but I like Denver a lot. I really do. I think that this could be their year
we all
Okay.
like
win,
Denver.
to win the championship.
Timberwolves, Clippers.
T-Wolves.
What the?
Why?
He just contradicted himself.
Crazy.
No.
You have to.
I'm not taking the T-Wolves because of experience. I'm taking it because I think they're just a better team. It's a bad matchup. For the Clippers.
No. First of all, no. You just looked at Denver and said, off experience
But you
alone.
just told me
Well,
that
I
the Clippers
I
have the
think-
best roster in the NBA.
They do, but we have to see them, right?
We have to see the
I-
Tims.
We have to
Don't you
see the
think-
Tims. It's
What
facts.
the? We seen them in the playoffs last
And they
year.
choked.
They
I
took
think-
a small
choked.
step last year.
think this is the thing. This is kind of what irks me because the Clippers are very similar to the Nets in the West. Where
We 100% agree. Except they've made it to a conference finals, and the Nets have not.
Yeah, well, it was an easier path to that
Easier?
Western Conference Finals.
Played
Easier.
the number 1 seed and they played Luka,
What do you mean they played the Jazz, bro? The Jazz with the
number
seed.
1 seed.
The Nets
Jazz.
played the Celtics with Evan
And they
Fournier
weren't,
as a
they weren't
starter.
frauds until that series.
The Jazz were number 1 seed.
The Nets they only won one series against the fraud ass Celtics when they had Evan
They
Fournier.
lost to the champions.
They lost to the Bucks.
in 7.
And the Clippers lost to the Suns, who played the Bucks in the championship.
Yeah, but they took the Bucks to
Yeah,
7
but my
without
point is,
being
my
healthy.
point is, who has the Nets beat? They beat the fraudulent Celtics with Kemba Walker and Fournier.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but
And
they
Tatum.
lost to the
Oh,
champions.
no Jalen.
Like, let's not disregard that they lost to the
I mean,
NBA champions.
you just completely disregarded a number 1 seed. You literally
the
just
Jazz, bro.
But they weren't
the-
frauds
the-
until they lost to
We knew that the
Clippers.
perimeter defense was always suspect.
did that. Yeah, but they weren't frauds until the Clippers did that to
Did
them.
you pick the Clippers to win that series?
I don't
then
know.
If that's the
I have
case,
no
then
I
idea.
can't even
Yeah,
answer.
no.
I don't think he did. I don't know.
All right, last team though. Timberwolves or Warriors?
I'm going with the Wolves.
That's okay.
I'm not laughing because
Listen, you have to be consistent. If you have them as a 1 seed, you have to be saying like.
I'm just saying the Clippers and the Nets to me, they're very similar. And the Nets, everybody has question marks about them, but we all of a sudden think the Clippers are just going to be fine and make this deep playoff run. They haven't done it yet, and they've had more years together than KD and Kyrie have
more
had
questions around the Nets between coaching, between not only Kyrie's injury but all the shit off the
like
between Ben Simmons.
I think the questions around the Nets and the Clippers are different. I think around the Nets, it is more so coaching. It is more so rim protection and having a center. With the Clippers, it's Paul George's health, Kawhi's health, John Wall. How is he going to look after not playing for 2 years? I mean, that's a good thing.
How have the Clippers had more years than the Nets?
Kawhi and PG have been together longer.
No, they have not.
Yes, they have.
They got together in 2020, the same year Kevin Durant and Kyrie got together.
That first year with Brooklyn, what happened?
But last year, Kawhi and PG didn't play together. It's the same concept.
But PG played.
Yeah, but Kawhi didn't.
PG played though.
But Kawhi didn't.
I know.
So the duo, and they've been farther than the Nets.
But they've had more time together in the fact that, 2020 they got together.
They choked.
PG and Kawhi choked in the bubble.
Yes.
The Nets did not have KD for the entire year.
Same thing with last year. You have to put that into account last year.
In 2021,
they both
while
were together.
KD and Kyrie were together, they weren't technically together because Kyrie got hurt, and then Harden got hurt. 2021, yeah. The year after the bubble.
Oh, right. But they played in the playoffs together.
Yeah. But Kawhi and PG played in the playoffs together, too.
Kawhi got hurt. Same thing with Kyrie.
And then this past season,
Kawhi got hurt.
Kyrie wasn't really on the team.
Yeah, but Kawhi got hurt. Same thing with KD. He didn't play. Both duos haven't played as much together as we think they have. They played the same amount.
I'm willing to bet that Kawhi and PG have played more games together than Kyrie and KD.
Maybe.
That's for sure.
Maybe, but it ain't been a significant amount. And even if it is, the Clippers have actually made it to a conference finals.
Yeah, I think that's also due to the Clippers have a very good roster. They have depth.
Yeah, that's what. Then that goes back to
this past season without Kyrie. There was a point in time where the Nets were starting rookies with KD.
Oh yeah,
it was KD, Kessler, Day'Ron Sharpe, Cam Thomas.
Oh, yeah,
like, come on,
lineups.
like at least with the Clippers, at least with the Clippers, if Kawhi's not out there, it's Zubats, it's Batum, they have good players.
That's one thing you could definitely say.
It's not that many. Kawhi and Paul George have only played 80 games together, where Kyrie and KD have only played 44 games together.
So half the time, basically.
Yeah, both of them ain't played a ton of games.
Crazy.
So what happens if we just go back to the Timberwolves discussion when these teams go small, when the Warriors, Clippers, Nuggets, when these teams go small, what happens with Gobert?
I really don't think that matters much. Like I think
just said the whole thing is matchups.
Yes, but it doesn't matter to me because the reason why Gobert, one, he didn't get played off the court. They exposed the Jazz's perimeter defense. If the Timberwolves have good perimeter defenders, which they do, Gobert will be fine on the second level. Like, he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be fine.
Are they going to be able to run lineups with Cat and Gobert when they play the Warriors?
But Chris Finch has already said that they're trying to have 44 minutes of all NBA caliber centers. Like,
hey man, if you want to trust Chris Finch over Steve Kerr, go ahead.
So Chris Finch has said that the minutes between Gobert and Cat will be staggered. Yes, they'll play time together, but ultimately they'll have separate times on the court. And if Cat's off the court with Gobert, the pick and roll between D'Lo and him it's gonna flourish. And then with Cat, if he's starting at center and you have Gobert off the bench for a certain period of time, you have Kyle Anderson playing that 4, who at the 4 spot, he's very good and he's a versatile defender. Yeah. Cat has dropped weight too, so I think that's going to make him more mobile.
He dropped some weight.
He did drop weight, yeah.
Bro, he dropped weight.
So I think, and I also do believe that the Utah Jazz, while defensively they got exposed, Quinn Snyder did one of the most horrible jobs in getting Gobert the ball and making him look like the player he actually is offensively. Because Gobert is a pretty good passer.
That too,
in,
I guess.
In the low post, he's a pretty good passer, but they didn't give him those opportunities in Utah. And also, there's plenty of footage in Utah where Gobert has defenders sealed that are smaller than him, and he doesn't get the ball. Chris Finch has already said, if Gobert has someone sealed, he's getting the ball. So I think they're going to use him more offensively, and he's going to be more of an impact there.
I need Tim's Warriors round 1.
And he's also been, and also
badly.
Gobert has been number 1 in screen assists in the NBA.
I need them
for the past couple of years.
I need them round
I think
1.
They're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think regular season they're gonna be great. I have no worries about them in the regular season. It's just like you mentioned, matchups in the postseason when we see these small ball lineups
who's matching
go
up with
crazy.
Cat? I understand the small ball matchup with
Draymond.
Golden State. Cat's
He
gonna
what?
dog him.
What?
Cat can't. I mean, Dray can't guard Cat, bro.
Okay.
He can't guard Cat.
Okay.
He can't.
Okay. Okay.
What about the rebounding? That's not gonna matter.
Against Minnesota, it's gonna matter.
Cat and
3-pointers.
Gobert are gonna.
3-pointers are gonna matter.
But
but the Minnesota Timberwolves are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the NBA.
Yeah. So is Golden State.
Cat's
I know.
going to be
Golden
moving
State's the
around,
greatest.
though.
Yeah, but Minnesota is one of the best right now. Yeah.
Yeah, in the regular season. We're talking about the playoffs. When it matters.
They shot a lot of these in the playoffs.
Did they make it?
Actually, yeah, they did.
And you're trusting a lot of guys against.
Cat shot 40% from 3 in the playoffs.
He did?
Yeah,
He averaged 22 points, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's so great for a superstar.
You're just trusting a lot of guys who don't
Yeah,
have as
7-point
proven
game.
track
What was
record
it?
as the
Think
Golden
so.
State Warriors and the Clippers, who are both,
I just
these guys have made
the
deep
Clippers
playoff
don't have a
runs.
It just-
proven
No,
track record.
Kawhi
no, it
does.
just doesn't make sense how he used the experience thing with Denver, but it doesn't
I
go
know.
for Golden State. It doesn't make sense.
'Cause listen, I love Ant and
No,
Cat and all these guys.
They
but
have
Hold on, hold on.
the
I
better
think
perimeter
Denver-
defenders.
For one.
They have the better post defense. They have the better defense. Yet Denver gets the experience, and Golden State is like, nah, Timberwolves
Wait,
are
for
better.
one, I think that Denver would beat the Clippers in a series.
I didn't say the Clippers at all just now.
I mean they've already done it.
No, but I
don't-
didn't say the Clippers.
I think they'd beat
didn't-
Golden State
I-
fully healthy in a series
Who?
too. Denver. Like right now, my favorite to
Nah,
win
Denver really is nice, though.
My
I know
favorite
you
Denver
know
is
this, right?
nice as shit.
my favorite to make it out the West right now is Denver. I have the
Jamal
Timberwolves first
Murray-
seed, but Denver's my favorite.
Obviously, MPJ and Jamal are together is great having them back, but Jamal Murray coming back to the Nuggets really is what sparks this.
I have Denver.
I
as
know
one
you
of my
have them one,
contenders.
but you're laughing.
No, I'm just.
Cat for his career against Draymond averages 22 and 12, 3 assists, and shoots 50% from the field and 37% from 3.
in the regular season.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like he's shown that he can get the best of him. It's not like
22 points is the
22 is not.
best
Yeah,
of
I was
him?
gonna say 22 isn't crazy. Like it's good. It's
since
a good team.
2015, since he was a rookie. Like that's what he does.
Yeah, but we're talking about the playoffs, bro. You're a regular season guy, and that's what Minnesota is. But we're talking about the playoffs when it matters, and it's scheme versus scheme, coach versus coach. Timberwolves. You talk about Rudy Gobert. I mean, we gotta wait and see. You know, he doesn't necessarily get played off the
I
floor.
mean, this is his first favorable situation.
You said what?
This is his first favorable situation.
From paper on paper, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I'm expecting it's gonna be that way. Yeah.
So you have just
Denver's
all of you guys
my
have
favorite out
You
the
guys have a
West.
lot of faith in MPJ. I don't think the Nuggets
do.
are going to
I
be
do.
a championship contender if Michael Porter Jr. is not healthy.
All he has to do is go back to do what he was doing when they were together.
Well,
No,
think
I
he
know,
will be
but you have to
healthy.
stay. He has to stay on the court.
I honestly believe that. Look, I don't know this factually, just off the top of my head, but I honestly do believe that MPJ, if he wanted to, could have came back at some point last season, but they decided to sit him out so he can get healthier. So
Makes sense.
I believe that MPJ is going to be ready to go this year,
I hope so.
and they have the depth. They have Bones Highland, they have I believe they have Bruce Brown off the bench as well.
Yeah, KCP they picked up.
Yeah, he's starting, and I think that was great for them for what he
So
does.
who's your contenders? What's the contender tier for you?
My contender tiers is not much different from when I said it on the show
No, I don't remember.
a couple
That's not
times
nice.
ago, and I named like 7 teams. I think Timberwolves, Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors, Pelicans.
The Pelicans can win a chip?
I don't see why not.
It's not.
I
It's
really
not insane.
don't. I can.
It's not insane. It's not.
You guys
insane.
have to stop doing
I
that.
have
Bro, they
Zion.
play
It's such a
great
huge-
defense.
it's such
But
a
you're-
huge
they play
jump,
amazing
though, bro. It's a
defense.
huge
First and
jump.
Can they win a championship?
Why can't they?
That's
Can they make it out the West? Yes.
No, but that's not you telling me if they can win. That's just you leaving a window open in case they do. You can say, "Well, I did."
No, I'm
yes,
saying
can
they can.
So they can. So they're in your
Yes,
contender tier. For
They
you.
are.
All right. So Max, don't give me
No,
a
but I'm-
window.
but
If
no.
you're gonna stand on it, stand on it.
What else? How else can you take it as yes they can win a championship? That's what a contender is.
Okay. So you have 7 in yours.
How many do you
Not
have?
7.
I have 3
All right, so there's 3 teams you believe can win a championship.
right now. Yeah.
I have
Okay, so-
5. I have 5 in a fringe one.
I don't have. I don't think I
Dallas
have
is my
7.
fringe one.
What do you mean?
Dallas is my fringe
I
one.
don't think
under-
Dallas
like,
like
after
championship
contention.
team.
Like they're not
my-
my contender, but they're not also just a regular playoff
But
team.
that's how I feel about a lot of those
I put-
Pelicans. That's how I feel about those teams too. They're
I mean,
not.
Drew
they're
and
not
I,
a
Drew and I
playing
believe
team.
Zion can be the MVP this year.
That's a fact.
If Zion is an MVP and they have BI and CJ, That's a contender.
They have a great defensive team. They just drafted Dyson Daniels to add on to the defense. If Zion locks in on defense, that's another defensive asset they have. Now you add Zion's 27 points per game on 61% from the field into that lineup with Brandon Ingram, one of the more diverse scoring options there is. CJ McCollum is your third option. This gets scary for the league.
You just got to see him play first.
In the next tier of teams, I have Dallas and Memphis. I'm gonna do 4 tiers here.
Okay, I have 3 tiers.
First one is my contenders.
Yes.
It's T-Wolves, Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors, Pelicans 5. Second tier is not contenders, but a step above a playoff team, which is Dallas and Memphis for me. Maybe I group in Phoenix into that. And my playing teams are Sacramento, Portland, Lakers, and the Suns could fit into that tier too, but I'll put them in that second tier. And then third tier, which is lottery teams, is the Jazz, Spurs, OKC, and Rockets. And I'm the highest on the Kings. None of you guys have them making the play-in.
I have them as an 11 seed.
That's not the play-in.
I do have
the
them
Lakers.
I do
you just
have
had
them
the
in my
Lakers
play-in.
as your
Okay,
playing
that's good.
tier. You had the Lakers in your playing tier. I have the Kings in my playing tier.
Yeah, if you're doing that, I think we can do that.
I know, but like your final seedings does not have them making
Your
the play-in.
final
It
seed
doesn't
doesn't
have
have
the
Lakers.
I know. I don't think they'll make
But
the
you have them in
play-in.
the playing tier.
Yeah,
No,
they
but
can
that's-
make
yeah,
the
it's-
play-in.
So
But
why
that's
can't
not
we
the
put that
thing.
for the
That's
Kings?
not
They're
the
11
thing.
I'm
seeds.
talking about your final seedings predictions. You don't have the Kings making the play-in.
You also don't have the Lakers, so
Yeah.
we good on this, bro.
We're fine.
Come on, they're in the same
Same
tier.
shit.
Same tier.
It's the same
Lakers,
thing. It's the
Lakers
same
and the
thing.
Kings are in the same tier.
They're disrespectful to Sacramento.
All right.
There's nothing. They have not garnered any respect.
I know
So-
you guys were dying to hear my contenders, so here they are. I have the Clippers, Golden State, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Pelicans, and the Lakers. If LeBron and
Did you just
AD are
change
healthy,
that last
Bro.
minute?
no,
You have them making a play-in, but you
no, exactly. If they're healthy,
True.
things can click.
Let
I'm
them
just
go.
being
Let
honest.
them go,
True.
bro.
Things can click.
True.
Dude, you don't know shit about the Lakers. I don't want to hear it, bro. It's simple as this.
Y'all
LeBron
didn't make the fucking play-in last
We
year.
were hurt. It's simple.
And you have an aging LeBron
And
and,
the team was
always
not
hurt
What's the
AD.
next? What's the next tier?
All right, here we
How
go.
the fuck you gonna get better?
First off, it's LeBron James. He averaged 30 last season. All right, shut that down.
And what happened?
Joel, shut that
Well,
down.
he averaged 30 and what
He
happened?
got hurt. Unfortunately,
Okay.
we couldn't clutch
He's
up.
a year older.
Okay, and
And AD doesn't stay healthy.
that is probably
And you're
true.
relying on Russ to hit threes and play defense.
No, not. I am relying on him to play defense. I am. But now we have Darvin Ham. Who knows if something's different with Russ? We're gonna have to wait and see. That's
You're
why
hyping up Austin Reeves.
you have the Mavericks as your fringe contender. You're not in. You're not out.
Yeah.
This is my. That's my
That's
Lakers.
your fringe
Because
contender?
the
But
verdict's
you're
not
just,
out
you're
on
just
us.
grouping them in with the real contenders.
Because we have LeBron and AD, and anything's possible with that. And with Darvin Ham, if he does something different with Russ, who knows?
Okay.
That's
Go
all
on.
I'm saying.
Go on.
That's all I'm going to say. So, yes, in my next tier, I do have the Grizzlies, the Mavs, the Suns. In my play-in tier, I do have the Blazers, the Kings, and I guess I have to put the Lakers. But even still, you never know, man. This team really could surprise
So
people.
it's either a playing team or a fringe.
No,
a
really,
fringe championship team.
really,
No
who
in
I
between.
who I would group the
You're
Lakers
sleeping
with.
on Fox and Sabonis
Fake.
and Keegan Murray
Fake.
and Kevin Herter
Fake.
and Rashawn Holmes and Davion Mitchell.
Wait, hold on, bro. I'm not
He's
done.
not done.
And you're
I'm not
sleeping on
done.
Malik Monk.
If I had to say, I'm grouping the Lakers with the Grizzlies, the Mavs,
You're
and the
sleeping on
Suns.
Mike Brown too.
I have 4 contenders.
Doug
Who
Christie's
just-
on that coaching staff.
I have 4
You didn't
contenders. What if we're doing this
I want
fringe
to hear
thing?
everybody's first.
If we have this fringe thing, I have 1 fringe. But my
Break it
4
up into 4.
contenders. Okay, Warriors, Nuggets, T-Wolves, Clippers. My 1 fringe would be the Pelicans because I do think their ceiling
Oh,
is
no.
there with Zion.
nuts.
And then
why?
the Grizzlies are probably in that tier too.
This is nuts.
I just don't know. I like the Pelicans a little bit more if they had to go into a series, but I think just they were a top 6 team
This is-
defensive and offensive rate in the
This
Grizzlies.
is fucking.
And then
nuts.
my play-in teams are the Mavs, Suns, Lakers, Blazers, and then the lottery teams are the Kings, Jazz, Spurs, Rockets, Thunder.
Mavs after making the conference finals.
Yeah,
I don't get the
Wait,
fascination.
you put the Kings in the lottery?
I guess they would be the play-in team. Yes, they would be
So what we got?
All right,
What
put
we
some
got?
respect on the Kings.
Mavs,
Goddammit.
Mavs,
So-
Suns, Lakers, Blazers, Kings.
Contender tier, playoff, fringe, contender tier, play-in, lottery.
Yeah, I really don't see the Mavs as a championship
Okay,
contending
This
roster.
this is crazy to me. Contender tier, I got Warriors, Denver, Clippers, any order. Fringe contenders, Pels, Tims. You have to throw Dallas in that conversation.
We're the Lakers.
Play-in, Memphis Suns, Lakers, Kings, Blazers. Those are the 5 teams that can hunt for the play-in.
That's reasonable.
That is.
But I think you have to throw Dallas Dallas can literally, on any given night, give any team fits. Like
in a 7-game
How
series,
did
you're
they-
not going to be the worst roster out of all those other
7-game
contending
series,
teams.
they can beat the Pelicans.
Yeah, they'll have the best player though.
They
They
beat
will have the
could beat
best player,
Pelicans.
but a
7-game series, they can beat the
roster,
Pelicans.
They
can beat the
They wouldn't have the
Timberwolves.
best roster.
They can beat Denver.
I don't know.
Can the
I
Mavs go
don't know.
small?
Yes,
You're relying on
How?
just shooting. You're relying
Christian
on
Wood
just
at the
shooting the
five.
lights out.
Okay,
the
fair.
Mavs can do it.
Fair.
I know, but that's what you're relying on.
When you
they
have
were a
a-
good defensive team last year. So I don't
When
wanna
you
take
have
that
a
away from
player
them.
The Mavs
like
were great
Luka,
defensively. They
who
were great
if the series
defensively.
is 2-2, 3-2, and you walk into an arena
You feel
with
good.
I
Luka,
understand. No, I
you
understand.
feel amazing.
But we saw the disparity in talent between the Warriors and Mavs when they got to the conference finals.
It was disparity in talent. It was disparity in coach. And
Yes.
it was disparity in when you have a guy equal to your other guy. The Timberwolves don't have a guy equal to Luka. The Pelicans could have a guy equal to Luka, but we don't know yet. The
Fair.
Denver, they have a guy equal to Luka. Like when you have a guy that's equal to that other guy, it looks like that. But Phoenix did not have a guy equal to Luka.
So the only team that would be is who? The Timberwolves? That don't have a guy equal to Luka or close to?
Yes.
So that would be the only team.
I think they can beat.
And I still
the
think they're
Pels.
they're
I just have
me
to see,
too.
I have to see the fucking Pels play, but they'll probably be all right.
But
But
Herb Jones on Luka.
I like Luka
Luka's,
versus
I mean,
anybody.
it doesn't
I
matter
know,
who
but
the
like
hell he's
Herb
playing.
Jones is
He's a tough matchup.
Yeah,
But I like Luka versus
Luka's-
anybody.
he's been a
Luka's
tough
gonna get
matchup already
30.
as a rookie.
Like,
I
we
like
know what Luka's
Luka.
gonna do.
Like
I'm not gonna
who
lie,
on the
Drew.
Mavs?
That was a crazy statement.
Which one?
Can the Mavs go small?
No, I forgot about Christian Wood. I completely.
No, not
forgot.
only that, but they like went small all the time last year.
Dwight Powell
But it was
small.
Max. Is he?
Dorian Finney-Smith, he's the 4. That's technically
But
small.
I'm saying Powell was playing.
Yeah, but he's the it's small ball is 4 guards
Powell
or 4
played like
wings
10
and a
minutes.
5.
He
I'm
didn't
thinking
play
the
much.
excessive small ball that Golden State ends up playing.
Yeah,
really,
it's different.
the
vibe.
Rockets like invented
These
it
are
with.
they're just
exactly.
playing smaller bigs.
I apologize.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
For
But-
me,
But
small.
I forgot what
for
we
me,
were talking about prior to this.
I'm gonna be
statement.
honest.
What were we
For
talking
me,
about?
small.
Dallas.
For me, small is not about having a big man at the 5. It's about having just 5 floor spacers.
Correct. That's
what
why
it's about.
when you said Wood, you shut it down really fast because he can obviously stretch.
So the leader in minutes for Dallas
That's
was
what I was gonna say. Who on Dallas is playing defense on Zion?
Nobody.
Who
of
on
course.
Dallas is playing defense on Brandon Ingram?
Finney
I think
Smith.
Dorian Finney-Smith can do a fine job.
Yeah, he
And
can.
what's fine in your opinion?
Same thing as what you hope Herb Jones can do to Luka.
So the same way that Mikal Bridges was supposed
no,
to
no,
stop
no.
Brandon Ingram, he did not, and Brandon Ingram absolutely went crazy.
Say that one more time.
Mikal Bridges or Dorian Finney-Smith as a defender. I'm pretty sure we favor Mikal.
Some matchups are better than others.
But that's
in the playoffs,
My
Dwight Powell played 14 minutes a game. Kleba was 25 minutes.
correct.
A game. So he was a small.
Ma-
ball.
Maxey
He's a
was the
small
stretch,
ball.
but that
Kleba's a great defender though.
He's very very solid defender.
Some guys do better than others.
But do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because
But now they have JaVale
realistically,
McGee,
Dorian
though.
Finney probably is going to be playing defense on Zion. That's
think-
not what you want.
But I think Dorian Finney-Smith is just as equal as a perimeter, or like a point of attack defender than Mikal Bridges. I think that he's a little stronger
So,
than Mikal Bridges.
my point being is, you're probably putting Dorian on Zion.
No, you're not.
But who else would you put on Zion?
It
Put it-
depends.
it
I think
depends.
you can game
go
plan
through the
on
roster
Zion.
in your head.
But
Who
what,
would you
what
probably?
are you telling me?
My point is, defensively, the Pelicans are one of the better teams defensively, and I'm looking at
so
the
is
offense.
the Dallas Mavericks.
They are.
They're probably a better defensive team than
But I'm
the
looking
Pelicans.
at I'm looking at the matchups, and I find it more difficult
Well, you're not
to
going to be
find
able to
who's going to
stop.
defend the
Oh,
Pelicans.
you're not going to be able to stop one guy, of course, but you're telling me, and as great as Zion is, you're telling me who's going to stop Zion when you haven't seen him play a day of basketball
Stop
yet.
that, though.
No, it's a fact.
But we
You
understand what he was when he's on the court. We've
yeah,
seen him play basketball.
Yeah, and
We had a
we've seen
full
him play,
season.
but you have not seen him play a day of basketball in the playoffs. So can we let that happen
You
first?
can't
for
game plan for Zion if he doesn't have a jump shot in the playoffs.
or free throws. He can't like
He was, what,
if he
it
can't
showed
shoot
that
free
their
throws.
jumpers-
I'm
it showed
saying
that
if
their
he
jumpers
can't- if he
wasn't a
can't shoot
problem.
free throws and he can't shoot the 3-ball, you can game plan against that. Against Luka, that's one of the hardest players in NBA history to game
The
plan
thing
against.
is, you
bro.
can't stop Zion driving to the basket.
can't stop
if we
Luka
see
in
point
general.
Zion again, like we saw him when the last
But you
time he
can't
was
stop
on
Luka.
it. No one's saying that. No one's saying that.
Luka single-handedly beat a number 1 seed.
But there's one scoring option on the Mavericks you worry about every single time, and that's Luka.
You have to hone in on him.
With the Pelicans, you have Zion, you have BI,
You do.
you have CJ McCollum.
You do.
Who on the Mavericks are you really stressed about? Other than obviously there's Luka, who is a top 3,
Well, I
top
mean-
4
Wait,
ball
hold up.
player.
Dallas has a bunch of good to great perimeter defenders.
They missed how many wide open jump shots in the playoffs?
I'm talking about just
last
defense
season?
right now. I'm talking about
I
just defense.
apologize.
They have a bunch of really good to great perimeter
Well, this
defenders.
is just
Bullock
me.
is good to great. Dorian Finney-Smith.
Are they doing a good
never
enough
know.
job to halt Brandon Ingram?
Yeah.
Yes. Brandon
Wait,
Ingram, yes.
for one.
Diaz gonna get his though to an extent.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his 20 to
Mikal
25.
Bridges was in hell with Brandon Ingram.
They won the series.
Mikal Bridges is one of the best defenders in the league, but that
But
was
now they have Zion.
they were
I agree. The other team has Luka. Why bypass?
Of course.
No, it's
Luka,
because you said
gonna
I know
equate
that
to
they
two
beat them,
guys.
but I'm
You
not
said they beat them, but now this year would they beat them this year? Probably not. If they had
Against
Zion.
Phoenix, no, fuck
Yeah,
no.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
like Dallas is a great offensive team and a great defensive team. In the
They get
playoffs,
great because of Luka.
in the playoffs, you're gonna have to hone in on Luka, which is Jason's gonna put four shooters out there.
Yep.
You're gonna have to help. Herb Jones, as great as he is a defender, he's gonna need some help, especially in the pick and roll. You're gonna leave shooters open. Now, if they don't make it, that's on them. If they just not hitting shots, that's on
which
them.
we've seen.
Which we have seen, but that's just them missing. They could have won a lot of series if they hit their jump shots at key moments, not because teams just universally are whipping their ass.
But
No,
when are we
Luka,
just going to look at the personnel as being not that great?
Yeah, but Luka has put his team
absolutely.
in positions against more talent and his less talent, and he's put his teams in great positions to win series. So I know for a fact that he can beat the Pelicans, as great as they are. I know he can beat the Pelicans. He's just that good.
I get what you're saying.
Well,
It's Luka.
if I'm Jason Kidd, what I'm doing is Dorian Finney-Smith is not guarding Zion. I'm guarding Brandon Ingram with Dorian Finney-Smith, and I'm guarding C.J. McCollum with Reggie Bullock.
But then who's guarding Zion?
You don't need in the playoffs when you're matching up and scheming for a team because Zion can't shoot. You don't need somebody to guard him, to press up on him. I think they can be fine if they just have Kleba on him and they're playing back and they have protection with JaVale McGee on the backside.
Kleber's playing defense.
Think they'll play too big from that one?
I was going to say,
Yeah,
why
so.
though?
What do you mean?
Why two bigs?
To help side.
Yeah, I mean Kleber's a wing. He's a wing.
No, for sure.
Very nasty win.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's
very
a forward.
nasty
He's
win.
a forward. Like he's not a center. He plays small ball 5 sometimes, but he's a center. If we're talking,
JaVale was a very sneaky pickup.
great
That
pickup
was a
for them.
really good pickup.
that's what they needed, rim protection.
Yeah.
Y'all sleeping on Dallas, man.
I
Dallas
don't
is
know.
tough. Dallas is a tough team in the playoffs. Like a regular season, they might not win as many games as the top teams. But when you walk into the playoffs,
Luka's crazy.
that
You're right.
team can
Yep.
literally, no trolling shit, can literally beat almost any team in the
Luka's
West.
legendary in the playoffs.
He is.
Like they
He's
can beat almost any team. He lost that. So I don't know why you be bringing that up. Don't bring up, you know what I'm saying? But they can beat almost any team in the West.
Nah, is Luka not legendary in the playoffs though?
Not yet.
No.
He
doesn't play at a legendary level.
Win some chips.
He plays at an
on a
unbelievably
legendary
elite.
pace.
Correct.
Yes, fair.
He hasn't blown a 3-1 lead. He hasn't ran to a team that's beaten him.
He's lost when he's been up 2-0 though.
Yeah, when he's dolo. You know, he doesn't.
He really is Dolo.
Yeah, he hasn't blown 3-1 leads. He hasn't run to the Clippers to join them or run to
He
the
also
Warriors.
hasn't led a team to the finals yet.
But he went to the
KD did.
WCF. You know,
KD did.
You know, he hasn't done none of that yet. So he's on a legendary pace right now.
He is. Nah, Luka's crazy. Luka's a
Dolo too.
legendary pace.
Doesn't have a Westbrook
He's
type
on his
player.
LeBron. No.
Doesn't
He's
have
on
a
his
James
LeBron.
Harden.
You
type
hate
player.
Westbrook.
But I respect what he's done in OKC. Wow, he don't got that.
He really
Is
only-
Jalen Brunson
no.
that? Answer that. Was he that?
I don't know.
I don't
Brunson, Westbrook, it's not that
Brunson
far
was.
off.
Yo,
In
he's
the
gonna be a
playoffs,
loss though.
Please get help.
That's a
In the
loss
playoffs,
that
it's
they're gonna
not.
feel.
What's the ad? Get help.
Get help.
Get fucking help.
Get help.
Get
It's
help.
better help.
Better help. You need better help
It's
for
not.
that.
It's not that far off. Brunson in the playoffs is like that.
It was against the Jazz.
Did
I was
you
gonna
just
say,
tell
bro,
us
You told
that?
me
come
there
on,
was a
let's-
first.
And
let's
you
stop-
just told us
let's
they're
stop comparing him to
frauds. Like,
Westbrook.
make up your mind.
Let's stop comparing him to
That
Westbrook.
doesn't take away from the fact that he went crazy in the playoffs.
You see this shit. You see what's going on, right?
Of course I do.
The buffoonery.
I know.
KD, guess where he ranks all time in 40-point games in the playoffs?
Why are you bringing KD up?
4th?
You lost.
Bro, we got
Yeah,
we
he's
got-
ranked
got-
all
got-
time.
got-
He's ranked all time in 30-point games.
Now he got the stats.
Now he's got ammo.
I don't want to argue no
He was
more.
begging. He's like, please bring him up. Please bring him up.
I don't want to argue about KD no more. I'm
4th
focused
all
on
time
Dallas.
points per game in the
Undefeated.
I'm
playoffs.
focused on Dallas right now. I'm focused on Dallas right now. They a tough team, man. Wait till the play. I can't wait till the playoffs.
You know what? I'm gonna actually change my contender. I'm gonna change my tiers, and I actually agree with Riv the way that he made these tiers. I think the contender tier.
Dude, stick to your guns.
I
Because
think
I agree with a lot of what you said.
but now that we added a different tier, I think
Yeah.
it makes it better.
Fair
So
enough.
I think the contender tier are the Nuggets, Clippers, and Warriors. The
Fringe contenders.
not just a playoff team,
Different,
more than
yeah.
a playoff team that can contend if everything goes
So
right.
you're gonna let me add in mine?
if
Where are
every,
the Wolves though?
You would put them in that next
if
tier.
everything goes right, the
Yeah.
Wolves, the Pelicans
But
can
you
be
have them as
contenders.
the one
The
seed.
Mavericks
One
can be
seed, they're not a
contenders.
contender.
Y'all keep just because
doesn't-
he
I-
has
I-
another
no,
round.
I
understand.
get
I
it. I
understand.
get it. But we're talking this guy
But
who's
this is
missed
their
Wait,
their
the
time.
Jazz, the Jazz were the one
Genesis
seed in
run.
2021 season.
So are the Wolves gonna be the new Jazz?
No.
That'd
they're
be
not.
wildly disappointing.
They're not, but I think because of the lack of experience. If everything goes right, yeah, they're contenders.
So the Timberwolves is just gonna be a great regular season team. They'll win a playoff series and maybe get bounced.
No, he does. He's saying as of right now, because obviously the season started, they're fringe contenders, which I agree with. I think them, the Pels, Dallas, you have to put them in
So
that
fringe
next tier up.
contenders is the T-Wolves, Pelicans, Mavericks.
Maybe Memphis on a good day. Maybe if they were
Where
healthy, I
Memphis?
would put them at the bottom.
Actually,
right there.
I think
you need
at
help.
the bottom, right?
You need
Which
help.
one you would put them at the bottom?
honestly, they're not even in here.
They're not in
I
there?
think
Who?
the
Memphis.
Memphis. I think just a playoff team, and I don't see a contender ceiling, is the Grizzlies,
Lakers.
Suns, Portland, Kings, Lakers, whatever. Like
It's them,
the
yeah.
play-in
Those are
shit.
play-ins, yeah.
Playing playoff teams. Those are them.
And then the lottery, like we know what it
Yeah.
is, but that's my shit.
yeah, those are
What's the gap between Ant Edwards and Zion gonna be?
it should be size. No, No.
That's a fine statement.
I lied because it depends on what you value more. Do you value two-way players over offensive fucking monsters? Like what?
Because when you were saying like Luka, they don't have these guys. Obviously, I don't think Ant Edwards Zion can be on Luka's level. But when they go in that matchup, can we look at Ant
I
Edwards,
think
look
Ant
at
Edwards
Zion, and
can
be like
play.
they're on that
I
level?
think Ant Edwards can play just as good as Zion in a playoff series. I think he has that
Just
type
as
of talent.
good?
Yeah, I think he has that
Yeah.
type of talent.
Okay,
He can play just
so
as good
I
because of
actually-
his impact on both ends. I think he can.
But
I don't know. I've seen Ant do good on defense. I have
come
not
on,
seen Zion.
bro. Just
I've
get
seen
on the
Zion-
wave. Just get on the wave.
I'll wait. Give me 20 games. 30 games. Give me 30 games. And give me 30 games.
But we see the Pelicans' defense as a whole, though.
Yeah, but we don't
I'm
know
sorry,
if
we're
Zion
only
could,
talking Zion.
Yeah,
And,
I know,
and
Zion
I apologize.
could, and I'm not saying Zion could hinder or help. He literally could.
He's going to
the
help.
defense. He's going to help the offense.
He's one of the most athletic guys in the league.
That always doesn't translate though.
But 9 out of 10 times, when you are an elite level player,
8 out of 10.
when you have the athletic abilities, it translates well. We saw it with Tatum.
Huh?
Tatum was never this elite.
Tatum's
level
not an
defender.
elite athlete.
No, well, you could debate that.
No.
Elite athlete.
Yeah, he's not an elite athlete.
Okay, probably he's still a great athlete. that
He's
has
really
a-
good. He's
he's
not
a
like
great
Andrew
athlete.
Wiggins is an elite athlete. It didn't translate for him. It took time.
It did, but it
6
did-
years
it-
in.
but it took-
in the right situation. That's what I'm saying. It can
Thank
help
you.
or
No,
hinder.
you just bettered my opinion.
No, but
This
I'm
is
saying
year,
statement,
this is year 4 for Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum's always been a good defender, but not because of his athleticism.
But
He's just smart on that end.
Tatum
and
is
he gives the effort.
He's a good
He's a
athlete.
great athlete.
He's
I
not
think
an
he's a-
elite.
yeah,
I don't
he's
know
a
if he's
good-
an
he's
elite.
not an
Elite,
elite
no,
athlete.
of course. You're right. I understand what you're saying.
Athleticism doesn't always. 70%
A
of
good amount
defense
of
is
time.
effort.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But it's also
And
up
IQ.
here.
But
Yeah.
athletes have that.
They do
elite
not
athletes
all the
It
time.
can name
You
a
could- you
name
could
an
be
amazing athlete
incredibly
that's bad at defense.
No, I agree. I just don't
Russ?
think just because you're at
He
Westbrook,
was solid at defense at one point in time. He's
Yeah,
not good
earlier in
now.
his
he's solid at getting steals. I don't think just because you're an automatically elite athlete, you translate to a great defender. I don't think that's the case. Most of the elite defenders aren't all. Marcus Smart is an elite athlete. Like he's an elite defender. Drew Holiday isn't an elite athlete. Like most of the elite
These
defenders.
these are point guards, though.
Herb Jones isn't an elite athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like Mikal Bridges isn't an elite athlete.
All right, great athletes, elite athletes.
It's really just up here in the effort. That's what I'm saying. But
these guys are great athletes.
Zion has the
regardless.
ability. I agree. I can go with you there.
All right,
he has
yes,
the ability.
no.
It's just I don't know if it'll help or hinder. I'm not trying to hate or nothing.
Elite, you really have a strong. Everything you're saying is facts because there's not many elite level athletes.
that play at that level of
Yes.
defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, but LeBron,
great,
D Wade.
but great athletes. That's because, of course, we get into semantics arguments all the time.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my thing.
Oh my
I do have 5 contenders in the West.
I could dig it.
I do.
Thank you. Please
Stand
put
on
your
it.
number 1
That's
seed in there.
you have to have
You
the
have
Wolves.
So who's
there.
in your fringe now?
The Mavs.
Dallas and Memphis.
Okay. So you put Memphis up.
Yeah.
Did you have Dallas? You had Dallas as your fringe?
I had Dallas, Pels, Minnesota.
That's
those
fair.
are those
That's
are my
fair.
fringe guys.
Okay.
My fringe are the
It's
Timberwolves.
pretty much the top 6.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I could see the Pelicans being the number 1 seed in the West.
Yeah, for me, seeding doesn't weigh my
Definitely.
contender.
But
thing.
I only say in his case where they were one.
Yeah,
That's
I think the young teams are probably going to
Do you
win more
understand what
games
I'm
than the
saying?
old teams because they're going to. The young
Won't have
teams
the
are
low
gonna, they're
advantage,
going to be
yeah.
gunning out for that.
I mean,
I
ball.
could,
Zion's
for
might
example,
play as many games
I'm not
Kawhi.
gonna lie. I can see the Pelicans beating the Warriors in a series. I
No,
can.
I don't think so.
I don't know how you can say that without seeing the Pelicans play.
I know, but just like knowing Zion and like
What do you know?
the lack of rim protection the Warriors have.
Why do
What
you
do we
say
know though?
He's a 27
You
point
think-
per
you think
game
the
on
Pels-
61%
you think the
from
Pels
the
could beat the
field. That's what we
Warriors?
know.
Do you
think the Pels
trust-
could beat the Warriors in a 7-game
Do
series?
you think Steve Kerr can scheme for that? Do you believe that?
I
my God,
I
bro.
probably lean.
you would put your money on Steve Kerr.
I
That's what I'm
listen,
saying. I don't
like
like.
you say, this is not a regular
chance
team.
Golden State wins. I'm
Thank-
giving the 25%, which
Fine.
probably Joel is saying.
Fine.
Similarly, there's a 25% chance that the Pelicans could.
The
beat
Warriors
them.
are
Give me
not
30
some
games of
fucking
watching the
regular
Pels.
team.
I
though.
wouldn't.
I'll run it back.
I
But can't you
honestly
trust?
wouldn't
Can't
be
you
shocked.
just trust Zion? What has he like when you've seen him play basketball? You're telling me he hasn't shown you anything other than generational.
Offensively, yes. Not a good defender. I said, give me 30 games.
But what did the Pelicans need last year?
Wait, but why does that matter though? He's an offensively great player, generational player at getting to the basket.
Because if he's generational, doesn't mean they can beat the Warriors in a 7-game series.
Why, if what they lack is what Zion excels at?
Because the Warriors are a dynasty. They're one of the best coach teams in the league. They have they have the best
but
player in the
we've
league.
already-
They have one of the
already
best
seen-
schemes in the
we
league.
saw
Steph
Golden
Curry
State
is a
fall off.
generational offensive player,
We
not
s-
defensive player.
But he's not a bad defender.
Zion's not a bad defender.
He's not a bad defender.
Zion's not a good defender.
I feel like the Warriors getting a lot of disrespect right now, man.
No,
I just want
we
to see
have
them
them all
play.
as
I just want to see them play
contenders.
together. That's all I ask. Can I
no,
get 30 games of that?
But I'm saying, why can't you project when it comes to Zion?
Okay,
That's my issue.
Okay, ask me again. Sorry.
All right, you have Zion on the Pelicans.
I think they'll be a high seed. What the fuck?
No, but
And I have him as a fringe contender. What's the issue here?
but you're losing me with the I need to see them first. What do you need to see?
We're talking about in a case against an experienced team like the Warriors.
Okay,
yeah, I
yes.
gotta
All
see.
right,
Yeah,
yes,
Like we're talking
yes.
about this is
All
a
right,
guy.
that's what I'm
like they
curious
can
about.
literally scheme up against
I
almost
thought you were
anybody.
just talking in general.
No,
'Cause that's
I know
when you
the
were
Pelicans
losing
are going to
But
be really good.
who's the Pelicans coach?
Willie Green, right?
Willie Green?
Whose staff was he on?
I don't know. Who's that?
Is
for?
it
Warriors.
Gold? Yeah.
Okay.
He was with actually he was on the
He-
Suns staff and Warriors staff.
He knows the ins and outs of your boy. All right.
That doesn't mean they have the players to stop him.
No.
They do though. Herb Jones,
Herb
Jose
Jones really
Alvarado.
does.
GTA. You know he's like that.
You gotta stop, bro. It's
This
getting out of hand.
shit
bro.
is kind of crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe it's because
Dyson
I
Daniels
just
is another
experienced
guit's
it.
who's going to be a great defender.
Maybe,
You're relying on a rookie.
maybe it's
No,
because
I'm
I
not.
just
I'm
experienced
not.
you
I'm just
guys in
naming
the
the depth.
finals beating us in 6 games. Maybe it's because I just experienced that.
You're
I
scarred.
don't see
I've been
a
there.
world where, like, yes, the Pelicans have a chance, the 20% chance, sure, but like I would be pretty fucking surprised if the Pelicans went out there and won a 7-game series against the Warriors. Their talent, their experience, their coaching,
I mean,
that'd be really surprising.
have the
Talent
talent.
is similar though. It's really
The
similar.
talent. I guess they're saying based off talent alone. Yeah.
on paper.
Based
but-
on talent alone, I think the Pelicans you can make an
Yeah, bro,
argument
no,
have
they're better.
more talent than the
Their
Paper
starting
alone, it might
5
be
is more
Pelicans,
talented
Nets,
than the Warriors starting
finals.
5.
And you said that when he mentioned, for one, Dyson Daniels might not crack the rotation, but if he does, whatever, they're relying on rookies. Golden State's relying on a bunch of second-year players and James Wiseman, who you consider a second-year player too.
in the greatest system possibly ever.
I understand that.
I don't think you do because you're
those-
like saying it with like no.
but
like,
those- but those-
Keep it
wait,
a stack.
hold up, but
Best
at the
system
same
ever.
time-
That's cap.
I
But
said
at
that's
the
just
same time,
arguably
but at the same time,
best system of our era. Easily.
but at the same time, relying on rookies. Pelicans did that last year, and they
And
got a lot out of it.
36 wins.
Yeah, but when
and then
TJ
once
got
he-
there, they
exactly,
were
don't
lit.
be
The
ignorant to
Warriors,
that.
no, because the Warriors.
Herb Jones was an All NBA defender as a rookie. Trey Murphy,
He made it? Or are you saying like just the level?
should've.
Okay.
Yeah, he should have. Jose Alvarado was one of the best backup point guards in the league as a rookie.
Yeah.
Trey Murphy was a very good, valuable player as a rookie. We're talking about all these rookies that made impact. So there's no.
I mean, you're talking about
I-
rookies, but this is.
And we're not saying
you're talking
in-
about
on the
rookies that
offensive
are
side, we're
like
literally talking about defense.
experienced rookies. These are 4-year, damn near 5-year players out of college.
And
Of
Dyson
course
Daniels played in the G League.
Well, Dyson Daniels, he's not like you said. He's probably not going to crack the rotation, but if he does, that can.
I mean, the
can be
rotation
interesting.
right now is Jose Alvarado, Devontae Graham, Larry Nance, Jackson Hayes. That's 4 players right there. Trey
Jackson
Murphy,
Hayes.
that's 5. I don't know if Dyson Daniels cracks rotation.
I don't
but
know if he- I
They
don't
have
know.
a lot of depth on that team
Devontae
regardless.
Graham, he just rubs me the wrong way, man.
I don't know. I just like I did say talent. If you're talking just talent alone, yes, they're right there.
They got it.
With the Pelicans probably have a better starting 5 talent
And they're
wise.
well coached too.
And stop
They're
sleeping
not-
on Garrett
they're not
Temple.
But I think you guys are just missing that there's a wide seismic gap of experience that's just sitting, and the coaching disparity
listen,
is nuts.
the you
And
guys
the
is
best
strong.
player to best player
Saying you guys
disparity
is strong.
is
I
nuts.
said 75%, 80%. I feel confident the Warriors can win that. Is there a possibility that the Pelicans could win because of what we saw last year, and now you add Zion to that? Sure.
Stop sleeping on Willie Hernangomez.
I'm not sleeping, but let's be realistic.
No, did he go? Did he
play.
sign with the Pelicans?
Nah, yeah, he's with
He's
them,
on the
yeah.
Pelicans,
He's
right?
the next legend, right?
Yeah, let's just cut it. I mean, what you're saying is basically
Yeah, he's
universally
really on the Knicks.
when you walk into the playoffs, any team can beat any
No,
team.
but I'm
that's
saying,
what you're
but
saying.
Not,
and that's
not-
easy to say.
But I'm saying I would pick the Warriors is what I'm saying. But to say
As
they
you
wouldn't
should.
have a chance, like,
No,
No, I
I'm
said
gonna
I
be
don't- I
honest,
can't
bro. I
see it
do
right
think,
now.
honestly, bro, this West is different than last year.
really is.
I agree,
bro.
but I just I
It's not
can't
the
like
same.
I can't see it right now. Could I see it in December,
Like
January?
this West, I'm comparing
Maybe.
to like the late 2000s Western Conference, where you had a bunch of great teams
how
like the
can you
Lakers,
say
like the
that, though?
Jazz, the Nuggets.
How can you say
Because
that?
I think there's a bunch of great teams in the West right now.
I don't
there
know.
are.
You talk about a West that had Tim Duncan and the Spurs champions, Shaq and Kobe. Then you had the Kings with Stojakovic, Chris Webber.
I'm talking about late 2000s.
Oh, you talking about with
Like,
Kobe, Pau Gasol,
Kobe with the Lakers, Carmelo with the Nuggets, Darren Williams and Carlos Boozer with the Jazz,
Chris Paul and the Hornets,
Mavericks, Dirk.
Dirk, facts.
I thought you were talking about the early.
No, like
2000s.
this West is stacked, bro, and it's gonna be
And
stacked.
and in those West, who kept coming out on top?
The experienced teams, but it depends.
It didn't depend. You know it didn't. You're trying to find the window. It didn't depend. The experienced team, 9 times out of 10, probably 10 times out of 10, came out the West, bro. I know you tried to find a little window. You can go back and look.
But those teams had to work to that level, though.
Huh?
Those teams had to work to that level. You know what I'm saying?
The Warriors are at the
like
level.
the youngest team we saw of recent memory was 2012. That was the youngest team we saw go
All
to the
these
finals.
teams right now,
OKC.
Yeah.
Oh.
all these teams right now are trending upwards.
I agree.
Where the Warriors are, I do think, declining.
What's declining about them?
Just want to chip.
They're just declining. Like, it's just natural.
The thing is, I will say this to defend them. I think Klay Thompson plays a lot better than he did last season.
If he does, that's
And if he does, it's scary.
Scary.
It's scary.
And especially with the situation with Draymond and Poole.
That's the shit.
you could say that. I don't know if it's declining.
That's a
though.
factor in declining.
And when it comes to defense, and if you're not going to have your defensive anchor, obviously he's probably going to be there. But without Draymond, shit gets scary.
Bro, all
He's
it
gonna be
takes is
there,
a
though.
situation for a dynasty to go AWOL. We saw that with Kobe and Shaq.
I'm with you, but you're not saying anything that's basketball related. You're saying off the court
Yep.
things. If you're just telling me basketball things, I don't know how you can push as of just today.
Yep.
Pelicans could beat the Warriors right now.
I agree with
I don't
you.
think you can right now.
But
As
not
of today.
right now,
I don't
no.
think you can right
I'm
now.
with
We
you,
didn't
Riff.
say that, though.
No, he did. He said there's a chance they can win.
Whoa.
So did
No,
you.
we just said.
Yeah, I thought you did say
We
that.
just
You
said
said
they-
you wouldn't be surprised.
No, we just said we wouldn't be surprised.
Correct.
I'd be
We
surprised.
didn't say that we
I would
picked
be
Pelicans.
surprised.
Yeah, I would. No, I didn't say. No, I'm sorry. Let me. I'm saying right now, as of today, I don't think you can give me the. I wouldn't be surprised. You should be surprised if the Pels win as of today, because realistically, the experience
And the
weighs
Golden
out right
State
now.
Warriors are the champions. We
Yeah.
need to give them respect.
Yeah, you gotta give
I
them
understand.
respect.
I
And
get it.
until we see
I
a
get it.
full decline, like they may have declined in the regular season, but when the playoffs hit, they
were
got
on.
right back to what they used to do. So until we see that full
And Curry's
decline,
Curry. Like,
yeah, like
there's
so,
certain.
you know, that's all I'm saying.
I get it.
But they're
I get
talented.
it.
I have the Pels, the
Yeah.
same place
It's
as you
just
guys.
that I'm
you know what
seeing the
saying?
Pelicans right now. And
No,
they're
I get
really
it. They're
just-
excited. They're-
Bro's got the jersey
They got you
on.
oozing and
Yeah.
shit.
How
He's-
awesome.
he's
You know
How
what I'm
clean
saying?
is this?
But I have the Pels, fringe contender. Make sure nobody's hating. I got them fringe
All right, there we
contenders.
go.
I think they're a really talented team. I like experience.
I like the
man.
way that this Western Conference prediction episode kind of flowed, man.
It did.
The Eastern Conference one kind of was just like,
All over the place.
It's because we weren't yelling.
yeah,
today.
we locked in. Facts.
when we start yelling and shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's because Riv gets emotional when we talk about the Bulls.
I feel like he's more emotional about Steph.
Before we close, it was a partially torn right labrum
For who?
for Russ.
Oh.
He actually got it during the Raiders game, right?
He did.
Yeah. I hate you for saying it, man.
You have an excuse for Thursday at least.
And against the Raiders, even though he played well.
That was facts.
It was whatever.
The
Honestly,
rest
whatever.
not so much.
So we all think the Grizzlies and the Suns are falling off.
I don't, and this is my thing. I don't think I don't think Memphis is technically falling off. I just think the West got better.
I have the Suns falling off.
I do, yeah. I think all that shit though.
Suns.
They just
The
look.
Jazz, for obvious reasons, we just
I don't
have
think
to say
Aiden wants
that.
to play ball there at all. Like I think he's just gonna whatever it this year.
That Aiden situation really is interesting.
And how good is CP3 gonna be? Even if they do go through the regular season
That's
playoff time,
really
how
my
good is he gonna
biggest question, to be honest with you, because and that's sad, unfortunately, because CP3 deserves that respect as a legend to
be? First
the
ballot
game.
Hall of Famer.
But I just think that what we saw last
Good.
from
I
Chris
remember the
Paul,
other day you said he wasn't.
Did I? lying
No,
on me.
stop. He is. But asking, you could
catching me
have
sometimes.
just straight up just said, nah, that's cap, because CP3 is first ballot.
And I'll be playing. I'll be doing some wild shit. Though, so there's a possibility
if
I might
Chris
have said
saying
that
some
shit.
If Chris
yeah.
Bosh was first ballot, and shout out to
Well,
Chris
he
Bosh,
shouldn't have been first ballot.
then CP3 is first ballot.
Drew, who are the Lakers beating in the playoffs?
Yeah, that's some
If
bullshit.
they're,
you said.
Listen, give me
They're-
30 games, and I'll give you an answer.
You have them in their borderline contenders.
Because we have LeBron and AD. It's that simple.
Like,
We know
is
what the
there like
Lakers gonna
two
be this
teams?
Give me
Can
30
you
games.
give me like two teams
No.
you guys could beat in a
No,
series?
in 30 games.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. LeBron is fucking 40.
He's actually 38.
Well, whatever.
He'll be 39 in a couple months.
No, he's going to be 38.
I'm just.
Oh, he'll be 30 in a couple
estimating.
months. Oh, you would know.
If Matt Ryan's
baby.
watched,
Okay.
LeBron's watched.
So let's do it real quick.
Huh?
Bro.
Oh shit!
No,
bro,
print
you
it.
have to
Print
stop.
that.
Come on.
Print it.
Yo.
Print it right now,
Yo,
John. If
no
you're
context.
listening,
No context. Get him.
an hour 35 in, I think it might be a little bit later than that.
No, because it's the second recording.
All right,
So,
listen. At the very end of the episode, John, I know you're listening. Hopefully,
So
clip that.
your team for the West is Minnesota this year.
Minnesota Pelicans and the Kings.
And what's your team?
Contenders?
No, just like
Actually, Nuggets too.
like you're just rooting for, hoping to see success.
Oh, rooting for?
in the West.
I got one team. It's Boston.
No, I'm just. But who's you just rooting? Like
It's not rooting. It's just like your agenda.
like
in
a
the
team
Western
you'd
Conference.
watch. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
bro,
watching
you
outside.
guys- honestly,
I don't really have an agenda.
Joe,
West, I'll be
honestly,
honest.
Joe,
You need to start adding some.
No, bro. Honestly, Joe, you need to just take one in your back pockets. We know the Suns don't do much this year.
Oh,
Take one, please. They won't do much.
They're gonna do more than.
It'd be crazy
They're gonna do
because
more than the Knicks.
The Knicks guy talks
don't matter, I
the
got
most
agenda.
shit.
I know
Talks
it's
the most shit.
insane to me. Like
it's insane.
crazy words.
In my,
if
in my
I really-
agendas in
listen,
the
bro.
West, I'm taking all the underdogs in the West. The
If I had to
Timberwolves,
pick
Pelicans,
one, it'd be
Nuggets,
the
and
Pels.
Kings.
If I had to
The
pick one, it'd
Nuggets
be the
aren't
Pels.
fucking underdogs. The smart people.
Well, I was gonna say
They are underdogs.
The smart people.
the teams I want to
Against
do
the
well.
Clippers and the Warriors, they are underdogs.
Now they are. They are.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'm just an
whatever. They're still a
unbiased.
contender.
I'm just an unbiased guy. I got one team, the
if you're-
Celtics. Everyone
so
else.
who you rocking with? Who you
if-
rocking with?
On the West, it'd be the Pels.
Since you're gonna
Okay.
be on NBA shows, you got to find agendas for your teams. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
you
I
rocking
know,
with?
So,
It's just-
especially
it's
it's
just
tough for
Boston.
me, especially in the Western Conference, because my Lake show are in here.
Yeah.
But if I had to say teams that I have an agenda for, the Nuggets would definitely be one. The Pelicans, and without a doubt, the Lakers.
What about anti-agendas?
Anti-agendas?
For
The
me,
Suns,
it's the Suns,
easily.
Grizzlies,
Mine's
and
the Mavs,
and
for sure.
Lakers, and
Dude, why?
Warriors too.
Why?
You was just on the Warriors train last
Warriors,
year.
Lakers.
I was never
Why-
a fan. I was
Warriors,
just
Lakers,
analyzing.
I'm about to
Celtics. I
Draymond
wonder
you.
why.
Yo,
His
didn't we have a
his
segment
biggest
and you
anti-agendas
mesmerized about
are
Steph?
Warriors, Lakers, and Celtics. Come on, bro. Your
Well,
biggest anti-agendas are Warriors, Lakers, and
When we
Celtics.
All
turn
the
off
teams
this
that keep
camera,
beating
it's
his
gonna be
guys.
really weird.
Come on, bro.
So you think that I'm doing this because I'm hating on you guys?
without a doubt?
Well, I know,
hating on
I
your
know,
team.
I know for a fact you hate me because James Harden's your guy, Steph's my guy, your guy's a loser, my guy's a winner, and then you're a Knicks fan and I'm a Bulls fan, so it's just automatic hate on this
I
side.
just don't want the Warriors to win anymore.
Well, I want the Rockets
nah,
and
I'm
Harden
there.
to win
I'm
one
there.
day, you know.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want them. So
I'm with you.
last year I picked them. I don't think they'll do it this year. I've already said I don't think.
Well,
they'll
I
win the
got
championship.
Warriors and Grizzlies as my OKC, of course, teams I want to see. Anti,
Please don't.
I'll probably say Minnesota.
I
Not
respect
because
the
of
fuck out
him,
that.
but more because of their fans.
Yeah.
I need them to fail.
I do want to see the Wolves do well also.
They
Yeah.
will. They will.
Yeah.
I
Don't
fuck
worry.
with Ant,
Minnesota,
for sure.
and I don't even think I have a Lakers anti. I don't care what
You're
you guys
out
do.
finally? This
I
is
just
the first
don't really
year in a
give
while?
shit. You guys suck. I don't.
But
give
what
shit.
if we're good? Are you going to start hating on us out of nowhere? Shake on it.
Yeah, I want
Nice.
Minnesota though for me.
But what if he starts talking about like they're going to the fucking?
I want.
Well, I said that early on.
You see, I don't acknowledge that shit too much anymore.
Can
He's
y'all have some
delusional.
fun?
You know when he's delusional. You look at his face. He's all delusional.
Dude,
shit.
what?
Nah, you're good, bro. Believe in your team. Same way how he said Knicks first seed. Remember that delusion?
He said third.
Same shit. Delusion. I just let you guys believe what you want.
Listen, I had to stay 8th seed. I wasn't delusional.
I know, but
You didn't want to say that. You
But I
wanted to say
did.
like 5.
I was trying to be an analyst like I am. I said an 8th seed. That's not insane. If
Were you
everything
analytic
clicks,
when you said 65 wins? Or were you just
then
that was
like,
just a
yeah,
feeling.
or
in
you
your
just
stomach.
like you was like you were just bugging that day.
yo, that I'll be honest, Riv, that's one of the more rude things you ever said to me. You hit me to the core.
I'm actually, I'm genuinely actually.
Yes and no, because Russ he really blinded me.
Okay.
It was supposed to be lit. We were supposed to get our revenge, and I really only had the Nets in my line of vision, to be honest with you, because of KD, Kyrie, Harden, LeBron, Russ.
Doesn't move me.
That makes sense. Okay.
That's really
Harden
what it
really
was.
should have won the championship, bro. Damn.
Yeah, if only he
Win.
just gets there. Like,
I genuinely believed.
or he's got a finals
Win.
loss on his resume.
Win.
That's it.
When he
It
they
really
missed
sucks that
27
the one
straight
time he
threes?
gets hurt was his best chance to win a championship, bro.
He had a chance when he missed 27 straight threes.
He didn't have Chris Paul, bro.
They missed 27 straight
I
threes.
wish Harden would have played with Draymond.
Wait,
Green,
but remember
Klay
the year
Thompson,
when they
Dante
had
Iguodala
Chris
too.
Paul and KD got hurt and then y'all let Steph erupt for 30 and a half?
KD played 4 games in 3
No,
quarters.
but it was game 6, remember, in Houston. I remember somebody sent me a pic of you. You were really geeked up. Steph had 0 in the first half. He wasn't
It
playing
was a
good.
close game still, though.
Yeah, but you were there. And then
I
you
wasn't
just-
geeked up. I was sad.
Damn.
Bro, all Clay, Dray, and Steph needed to win was 1 game and a quarter. They're good enough to do that. And I've mentioned that before.
Yeah, I mean,
That's not a fold by the Rockets. Even if you, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Even if you take Kevin Durant off those Warriors teams, they can, like, if they were to face in a series versus the Rockets without KD, I think they'd lose. But it'd be like in 6 games. It wouldn't be like a sweep. If you look KD off the Warriors, the talent between them and the Rockets are still similar. Talking about Harden, Chris Paul,
33
Clint
points in the
Capella.
second half.
Come on, bro.
That
Let's
helps
stop
you sleep
playing.
at night, man.
It's just Steph Curry
He
always
called
plays with
PJ
overwhelming
Tucker
talent.
the Steph stopper. 33 points.
It's
in the
just,
second
bro,
half.
Curry's always played with overwhelming talent, bro.
So
That's
did
some
KD.
bullshit. Some bullshit, bro.
I
No,
would
he
say
didn't.
2015 was not overwhelming talent.
2015
Just
wasn't.
KD,
They just came to Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
Just the KD.
2016
years,
was the same roster.
And 2022 wasn't
Last year wasn't
talent.
overwhelming talent.
But there wasn't
Really
many
good
teams that
team.
had 3 All-Stars on their team.
They just became that.
Yeah, exactly. but
2015
they
wasn't
had
a
that
stacked
still.
roster.
They had
though.
that
Who was
still.
the 3? It's
Draymond.
Dray
Clay,
wasn't an
Steph.
All-Star in 2015.
No, I'm talking about 2022. Wiggins, Steph,
yeah.
and who?
Yeah, but I don't think that. No,
I'm
Wiggins,
not
Steph,
talking
and
about
Dray.
that year.
I'm
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
You
this
talking about
year.
16? You talking about
This
16?
year
But
was
you're
not
saying
overwhelming
always.
talent.
Oh, there you
You're
go.
talking-
So-
It's about
Even though they
16.
did have more talent than other teams.
but it's not
Yeah,
overwhelming.
He's talking about
In
16.
the West.
16, they had 3 All-Stars.
No, but that
It was
was
Steph,
they were
Dray,
great.
Clay. But I wouldn't.
KD's only
I
had
don't think
that
that's
one.
overwhelming.
In OKC, KD only had that once.
2012.
Yeah, and then Harden left.
But then
He didn't have
he
that no
always
more.
had 2 All-Stars though.
What, no, he had just had one.
No, I mean I'm sorry. It was
Serge
always
Ibaka
him and
wasn't
Westbrook
an
making the
All-Star.
All-Star game.
Yeah,
Clay and
Westbrook
Dray
is
don't
bald-headed.
always make the All-Star game.
Westbrook makes terrible decisions as a point guard.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you want me to do about that?
what you mean? That's what I'm saying. Like,
KD
it's not
was
overwhelming
making
talent.
KD was making terrible decisions in that 3-1 choke
You
job.
need a point guard.
Oh, when you're
Overwhelming is like the Nets' big 3. Overwhelming was the Warriors with KD.
But the Nets' big 3 was only once, and then they all got hurt.
I know.
what I'm
And
saying?
thank God.
Like, no, they should have won that year.
Nah, be honest. No one wanted the Nets.
Thank
I mean,
God.
you're just
Thank
saying
God
that
they
because
didn't get
they
healthy.
smoked shot that year.
they did smoke.
Yeah, we
the shit
didn't
out
have Jalen Brown, and
They
we still
still
got a game.
They
And we
still
got a
called
game.
shit out.
And
Yeah,
we
y'all
got
got
a
one,
game.
right? Yeah.
Tatum got a
Harden
game.
went
Tatum got a
crazy on
game.
y'all.
And
I
Tatum
know you
got
was
a
watching
game.
that. I know you was watching that Fear in the
He went
Beard.
crazy on
got a
Evan
game?
Fournier.
That's got a game last.
Congratulations.
They were close.
Oh,
He's a
they
Nick
got
now.
a game.
Evan Fournier's a Nick now.
They got a game.
Who?
The Nets last year.
No.
against
They were
Celtics.
close. They were close. Yeah.
We got a game.
They were close.
Tatum got
Every
his.
game was close, matter of
Tatum
fact.
dropped 50 and got his.
Word, word.
Oh,
Okay.
get one.
He won
got
a
it.
championship.
Got one.
He won a
DeMar
championship.
got
No,
one.
did Harden?
The Joker got one.
KD has.
You're a KD guy now?
I'm a big KD guy.
Oh my god. Fuck you.
I'm a big KD guy. That's going to do it for episode 218 of the Pick a Side Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast, on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod. Thank you guys for listening and or watching, and we'll see you next time.